बड़ी बड़ी टीमें खेल रही है, टीम्स लाइक लेवल आइकॉनिक, तो उनको फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा था, दे वेंट आउट देयर एंड प्ले द नेशनल गेम, एंड आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाट मेक्स देम द मोस्ट डेंजरस. एक द अननोन एलिमेंट, डार्क हॉर्सेस कह सकते हो, एंड आई बिलीव दैट सारी की सारी टीमों में से दिस माइट एक्चुअली टर्न अ लॉट ऑफ आइज, बट कैप्टन्स माइट हैव द बिगेस्ट चांस ऑफ विनिंग द एफएफआईसी.
Well, to add up to this, captains बहुत ही बढ़िया रन करिए indeed, and I completely agree to whatever you said because FFC qualifiers में वो लोग बहुत ही बढ़िया खेल्स लेकर के आए थे and most points थे apparently, and उसके बाद as you said against the big boys कैसा परफॉर्मेंस था, हम लोग सबकी निगाहें उन पे बना के बैठे थे कि फर्स्ट वीक में क्या होने वाला है. ऑब्वियसली कहीं ना कहीं शेकी था, बट उसके बाद जिस तरह से उन्होंने स्टेप अप करा है अपना गेम प्ले, काबिल तारीफ इंडीड. बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली यार, आप अगर एक बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट टीम्स के साथ खेल रहे हो, आपके अगेंस्ट बेस्ट द बेस्ट टीम्स है, मोस्ट एक्सपीरियंस टीम्स है, उसके बाद यहाँ
बिल्कुल
पर आपको अपना जो गेम प्ले वो कैसे यहाँ पर आप चेंजेस लाओगे, दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इन डीड. एंड एक अपर हैंड में देना चाहूंगा, एक एडवांटेज देना चाहूंगा मैं सिक्स सेंस को, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, बिकॉज एज यू टॉक्ड अबाउट रोस्टर चेंजेस, पिछले एफएफआईसी में टोटल गेमिंग एक सॉर्ट ऑफ रोस्टर से खेली थी, एंड उसके बाद वो सेपरेट होकर के आई थिंक गैलेक्सी रेसर में 2 प्लेयर्स हैं, एंड देन टोटल गेमिंग में 2 प्लेयर्स, वो अभी भी रिटेन्ड है. सो ऑब्वियसली
बिल्कुल
आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ द टीम्स राइट नाउ इन एफएफआईसी आर गोइंग थ्रू सम सीरियस रोस्टर चेंजेस. तो ऑब्वियसली वो पूरी की पूरी अडेप्टेबिलिटी है, वो कैसे यहाँ पर एक साथ खेलेंगे इन द बिगेस्ट लेवल ऑफ द ग्रैंड फाइनल्स, वो कैसे चीज होगी हमें पता चलने वाला है. बट सिक्स सेंस, ये टीम चारों के चारों प्लेयर्स एक साथ यहाँ पर अभी भी खेल रहे हैं, शुरुआती दौर से आए हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली जो सिनर्जी है उनके बीच में वो और भी ज्यादा ओवर टाइम बढ़िया होते गई है, और भी ज्यादा जेलअप कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज वी हैव सीन देम रिप्रेजेंटिंग आवर नेशन इन द होल वर्ल्ड, एंड बहुत ही बढ़िया परफॉर्मेंस करे थे. उसके बावजूद यहाँ पर आकर के दे हैव टॉप द लीडर बोर्ड्स, एंड बहुत ही एकदम होता है ना असर्टिंग डोमिनेंस इन देयर ओन ग्रुप, बिकॉज ग्रुप ए में बहुत ही ज्यादा कड़ी कंपटीशन थी, गैलेक्सी रेसर, टोटल गेमिंग, सिक्स सेंस, एंड बहुत सारी ऐसी टीम्स थी जो हम लोग सोच रहे थे यार कि इसमें से सिर्फ 2 टीम्स को चुनना ग्रैंड फाइनल्स के लिए इन द लीग स्टेज बहुत ज्यादा मुसीबत वाली बात हो जाती है. बट ऑब्वियसली गैलेक्सी रेसर डिड मैनेज टू स्टेप अप इन द प्लेन्स एंड ऑब्वियसली मैनेज देयर वे टू द ग्रैंड फाइनल्स. तो यार मैं यही कहूंगा, जो टीम सबसे कम रोज से चेंज करी है, जो सबसे पहले से खेलती आई है, जो एक्सपीरियंस ज्यादा, उनके पास एक अपर हैंड रहने वाला है.
जी, बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल, लाइक बखूबी हम लोगों ने ये चीज़ देखी है कि लाइक गैलेक्सी रेसर स्टार्टिंग में थोड़ा-सा लो हम लोग को दिखाई दी थी, इवन तो लीग मैचेज़ में भी वो काफ़ी थोड़ा-सा हम लोग को दिखाई दे रहे थे, लेकिन लास्ट के वीक जब आया था, तो लीग मैचेज़ में उन्होंने लाइक पहले जो उनका फर्स्ट डे था, उन्होंने काफ़ी अच्छा खेला, लेकिन जो सेकंड डे आया, सेकंड डे में गेम चेंज हुआ, टोटल गेमिंग ऊपर की तरफ निकल के आए, उन्होंने टिकट हासिल करी और वो लोग डायरेक्ट गए हमारे फाइनल्स की तरफ, लेकिन फिर उसके बाद गैलेक्सी रेसर्स आए हमारे प्लेन्स में। प्लेन्स में आने के बाद जो उन्होंने तहलका मचाया, वो बखूबी हम लोगों ने देखा है, मतलब जो उन्होंने यहाँ पर किल्स बटोरे हैं, जो उन्होंने बूयास निकाले हैं, वो काफ़ी शानदार थे। साथ के साथ अगर मैं वहाँ पे बात करूँ, लाइक एक और टीम है जिसके बारे में हम लोग बात करना चाहेंगे, लाइक नेमेसिस. नेमेसिस स्टार्टिंग में लीग मैचेस में काफ़ी लाइक नीचे की तरफ दिखाई दे रही थी. बखूबी और जी ये भी चीज़ जानते हैं कि लाइक हम लोग बात भी कर रहे थे इसके बारे में कि उसकी उन टीम्स में एक स्नाइपर की कमी हमें दिखाई दे रही थी, और हम जानते हैं उनकी जो लाइक माइंड गेम, मिस्टर गेमर जो उसमें कितने अच्छा खेलते हैं, जो माइंड गेमर है वो कितना अच्छा खेलते हैं, अपनी टीम को पॉइंट स्टैंडिंग्स में काफ़ी अच्छे से लेकर आ जाते हैं, प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट काफ़ी अच्छे से बटोर लेते थे. वो भले ही लाइक उनके 3 प्लेयर फिनिश हो जाते थे, लेकिन प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट उनसे नहीं लाइक मिस हो पाते थे. और बखूबी प्लेन्स में जब वो लोग आए, स्टार्टिंग में 3 मैचेस अगर आप नोटिस करेंगे तो वो हमें बॉटम 6 दिखाई दे रहे थे, लेकिन उसके बाद उन्होंने एक बोया निकाला, किल्स पे फोकस करी और वो हम लोग को टॉप 6 में दिखाई दी, और आज वो हमारी फाइनल्स में दिखाई देगी. तो मैं ज़रूर देखना चाहूँगा कि नेमेसिस की तरफ से कैसा गेम प्ले होने वाला है, क्योंकि हम जानते हैं, हम लोगों ने उस टीम को देखा है, काफ़ी पुरानी टीम है, बट वही है कि धीरे-धीरे करके ऊपर की तरफ आई, और ऑब्वियसली इतनी बड़ी-बड़ी टीम्स उनके अगेंस्ट खेलेंगी, तो उनकी क्या स्ट्रैटेजीज़ होने वाली है, मैं ज़रूर जानना चाहूँगा. और आज कहीं न कहीं एक तो लाइक हम ज़रूर उनको बोलना चाहेंगे कि प्लीज़ कहीं न कहीं से अपना जो लाइक एक मेंबर लाओ, जो स्नाइपर आपको चला के दे, क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम हम लोग बखूबी ये चीज़ देखते हैं कि लॉन्ग रेंज में नेमेसिस नहीं टिक पाती है. शॉर्ट में फिर भी एक बारी को फाइट ले लेती है, बट लॉन्ग में वो हर बारी मार खा जाती है. सो लेट्स सी कैसा रहता है. लेकिन और जी आप क्या क्या कहना चाहेंगे इस बारे में?
तो इविल भाई, आपने जैसे कि बोला कि यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारी टीम्स है, काफ़ी सारी टफ कंपटीशन है, बट ओवरऑल मैं बताऊँ तो आप लोगों ने सब कुछ कंक्लूड कर लिया है, बिल्कुल मेरे लिए कुछ छोड़ा नहीं है यहाँ पे बताने के लिए. बट फिर भी मैं अगर बात करूँ तो यहाँ पे अंडरडॉग टीम्स के बारे में बात करना चाहूँगा जो प्ले इन से बाहर आई हैं. तो यार जैसे टीम डी, यार प्ले इन के अंदर टॉप पर ही 2 बोयास निकाले उन्होंने उस पर्टिकुलर डे, एंड इसके साथ साथ आज वो खेलेंगी अपने ग्रुप के अंदर 4th पोजीशन पे थी, बट उसके बावजूद जब उन्होंने प्लेन्स के अंदर गैलेक्सी रेसर्स, नेमेसिस एंड एलवीएल आइकॉनिक, एएफएफ, इन सभी सभी टीम्स के सामने एक अलग ही लीडरशिप शो करी, या फिर हम बात करें एक अलग ही डोमिनेशन शो करा, तो काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रहा। बट एक चीज हमने देखी कि हम लोग डिस्कस भी कर रहे थे विल भाई भी थोड़ी देर पहले, कि यहाँ पे टीम डी एक ऐसी टीम है जो कि इनिशियल फाइट लेने में थोड़ी डिफिकल्टी फेस करती है। अगर उनको बाद में फाइट मिलती है, अगर वो थोड़ा लंबा सर्वाइव करते हैं, तो एंड में बोया निकालने के उनके काफी ज्यादा चांसेस बने रहते हैं। तो आज ये टीम भी होने वाली है, और लास्ट ब्रेथ यार ये टीम कहीं ना कहीं मुझे थोड़ा संकट में डाल रही है, क्योंकि यार देखिए जो पर्टिकुलर डे प्लेन्स के अंदर अंदर इनके लास्ट के 2 मैचेस जो निकले थे वो इनको कहीं ना कहीं पुश दिया था फाइनल्स की तरफ। बट आज के दिन ऐसा नहीं रहेगा कि लास्ट के 2 मैचेस अच्छे निकालोगे तब आप जीतोगे। आपका हर एक मैच अच्छा निकलना चाहिए, कि 6 के 6 गेम्स आपके अच्छे निकलने चाहिए, एंड ये काफी ज्यादा जरूरी है। बट इसके साथ साथ एलवीएल आइकॉनिक, एंड हमने जब मामा जी याद होगा हमने जब लास्ट टाइम बात करी थी कोइश और प्रीत से, तो उन्होंने कहा था कि उनके इजेक्शंस में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, उनके लैंडिंग पैटर्न थोड़े से गड़बड़ा गए हैं। बट यार उसके बाद उन्होंने सेम अगले दिन उन्होंने अपने इंजेक्शंस को बहुत अच्छा किया, उन्होंने अच्छा परफॉर्म करके दिखाया, जो कि एक बहुत बड़ा कमिटमेंट होता है कि जब आप कहते हो कि हम करके दिखाएंगे और करके दिखाया। तो देखते हैं कि आज वो क्या अपनी बातों पे खड़े उतरते हैं, क्या आज वो बड़ी बड़ी टीम्स को उनके इजेक्शंस पैटर्न पे या फिर उनके इजेक्शंस जा करके उनको टक्कर देते हैं, ये बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन रहेगा। बट मैं तानिया की तरफ जाना चाहूंगा। तानिया, आप किस तरीके से देखते हैं नेमेसिस एंड एलवीएल आइकॉनिक और एएफएफ को भी?
ऑलरेडी बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करके आ रही है, बिकॉज इफ अगर हम प्लेन्स को साइड पे रख दे, लीग डेज में भी ऐसे मैचेस आए हैं जब दे हैव बीटन अप, लिटरली बीटन अप द टॉप रेंज टीम्स, जो ग्रुप ए में टॉप कर रही थी, बी में टॉप कर रही थी, सी में, अपने पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप के लिए दे वर टॉप टफ कॉम्पिटिटर्स। इसी की वजह से दे आर पासिंग थ्रू दिस स्टेज। सो आई एम वेरी श्योर ऑफ नोबडी इज अंडर एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम। सब एक इक्वल प्लेटू पॉइंट पर आ चुके हैं। यस, एक्सपीरियंस कोई टीम्स के पास ज्यादा है, किसी के रोस्टर्स बेस्ट है, बट वी कैन नॉट अंडर एस्टिमेट any team. They are equally dominating as other teams are. क्योंकि प्लेन ज्यादा प्रेशर पॉइंट बिल्ड अप करता है। यू हैड टू कम्बैट अगेंस्ट ऑल 3 ग्रुप्स। तो वंस अगेन आई वुड नॉट से कि सिर्फ अपनी ग्रुप से क्वालिफाई कर आए, दे हैव क्वालिफाइड फाइटिंग अगेंस्ट द बेस्ट अदर 6 टीम्स। सो यस, टॉप 5 टीम्स के बारे में मैंने बात कर ली है। एंड नाउ न्यूली क्वालिफाइड अंकुश फ्री फायर, दो कंसिस्टेंसी चूक जाते हैं, बट आई सी द पोटेंशियल। एंड एज यू मेंशन्ड, लास्ट ब्रेथ नेवर गिव सम ब्रीदर्स। जब वो फॉर्म में आ जाते हैं, तो टुडे आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग सच सॉर्ट ऑफ फॉर्म, जब वो किसी को ब्रीद ना लेने दे। टॉकिंग अबाउट डी स्पोर्ट्स वंस अगेन, ये जब चार्ज पकड़ लेते हैं, दे स्प्रेड करंट्स, किसी को सर्वाइव नहीं करने देते। लेट्स सी हु इज गोइंग टू बी ओवर पावरफुल, बिकॉज प्लेटू पॉइंट इज ऑन एज आई सेड, लेकिन दे आर गोइंग टू बी सर्टेन टीम्स जो प्लेटू पॉइंट ब्रेक करेंगे, रीच आउट करेंगे। सो विच आर दोज teams? That is definitely one of the biggest question for the day. So if out of their bottom 5 teams, if you had to pick up any, Mamba, कौन सी टीम को आप चूज करेंगे कि you think they have it in them, जो as you know renowned name Total Gaming, Galaxy Races, उनके साथ combat करने में as equalized participate करेंगे? Do you have any certain names, Mamba?
I mean, at this point, honestly, अगर कोई टीम टॉप 12 में क्वालिफाई करके आ रही हो, ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में खेल रहे, इट जस्ट मीन्स कि ये सारी टीमें केपेबल है। बट इफ आई हैड टू चूज टू, देन ऑब्वियसली आई वुड गो विद अंकुश फ्री फायर एंड टीम डी, जो आपने एंड में बताया, बिकॉज आई थिंक वी ऑल ग्लैंस्ड ओवर देम एंड नोबडी टॉक्ड अबाउट देम, बिकॉज वो टीमें ऐसी, दे फ्लोन बिलो द रेडार, ना ज़्यादा कैची खेलते हैं, ना ऐसी कोई सिचुएशन होती है जो किसी के दिमाग में बैठ गई। बिकॉज आप बात कर लीजिए फॉर एग्जांपल टोटल गेमिंग की, इतने क्लचेस निकाल चुके उनके प्लेयर्स, इतने इंडिविजुअल प्लेस बना चुके हैं, या फिर एज अ यूनिट एज वेल दे सो पॉपुलर कि कुछ ना कुछ दिमाग में बैठ जाता है। माफिया बाला के क्लच की बात कर लीजिए, GXR की बात करें, यू कैन थिंक ऑफ द कमबैक। पहले हफ्ते में वो अच्छा नहीं खेल पाए थे, बाद में आके अच्छा खेला, और प्लेन्स में तो धमाल ही मचा दी। दे वर इनक्रेडिबली कंसिस्टेंट। फिर अगर हम बात करें फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेवल आइकॉनिक के बारे में, डोमिनेशन याद आता है। जिस दिन वो चलते हैं ना, बुलडोजर की तरह चलते हैं बाकी की सारी टीम्स पे। बट इफ टॉक अबाउट टीम डी एंड अंकुश फ्री फायर, they have not been, वो कहते हैं ना कि they are perfectly consistent in their own right. वो जिस तरीके से खेलते उसी तरीके से खेलते रहते हैं, कि आउटलायर जो परफॉर्मेंस होती है वो इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं होती। बट इफ आई टू चूज 2 टीम्स जो टॉप 5 में नहीं है, then probably at this point on paper I would choose Ankush Free Fire and Team D both. But Amy, what do you think about these teams?
All these teams incredible indeed. आपने बोला ये फ्लैशी प्लेस नहीं करते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा लो की खेलते हैं, एंड पता नहीं चलने देते यार हम लोगों की वो एक्चुअली क्रॉल अप कर रहे हैं टॉप 5 टॉप 6 में, एंड अपना जगह बना रहे ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में, एंड मे बी इवन टू द टॉप 5, वी नेवर नो दैट। बट जो टीम फ्लैशी प्लेस करती है, we didn't talk about them just yet. बात करेंगे उनके बारे में. None other than Survivor 4am अपने ग्रुप से टॉप करे थे लीडर बोर्ड में, एंड इतने ज्यादा फ्लैशी प्लेस करे थे, इतने ज्यादा इंडिविजुअल स्किल्स हमें देखने को मिले, स्पेशली एक्स मेनिया की तरफ से. डबल वेक्टर किंग इंडीड, बिकॉज इतने ज्यादा
बिल्कुल
क्लचेस, इतने ज्यादा इनसेन मोमेंट्स उन्होंने निकाले. एक बार नहीं, दो बार नहीं, तीन से ज्यादा बार उनके क्लचेस हमें देखने को मिले क्लोज रेंज फाइट में. बट ह्यूज अप्स टू हिज टीममेट्स एज वेल, बिकॉज हम लोग क्रेडिबिलिटी तो देते ही यार कि जो रशर आगे बढ़ रहा है, जो किल्स ले रहा है. But a huge shout out to all the teams who make it possible, to all the teammates who make it possible, because वो एक चैनलाइज पुश होता है. सब लोगों को हमें लगता है यार कि वो जो रशर है, स्पेशली एक्स मीडिया, सब कुछ उन्हीं का देना है, वही यहाँ पर क्लच करके जा रहे हैं. बट वी हैव सीन हिज टीममेट्स डू इनक्रेडिबल अमाउंट
बिल्कुल
ऑफ डैमेज टू द अदर टीम्स एज वेल. सपोर्ट जो होता है, एक सपोर्ट रोल जो होता है, हम लोग उनको ज्यादा क्रेडिबिलिटी नहीं देते हैं, बट मेरे ख्याल से वो जो सपोर्ट प्लेयर्स हैं, उनके चलते ही ये ऐसे प्लेस हो पाते हैं. सो ह्यूज शाउट आउट टू ऑल द टीम्स. आई थिंक सर्वाइवर 4am में गोल्डन इग्नाइट एंड
बिल्कुल
इनसेन हमें देखने को मिलते हैं. बहुत ही ज्यादा अमेजिंग स्किल्स इंडीड, एंड स्पेशली ये दोनों प्लेयर, आई थिंक मिस्टर जय एंड एक्स मीना आर द टू प्लेयर्स फॉर मी इन माय आईज जो बहुत ज्यादा इंडिविजुअल प्लेस करते हैं. बट लास्ट में ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में आकर के ऐसे इंडिविजुअल प्लेस आप कर तो लोगे, बट टीम को यहाँ पे जिताना वो मेरे ख्याल से थोड़ा मुश्किल रहता है. सो आई होप एज अ टीम सारी टीम्स यहाँ पे स्टेप अप करे, एंड देन जो इंडिविजुअल स्किल्स पे ज्यादा डिपेंड ना करे, बिकॉज एक प्लेयर पे अगर आप रिलाई करने ज्यादा लगोगे तो
Yeah.
वी नेवर नो, अगर वो मरे तो सब कुछ खत्म हो सकता है. एंड वी हैव सीन दिस हैपनिंग एज वेल, एंड ऑब्वियसली यार सारी टीम्स बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा परफॉर्म करी है. बट एक जो चीज कॉमन मिस्टेक जो मैंने एनालाइज करा है ओवर टाइम थ्रू आउट द टूर्नामेंट, जो है आइसोलेटेड फाइट्स. 1v1s लेने के लिए पसंद कर रही है सारी टीम्स. आई एम नॉट रियली श्योर व्हाई. 1v4 क्लच भी होता है तो आगे जाकर के दे रहे हैं, फीड कर रहे हैं लिटरली किल्स. आई होप इट डजंट हैपन इन द ग्रैंड फाइनल्स, बिकॉज आप एक आइसोलेटेड फाइट लोगे किसी के साथ, ऑब्वियसली यार आपकी ये कोई छोटा मोटा रोज से चेंज नहीं हो रहा है, आपके सामने कोई छोटी मोटी टीम नहीं है, स्क्रिम्स नहीं चल रहा है, यू आर लिटरली प्लेइंग एट द हाईएस्ट कॉम्पिटिटिव लेवल ऑफ फ्री फायर गेमिंग. सो ऑब्वियसली यार आपको यहाँ पर बहुत ज्यादा सतर्क रहना पड़ेगा. आइसोलेटेड फाइट्स मत दो किसी भी क्लच प्लेयर को, एंड उसके चलते यार ऑब्वियसली टीम्स यहाँ पे प्लेयर्स लूज कर देती है इन द अर्ली पार्ट ऑफ द गेम. सो आई होप इट डजंट हैपन.
इल बाजी सावधान रहना होगा, सतर्क रहना होगा, क्या कहेंगे आप?
बाजी देखो फिलहाल लाइक सही बताऊं तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टीम्स काफी अच्छे गेम प्ले दिखा रही है, लेकिन हमें मैं एक स्पेशली एक टीम के बारे में बात करना चाहूंगा, टीम केओस. टीम
हाँ
केओस बुयर्स के लिए बहुत कम खेलती है, बट किल्स के बेसिस पे वो टीम हम लोग को हमेशा अपने टेबल टॉप पे दिखाई देती है. और बखूबी लाइक उनका एक प्लेयर नहीं, उनकी पूरी टीम ही किल्स पे फोकस करती है. बुया उनके निकले ना निकले, लेकिन वो एक चीज पे फोकस इनका ये रहता है कि बॉस बोया पे हमें कोई फोकस नहीं करना, हमें सिर्फ किल्स पे निकालना है. जितने बंदे हमें दिखाई देंगे उनको हम फिनिश आउट करेंगे. बखूबी हम लोगों ने देखा है, लाइक उनका अगर एक बंदा भी सर्वाइव करता है तो एक बंदा भी किल पे फोकस करता है. वो ये कोशिश नहीं करता है कि मैं ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट निकालने की कोशिश करूं या फिर ज्यादा से ज्यादा सर्वाइव करने की कोशिश करूं. ना ना ना, हम किल्स निकालेंगे, किल्स के पॉइंट्स के बेसिस पे हम आगे की तरफ बढ़ के दिखाई देंगे. और बखूबी हम लोगों ने देखा है बुयाज, अगर हम ओवरऑल बात करें लीग मैचेस में ज्यादा से ज्यादा उन्होंने शायद 3 बुया निकाले होंगे इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. तो 3 बुया के बेस पे भी वो लोग अपने टेबल टॉप पे दिखाई दे रहे थे, टेबल 2 पे वहां पर हम लोग को दिखाई दे रहे थे. और किल्स तो पूछो ही मत, मतलब हर एक मैच में 5-5 6-6 किल्स उनके लिए बहुत कॉमन सी दिखाई देती थी हम लोग को. लास्ट तक वो लोग कोशिश करते थे बचने की, जब उनको ये दिखाई देता था कि बॉस अब शायद अब टाइम आ चुका है कि हम लोग को किल्स पे फोकस करना है, उसके बाद जहां प्लेयर दिखाई थे वहां उनकी गोलियां दिखाई देती थी कि बस हाँ भाई दिख रहा है बंदे, चढ़ जाओ उनके ऊपर. और किल्स अच्छी
बिल्कुल
खासी की वजह से वो हम लोग को लाइक आगे की तरफ जाते हुए दिखाई दी. मैं आज भी ये चीज जरूर देखना चाहूंगा कि आज टीम केओस कैसा यहाँ पर परफॉर्मेंस दिखाती है, क्या वो आज भी किल्स पे फोकस करेगी या फिर प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट पे, क्योंकि आज का दिन ही डिसाइड करने वाला है कि कौन सी टीम यहाँ पर बेस्ट होने वाली है और कौन सी टीम यहाँ से लेकर जाने वाले ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ मनी जो है यहाँ पर उनका प्राइस पूल, वो और साथ के साथ फैन बेस या फिर जितना भी ज्यादा रिस्पेक्ट है अपनी प्लेयर्स के लिए, वो यहाँ पर रिस्पेक्ट लेकर जाएंगे. तो देखते हैं गाइस कैसा रहता है ओवरऑल. लेकिन ओवरऑल अभी तक जहां तक लगता है ना कि सभी टीम्स अपना बेस्ट देने वाली हैं, क्योंकि प्लेन्स में भी हम लोगों ने देखा जिस टीम्स जो लीग में कम दिखाई देती थी, जो हमें लग रहा था कि लाइक स्पेशली जैसे आप लोगों ने बोला, मामा जी ने बोला जिनके ऊपर कि हाँ अंकुश एवेव अगर हम लीग की बात करें तो कहीं ना कहीं बहुत ही लाइक मैं स्पेशली बोलूँ तो बहुत नीचे की तरफ दिखाई दे रही थी. ना उनसे लाइक किल्स हो पा रहे थे, ना कुछ वो प्लेसमेंट से निकाल पा रही थी. अगर उनकी फाइट भी हो रही थी तो वो यहाँ पर इजीली फिनिश हो जा रही थी. बट एट द एंड जैसा गेम प्ले उन्होंने अपना प्लेस में दिखाया, अगर ऐसे गेम प्ले वो अगर फाइनल्स में दिखाती है तो नो डाउट अंकुश एफएफ भी कोई ऐसी टीम बन के निकल सकती है जो अंडरडॉग से एकदम ऊपर की तरफ आएगी. और हम लोग एक्सपेक्ट भी नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि लिटरली हम लोगों ने नहीं सोचा था कि वो टीम भी यहाँ पर फाइनल में आ सकती है, क्योंकि लीग में हम लोगों ने देखा था बट वो हमें यहाँ पर दिखाई दिया. तो भाई लिटरली कुछ भी हो सकता है, हर एक टीम अपना 100% दे रही है और 100% देना बनता भी है, क्योंकि आज नहीं तो कभी नहीं.
बिल्कुल, बहुत सही तरीके से पूरा डिस्कशन हुआ। मतलब मुझे एक चीज़ अच्छी लगी कि कैसे हमने इंट्रो दिया, देन उसके बाद हम लोग किस तरीके से इसमें सिंगल मतलब सोलो प्लेस, इंडिविजुअल स्किल्स एंड देन हमने यहाँ पे टीम्स के बारे में बात करी। ओवरऑल डिस्कशन का यही मतलब है कि हम हर एक टीम पे बात कर सकें एंड उसको अच्छे से एनालाइज कर सकें, थोड़ा बहुत आप लोगों के साथ बातें शेयर कर सकें। बट एक टीम है जो कि टीम कियोस्क के बारे में जैसे कि इविल भाई ने बात करी। यार हम लोग ना इस टीम को बहुत कम देखते हैं कि ये फ्लैशी प्लेस करती है, बट जब ये आती है अपने फॉर्म में, बड़ी बड़ी टीम्स को घुटने टेकने पड़ते हैं इनके सामने। और सबसे ज्यादा स्पेशल बात ये थी मेरे लिए कि जब इनके लीग स्टैंडिंग के अंदर इनके पास इतने लीग पॉइंट थे सेकंड स्टैंडिंग में रहते हुए ग्रुप ए के, जो कि सिक्स सेंस से जितने जितने पॉइंट उनके थे उनसे एक पॉइंट इनके ज्यादा पॉइंट थे। मतलब इनके 96 थे एंड सिक्स सेंस के नंबर 1 पे रहने के बावजूद 95 थे। मतलब इनके सेकंड स्टैंडिंग को भी काफी ज्यादा पोटेंशियल नजर आता है। और अगर हम बात करें टीम के बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम है, तो मेरे को लगता है कि आज ये भी काफी ज्यादा टक्कर देगी। बट इसके अलावा कैप्टनसी, यार जैसे कि मामा जी ने बोला, आंखों में तूफान नजर आता है, तूफान से पहले की शांति है। और बहुत ज्यादा एक अलग ही मतलब उनसे जब बात करते हैं एक अलग ही वाइब आ रही थी। और जितने बार बात करते हैं कैप्टन के बारे में, वो चीज नजर आती है कि वो सीन दोबारा नजर आता है कि यार किस तरीके से उन्होंने हर एक पॉइंट को, हर एक बात को एकदम तोल मोल करके बोला था। एकदम ऐसा लग रहा था कि यार बहुत सीरियस बात कर रहे हैं, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा। तो देखते हैं कि आज के दिन वो किस तरीके से परफॉर्म करने वाले हैं। बाकी इसके बाद यार कुछ टीम्स और है, जैसे हम लोग लास्ट ब्रेथ के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, मैं दोबारा लास्ट ब्रेथ के बारे में बात करूंगा। यार बहुत ज्यादा मुश्किल होगा आज उनके लिए, बहुत ज्यादा। बट इतना भी ज्यादा नहीं, क्योंकि हर एक टीम डरी पड़ी है। हर एक टीम के अंदर कहीं ना कहीं डर होगा, क्योंकि 75 लाख की बात है। और यहीं अगर हम लोग बात करें लास्ट ब्रेथ, आज के दिन अगर आपने लास्ट ब्रेथ लेने के लिए नहीं छोड़ा सामने टीम को, तो आप लास्ट ब्रेथ लोगे। बट इसके आगे सफर कैरी ऑन रहेगा। बट कहीं ना कहीं आज करके दिखाना पड़ेगा इस टीम को भी।
यस करके दिखाना पड़ेगा, बट आई हैव अ डिफरेंट थॉट्स एज वेल, क्योंकि 12 टीम्स हैं, यू ऑलवेज हैव थ्रेट अगेंस्ट वन सिंगल टीम। इफ यू टॉक अबाउट टोटल गेमिंग, हमेशा एक कोल्ड वॉर नजर आता है अगेंस्ट गैलेक्सी रेसर। सर्वाइवर 4am वर्सेस, आई फील कोल्ड वॉर इज गोइंग टू गो अहेड विद एलीट, क्योंकि अगर ये टीम्स, आई फील क्वाइट इक्वलाइज टू देम। सो वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट हाउ अंडरडॉग्स आर गोइंग टू फाइट अगेंस्ट द टॉप नॉच टीम्स, लेकिन इक्वलाइज प्लेटफॉर्म में तो समवेयर अराउंड आई हैव अ स्मॉल क्वेश्चन एज वेल। क्या ये टीम विल गो के सबसे पहले, आई फाइंड देम एज माय कॉम्पिटिटर, सबसे पहले इन्हें एलिमिनेट कर देना चाहिए? बिकॉज इफ यू टॉक अबाउट इक्वलाइजेशन, गैलेक्सी रेसर्स, टोटल गेमिंग, 4am, एलीट, कैप्टन, सिक्स सेंस, एक इक्वलाइज्ड प्ले में ये जो ड्यूओस है इनके बीच में एक इक्वल कंपैरिजन आता है। सो वुड देयर बी एनी स्ट्रैटेजी कि हम सीधा रश इन करें, सबसे पहले ये टीम का अगर नजर आती है तो हम एलिमिनेट कर दें? So is there any such thing, any thoughts over this, Mamba? Then Aura, Evil will go ahead the same way, AB?
आई डोंट थिंक सो ऑनेस्टली, बिकॉज ये आज का जो स्टेज है, इतना बड़ा स्टेज है, यहाँ पे यू फॉरगेट योर राइवलरीज, यू वांट टू प्ले योर नेशनल गेम। आप अपने आप को फोर्स नहीं करना चाहते टू प्ले अ सर्टेन स्टाइल। जिस चीज़ के साथ आप सबसे ज़्यादा कंफर्टेबल आप खेलिए। अगर आप बात करें टीम एलीट के बारे में, अगर उनको फाइट लेनी है, वो सोचिए कि नहीं आज हम एग्रेशन दिखाएंगे पहली 2 मैचेस में, एट दैट पॉइंट इट डजंट मैटर कि उनके सामने एक्स टीम खेली या वाई टीम खेले। फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आप बात करिए टोटल गेम और GXR, बिकॉज ये स्टोरी लाइन हमेशा से टूर्नामेंट से पहले से बात होते आ रही है, क्योंकि अगेन वन ऑफ द मोस्ट पॉपुलर टीम्स इन द कंट्री, एंड देन प्लेयर्स जब दूसरी टीम में मूव ऑन करते हैं, तो आई डोंट थिंक द प्लेयर्स विल केयर कि वो टोटल गेम, अगर GXR की टीम फाइट ले रही तो वो टोटल गेम से फाइट करिए, सर्वाइवर 4am से, तो इट डजंट रियली मैटर। एंड आई बिलीव कि वो नेशनल गेम खेलने की कोशिश करेंगे पूरा का पूरा। बट टॉकिंग अबाउट वन मोर टीम ओवर हियर दैट वीव अगेन मिस्ड आउट ऑन, सिक्स सेंस। एंड यहाँ पे एक प्लेयर की मैं बात करना चाहूँगा, फैब इंद्रो। उनका जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन रहा है पिछले 6 महीने में, ही यूज्ड टू बी अ रॉक सॉलिड प्लेयर, एंड बड़ा कहते हैं ना कि टीम को बांध के रखते थे। ही वाज द ग्लू दैट केप्ट द टीम टुगेदर, एंड जो फ्लैशी प्लेयर्स थे वो जाया करते थे। बट नाउ इट डज लुक लाइक कि इंद्रो डजंट वांट टू होल्ड बैक, ही वांट्स टू गो अहेड और उनको दिखाना कि नहीं यार हम भी खेलने के लिए आए हैं, एंड ही वांट्स टू मेक दोस फ्लैशी प्लेस, ही वांट्स टू बी द वन दैट गोज आउट देयर, गेट्स द किल्स फॉर हिज टीम। और मैच विनर जो कहते हैं ना, एक टीम, हर एक टीम में एक मैच विनर होता है, वो बन के दिखाना है उनको। सो व्हाट डू यू गाइस थिंक अबाउट इट?
I mean, I would like to go first because Fab Indro, amazing performance indeed. And coming back to the question that Tanya asked, I think it would be a handshake agreement, to be very honest, from all these teams. कुछ भी I don't think early fights देखने को मिलेगा because एक हफ्ते का gap है, सब लोग एक दूसरे का drop spots देख लेंगे because let's face it, this is the biggest level of competitive gaming and कोई भी टीम यहाँ पे early eliminate होने के लिए नहीं आएगी. Everyone will pull up their socks and give their level best. एंड ऑब्वियसली आई डोंट थिंक यहाँ पर कोई भी टीम को अर्ली फाइट्स हमें देखने को मिलेगा, बट मिड गेम फाइट आई वुड बी रियली रियली इंटरेस्टेड एंड आई अग्री कि कोई भी टीम हो, एक्स वाई टीम, वी डोंट केयर अगर हो जाए, अगर यहाँ पे सामने वाली टीम दिख रही है, ऑल आई विल हैव टू डू इज जस्ट ट्राई एंड एलिमिनेट दैट टीम आउट. आई डोंट केयर कि वो टोटल गेमिंग हो, गैलेक्सी रेसर हो, व्हाटसोएवर. all the aim for all these teams right now will be to win and to conquer that title of the best team in India. तो वही बात है यार, जो डर गया सो मर गया वाला सीन होगा आज
बिल्कुल।
के दिन. एंड प्रेशर जो है बहुत ज्यादा हाई रहेगा, एंड जो प्रेशर को झेल लेगा आज के दिन, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली यार बहुत ज्यादा यहाँ पे प्रेशर है, इतने सारे फैंस देख रहे हैं, हम सब की निगाहें उन पे गड़ा के बैठेंगे.
बिल्कुल।
जो इतने बड़े प्रेशर को हैंडल कर लेगा सबसे बढ़िया तरीके से, आई थिंक दे आर गोइंग टू विन. एंड उसके चलते जो वेटरन टीम्स है उनके पास एक स्लाइट एडवांटेज रहेगा ओवर अदर टीम्स, बिकॉज दे हैव ऑलवेज बीन हियर, दे हैव बीन अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस होल टूर्नामेंट, नेचुरल टूर्नामेंट उनका जो भी था. एंड टेंडेंसी देखने को हमें मिलेंगी, बिकॉज यार दे हैव फेस दिस फियर. पहले उन लोगों को जो भी था इतने बड़े लेवल पे आकर के क्लियर हो चुका है, एंड बाकी सारी जो नई टीम्स हैं आई होप ज्यादा प्रेशर ना ले. विल
जी, बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल, बखूबी हम लोगों ने ये चीज़ देखी थी प्लेइंस में. लाइक अगर आपको याद हो पहला मैच जो हुआ था, मैं और आई थिंक औरा जी वहाँ पे कास्ट कर रहे थे, जिसमें 14 मिनट तक हम लोग को स्टार्टिंग में कोई फाइट ही नहीं देखने मिली थी.
आई
लाइक
वाज देयर.
ओके, ये भी थे हमारे साथ, सॉरी मैं वहाँ पे भूल गया था. बट या हम लोग को ये चीज़ ज़रूर याद है कि वहाँ पर 14 मिनट तक कोई भी फाइट नहीं हुई थी. यानी कि हम देख रहे थे 11 की 11 टीम्स पहले मैच में सर्वाइव कर रही थी. इतना ज़्यादा प्रेशर टीम के ऊपर बन गया था, क्योंकि जानते हैं अगर पहला मैच हम लोग बोया निकाल लेते हैं या फिर कोई दूसरी टीम यहाँ पर, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हर एक टीम कोशिश यही करती है कि पहला मैच बोया अपने हाथ में आ जाए, क्योंकि अगर आपके हाथ में बोया आ जाएगा तो आने वाले
ड्रॉप करेगा पॉक
Make it three. This man is on fire. And यहाँ पर एक और player को position. What a man.
कन्फर्म कर दिया गया था लेकिन
Ladies and gentlemen, today is such an important day in the history of Indian Free Fire. Today is the day probably we're going to see history. I mean, no one really knows if Total Gaming are going to retain their throne of Free Fire India Championship or we're going to see a new king in town. It does not really matter because today is the finale. Of course, you're watching the Free Fire India Championship 2021 Spring. My name is Salty and with me is Star Tanya. I'm certain, Tanya, the heat is on. But how are you feeling for this grand day?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Salty, for such a warm welcome, and to the viewers as well. I hope you are way more excited than me and Salty are, because today histories will be made permanently. You will have your nameplate written in the history that who are the champions of 2021. We are going to get to see within couple of hours, I'm very sure. With these sort of excitement, there'll be lots of immense pressure on the players, because we as the casters also had some prediction on pre-note, on mid-note, every while here and there. We keep on discussing the plays coming from the player, MVP of the player. So just imagine if we are into so much of confusion, we can't even imagine the pressure on the players, and imagine the die-hard fans of the teams and players. They are going to have way more excitement than we have.
Absolutely. Talking about the fans, I guess the numbers are racking, Tanya. I saw the stream just now. We are already breaking records, and I'm sure when the games start on, the numbers are going to go even higher. Probably just go off the roof. But even then, we have to see the lineups of the grand finals. These are your teams, and this is their story. Six Sense, Team Elite, Survivor 4am, Team Elite, of course, Survivor 4am. I guess this is some sort of confusion that's going on. Total Gaming captains Team Chaos. But apart from that, we have other teams like Team Nemesis. We have AFF Esports. We have D Esports as well. We have LVL Iconic and everyone else. It is supposed to be a grand finale, Tanya. It is supposed to be their story when they come up. I'm not quite sure if you're going to see an underdog story or a certain domination from the teams we have seen from a very long time. But one thing is for certain. Today is the day when a lot of fireworks are definitely going to be seen in the battlegrounds of Free Fire.
Absolutely, we are going to see, and here we are with Ankush Free Fire, the first team that we are going to see on the screen, and that is going to be Kanish, Karakil, Rishabh, Tyagi and Mafia. They have been playing very well, qualified through the planes. Talking about captains though, it is going to be Captain Akashdeep, Bablu Janotra, Captain Kirito, Nivesh, and all the players just on point. Yes, I must say Janotra is doing very well as a rusher. Team Elite, Iconic, John T, Pahadi, RDP and Killer. This team has already taken away the stamps without taking the duel performances into the plane. Galaxy Racer, legendary Vasio Merrick's Golden Barca boy, and Aman has always been the highest fragger for this team. And
Yeah.
and if you talk about last breath, this is the team which we usually don't talk about. Kaushik, Adam, Ashu Star, and Dave. Outstanding performances coming from this team as well. Qualified through the hard play-ins. If you talk about LBL iconic Aladdin, Angry Khoish, Ronnie Negi, Sharabi, Ronnie Negi, a grenade launcher man for the final circle, and ultimate threat if he reaches into that sort of final circle. If you talk about Nemesis, it is going to be Ansh Gamer, Mind Gamer, Mohit, Mr. Gamer, Nemesis, RDX09. They have got a they've got a substitute player as well. So let's see how we're going to see the change. If we talk about Sixth Sense, Fabindro, Illuminati, Mr. Jay Whitey, Stoner. Jay Whitey, though with a less of the damage, but highest fragger forever. If we talk about Survivor 4M, Golden, Harsh, Ignite, Insane, and X-Mania, the ultimate shredding machine of their team. And these are the teams. And from here, you carry on, Salty.
Absolutely. Team Chaos, we have Kunal Jr., Pratham, Scary, Tech KK, Arsenal. One of the greatest teams in the grand finals, I must say. They are a very big threat. Talking about Team D Esports, we have Bad Luck, we have Black Shout, Ravi, RNSS, Roshan, as well as Yahi. I mean, all of these players, they are certainly threatening, but Black Shout has been on a different level completely. Total Gaming, one of the teams that a lot of fans are actually looking out for. Fozzy Aja, Java Boy, Mafia Bala, as well as Prince. These four guys are certainly going to be the champions who are looking to defend their crown, and this is what they're fighting for. The tags of Free Fire India Championship 2021, and also a prize pool of 75 lakhs. It is whopping, Tanya, and for sure the one who takes the lion's share of this particular money is going to go home very, very rich. And of course, with the tag of Free Fire India Championship, it is nothing less than a crown. It is nothing less than being a king in a very big region. Indian Free Fire has been growing ever since its inception, and I'm pretty certain it is going to grow even more. But now this is certainly going to be the biggest day in the history of Indian Free Fire.
Yeah, definitely today is the biggest day by far in the history of Free Fire. It will be 4 strong players who are going to take away this title, where champions are paid. Free Fire India Championship 2021, and these are the fan predictions.
Oh.
Total Gaming with 35% of the chances. They
Damn.
are already winning. They have already got this title, and after that we see Team Elite followed by Galaxy Racer, Sixth Sense, Survivor 4M, Captains Ankush, Free Fire, Team DLBL Iconic, Last Breath. Then comes 1% shared by Nemesis and Chaos. But look at the whooping graph of Total Gaming. 35% are predicting that it is going to be Total Gaming winning away again the same title. It is the biggest title, and each and every player is definitely going to give the best. If you look forward for the next range, it is going to be Elite and Racer with vast 10% of margin, and then everyone is in the range of 10 to 1% of difference. But somewhere around, and now certainly we just had a small discussion. You said Total Gaming might win it. I said Team Elite has also got that caliber, that chance that they can win. So top 2 fans are also predicting as good as we are trying to predict. So somewhere around our predictions, let's see who is going to win ultimately. Participation and qualifying to this level is already an achievement within itself, because it was a long procedure. You have seen us today, it's the 11th day for the grand final. You have seen us for past 10 days, but these teams have been performing since almost 2 months, or a little lesser than 2 months. But for them it has been a long process. And Caster's prediction are here. As we said, Mamba telling Captains Evil with Sixth Sense, and me with Elite, Crypts with Galaxy Racer, Salty your Total Gaming aura as well for Elite, Survivor 4M, AB, and Loki with Sixth Sense. So somewhere we are having clashes, and Total Gaming, Captains, and Galaxy Racer, and for Survivor 4M they have got 1 vote, but 2 votes goes to Team Elite and 6 cents from us casters.
Absolutely. 2 votes definitely mean like they have some amount of higher chance of winning, but eventually it is going to come down to the 6 games of today, and I'm sure for certain that the games are going to be an extravaganza, Tanya. I mean, what are you expecting, to be honest? We have the first map of Bermuda. Now, they can be like, Bermuda has generally been a bit passive. Teams do like to take their drop locations and then rotate safely towards the final circle where the entire brawl goes out. But You know what? I and Cripps were having this discussion a few days ago. If cleaning out the herd early on, like going for kills early on, it's actually better because you don't really have to worry about a lot of third parties. You don't really have to worry about fighting multiple opponents at once, and also you don't have to worry about the circle as well. So I want to know from you, what do you think? Is it going to be aggressive? Is it going to be passive? Teams are going to play it safe? What do you think?
I personally think it is going to be totally passive for first round. I always say first round is the warm-up match, and this warm-up match, whichever team wins it out, that team particularly has a better chance to go better. The reason is confidence is already boosted up. So nowhere around anyway. Up till 3 matches, I expect that it is going to be very aggressive play, killing play, players going for the hunt for getting those kills, being the hungry sharks into the Bermuda. I don't think are they going to be. And if we talk about flight path, it is a little bit on the northern side, and the blue zone is also in the northern side. So somewhere around, I did say a little while back, I don't see any early fights brewing up, but somewhere around flight path and blue zone is making me overthink that maybe we are going to see two teams dropping into this hotspot, but certainly not. Team Chaos is rushing there. Every other team is there going for the different direction, east and southern side. Let's see how these maps are going to do, how these spread outs are going to work, because excitement, I must say today, it is excitement 2.0.
It is going to be excitement 2.0, Tanya, because this is the first match of Free Fire India Championship 2021 Grand Finals. Bermuda is certainly going to give us an early fight. We have Survivor 4 AM up against Team Captains. Now, Team Captains have been a very good side also for Survivor 4 AM. Both of these two teams are pretty aggressive. When they actually find each other in their vicinity, it will be interesting to watch out what is their first form of instinct telling them. Do they go for the rush or just do they fall back? Eventually, we'll have to find. Harsh is in a very open position. Akashdeep can actually caught him off guard, but eventually the shots will be fired. The first fight, Tana, is certainly going to be intense. Survivor and Captains, both of these are contenders for the title. Rather, 12 teams who are playing are contenders for the title. You can't just predict anything, but the first blood has been drawn, and Akashdeep, he has taken down Harsh. This is the first kill of the day, Tanya, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get to see a lot more of the same thing. No other team is safe in this particular day. This is the Free Fire India Championship Grand Finals. Safety is an illusion here.
Absolutely, and I did see fell to death. I don't know how did this exactly took place, but I did read one of the player fell to death. It was from Survivor 4M. I don't know what kind of start is this team going through, and get a team captain who are making their living even more difficult, and usage of Launchpad. Use the Chrono Shield, but certainly was saved. Captains versus Survivor 4M. Survivor 4M has already faced 2 losses at this point in time, which is too much already to take the tolerance. It is beyond the limit for very early fight. Nobody is prepared, and the 2 players are already down. I feel somewhere now Survivor 4M will have to, not by choice, they don't have any choice left with them, but by pressure they'll have to go for the passive approach, for the passive gameplay. They need to save the numbers. They need to make sure that they are until top 5, because race has just begun and you cannot stumble down very early on, and it is a long race. It is a race of 6 long matches.
Absolutely. One can rather say that this is a marathon and not a sprint. You can't just go in and grab kills for yourself and imagine that you'll be the winner. We got to see that the teams are actually pretty far away from each other. There was only one initial brawl that was supposed to set up between Survivor 4AM and Captain Survivor 4AM. I guess the nerves actually got to them, especially Golden falling to death as well as Harsh getting taken down. That is certainly not the ideal start for them, because 2 players down for this team, a team who is supposed to be the contenders. This is certainly not the best way to start off the day, but as I say, I mean, they can only get better from this particular position on. Losing 2 players early on, sure, it's going to hurt them, but getting some placement points and getting those consistency in their rotation is something which they can look out for. Later on, as the other maps come in, I guess they will have a higher chance of getting a booyah. As for this game, I feel the chances are very, very bleak. Apart from that, I guess we can see all the other teams very safe in the drop locations. None of the I guess only Captains have had 1 kill, and we have seen a suicide. So I guess key team captains are the only team that have a single kill for themselves, so no real bloodshed here and there. Bermuda has given us a slow start certainly, but this was supposed to be expected, right, Tanya? I mean, we did expect that teams are going to take their time to just warm up and get their groove into the game. This is such a big stage, and you can't just afford to lose early. Team Survivor, they did so, but eventually we'll have to look out for the other teams as well.
Absolutely, and Sixth Sense is already ready against them. It is going to be Last Breath, the team that joined in through the grueling plains, and they performed outstandingly well that day. So let's see how this battle is going to deal against Team Sixth Sense. But for now, if you look at Team Nemesis, they are using the zipline moving ahead, and Last Breath are somewhere being sandwiched by Nemesis, because if they move ahead, they have Sixth Sense waiting for them, and it is UAV who is making it easier for Nemesis to spot every enemy here and there, because UAV is moving into the direction where they actually want the intel. And I think it is enough getting first kill, and for now, as a start, it is a good start. Not they were not even touched. No HP lost, confirmed 1 kill, and Team Chaos somewhere they landed into the highest resource zone, and now getting the best of loot, moving out. But Peak is hyped up again at this point in time, and Iconic against Total Gaming is already on. Aladdin did give a good spray with his M24-9, and yes, it is a long range fight. Total Gaming will heal up, will come back strong. But certainly the presence of each and every team is already felt. Each and every team has started shooting the firing rounds. That is already indeed dictated that we are here, we have conquered this compound. If you try to come in, maybe we'll shoot at you, maybe you might get eliminated. So this kind of threats, these are the cold wars that are being brewed up into early stages of match. So when the circle closes in, the players are aware that if you rush in through this area, you might get knocked up. If we talk about captains, they have spotted the players. Let's see, are they going to get knocked here? Because certainly some shots were connected coming from Nivesh. Not enough to get the knock, but yes, they were connected.
Absolutely, some shots were definitely connected, and I agree with you 100%, Tanya. I feel like the Cold War is just starting to brew up. The teams are starting to feel each other at the moment. Definitely some shots are being taken, not connecting a lot, not giving out a lot of damage, but certainly making your presence felt. That is a very big statement, to be honest, and especially in a fight like this, especially in a platform like this, those statements are going to be those bold statements that can actually change the game itself. Talking about the circle, we get to see a typical Bermuda circle completely at the center, covering Peep and Bhima Sakti strip at its center. Of course, Kota Tour, Mars Electric is certainly inside it. Clock Tower, as well as we have Plantation and Catalyst Tour. So all of these regions will be under fight for certain. These regions will be up for auction and for the teams to decide where do they want to go. Now the circle can shift anywhere, but we have generally seen that when the circle starts on a trivial note, I guess it would end on a trivial note as well. So there can be a lot of high traffic areas, a lot of teams trying to go and capture positions in Peak and Bhima Sakti strip, which can eventually brawl out a lot of fight. Now team number 8, that is Team Nemesis, they are in the danger zone. They were in the danger zone, which was supposed to be a threat for them, but not anymore. Now we get to see a plethora of teams in front of our screens. Now we have so many teams out there. Anywhere they look at, I guess they're going to find some opposition, and the fights are certain. But are they imminent at this point? That is the question. I don't really think the teams will just plunge into fights left and right. Look at this, Tanya. Peak. We have so many teams here. We have LVL Iconic capturing this big compound for themselves. Team Total Gaming have the double balcony compound. Also, in the outskirts, we find team number 10 and team number 8, which is Team Nemesis. Now, when the circle closes in, these teams will be forced to fight each other. Position Peak is, you don't really get to fight a lot of short distance combat. All of these compounds will be connected to each other. You have sight lines connecting each and every compound, and there will be a lot of long distance fights, which means wastage of utilities.
Absolutely, wastage of utilities, and for when you'll actually need them into the final circle, usually if this is the circle, that is going to shrink in. You're not going to get much of hard compounds to work out with. All you have to do is cover yourself with the glue walls, and at this point of time, I see Survivor 4-4M, after losing 2 players, they went quite too slow. They are still into the blue zone, near to Rimnam village. I don't know how far are they going to take, because what I see is they are going for the longest rotation, and this is where, after going quite too far away, they are initiating the loot loots because they did not get much of time to pick up the best of resources, and this is the right time for them. But tanking up damage and taking loots, this is also going to be a little tall taking in near future once the second circle starts to shrink in, because it was actually a long route to pick up, but saving the numbers is way more priority than saving the medikits. So maybe this is absolutely right, the Survivor 4am is doing. These sports have not engaged with anyone as of now, but what I see is they've kept themselves a little vehicle just next to them. All they know is maybe circle takes a cruel shift or a hard shift, they have a vehicle to rush into. But if you talk about Peak, iconic, LVL iconic, they are the center of attraction. Yes, they do have the biggest of compound possible into the entire vicinity, but apart from that, that compound has lots of loopholes. Grenades can pop in, hand cannons, all the throwables will be connectable. So somewhere around holding this compound is a little more difficult when you know there are 3 other teams surrounded by you. One of which is Captains over here near the cartoon. Chaos this time. Scary is already down by Nivesh this time. Tech KK did give an attempt, but he was very sure of, if I go there, I might be knocked as well. So saved himself for now. Bablu spotted and is down as well. And Pratham is using snipers as a cover fire, and now they're racing back. They don't want to engage as of now. What I'm seeing is certainly maybe this is the third circle, but still there's no team who actually wants to rush in and pick up fight on their own.
Absolutely. I guess it's the second circle and it is moving towards Peak. It does cover a bit of factory and definitely there's going to be a lot of contention in Peak as well. But we were getting to see a fight between Team Captains and Team Chaos. Now, Team Chaos were in the lower ground, which certainly is an issue of debate. If the lower ground gives you a certain amount of disadvantage, certainly the position is not the best. Team D Esports, look at that, their position is certainly not the best. Roshan has only a tree as his cover. He's using the time turner to perfection, but eventually he has to fall back. Will he be able to do so? That is going to be the question. Team Galaxy Racers, they have split themselves up, certainly not as much that there is no trade potential between them. They can fire shots at them from a different range of locations, but eventually it's going to be Team Elite who is going to come back from the backstab, and they are going to get the first kill for themselves. Now, Galaxy Racers are also in the mix. I guess Killer will be getting the kill of Aman as well. And with Aman being taken down, I guess the firepower for Team Galaxy Racers have been reduced in half. Tanya, I guess he was one of the most influential figures from that particular team. And with him being taken down, that is going to be a very, very bad signal for Team Galaxy Racers. Eventually, Team Elite, they use their rotation policy really well. They came in very silently from behind and got a kill from the Esports as well as from Galaxy Racers, and eventually they're falling back. They're happy with 2 kills here and there, and then they are prioritizing the rotation and prioritizing their positions, and I guess that is the way to go. Galaxy Racers find themselves 1 man down. They have to leave this particular location because it is so much out in the open. I mentioned that yes, they are actually spread out. They have more number of angles as compared to their opposition, but certainly none of the players are under very solid hard covers, and if that is not the case, then you will have a very hard time trying to protect yourself from any sort of outrage that comes up against you. We have Team Captains trying to enter the circle. Ankush Free Fire is in a position where they can gatekeep them, but eventually the sight lines are not very clear, and I guess that the shots won't really be fired. Eventually we'll have to wait for the next circle for the actual brawl to begin.
Absolutely, and Ankush Free Fire as a team, they actually purposely they don't initiate the fight when they are fought. They fight back. So maybe this is the repetitive strategy coming from Ankush Free Fire. Total Gaming still holding the strongest compound possible, but this is hard to hold for quite too long. And luckily for them, they are just on the edge of the circle, so they don't have to give the move. Talk about 4 AM, the rotation paid off. They are into the safe circle as of now, but now Captain's players are down, and this is damage the best of damage possible. And yes, the kills are also getting confirmed. Vasio with his M249, beautiful spray. Nivesh is also spotted over here, and with that, Vasio has confirmed the first kill for Galaxy Racer. Let's see how many more to go. So without Aman, the best possible. Tyagi has spotted Akashi. Team Captain certainly spotted from here and there, everywhere surrounded. So this time, Fire tried to give a best of backstab possible. Akash Deep is down and confirmed by Galaxy Racer. Vasio just took a free kill. Just took a free kill. I must appreciate Vasio every single time. The legendary man did not put efforts to get the knock, but he did their best. His best from the not that good. Maybe it was strong fight. I got quite a lot strong, but it was rush coming from Total Gaming. I feel bad for Total Gaming. 2 players are also down. Mafia Bala is definitely trying to give the best possible places. He has revived Fauzi Jay, he has revived Java Boy, and the players are on. They've lost Prince on the course.
Oh my god, Mafia Bala is trying to run away from this fight in such a bad position. Java Boy, I guess, will be tanking a lot of shots. Eventually, he will find himself in front of Team Chaos right now. I guess this is going to be very bad. They moved away from LVL Iconic and now they find themselves under the teeth of Team Chaos. At the moment, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. Eventually, Kunal Jr. will take down Mafia Bala and his kill will be confirmed. Java Boy is going to be the last player who survives. He has the entirety of LVL Iconic coming onto him. He gets 1 kill for himself. The clue wall will shut down the entry. But Total Gaming Java Boy, he has the entire responsibility of his team on his shoulders. He tries to hide behind the box. But eventually, this is a very, very predictable position, I guess. The entirety of Team LVL Iconic can actually climb onto him and confirm the kill for himself. The time turner as well as the glue wall will prevent the fight as of now, but the circle has actually shifted away from this particular position, Tanya. I guess Team LVL Iconic won't be very willing to just use all the resources in getting the kill of Java Boy. Eventually they will have to move in. We have Survivor 4 AM. They are also inside the top 12 and are inside the circle as well. This circle can actually bring about a lot of kills. We have so many teams here and there. I guess when these teams actually converge, most of them are outside the circle. We have to remember that when these teams actually converge, there is going to be a plethora of kills, and that is what I was talking about. Fabindro gets a kill for himself. Team Last Breath has been taken down, the first team to get eliminated in Bermuda. Now Team Elite, they are trying to loop across the circle, not really enter the circle from its shortest route, but loop around, orbit the circle completely and enter from a more peaceful side. But eventually we will have Team LVL Iconic who are actually fighting against Team Chaos at the moment. Aladdin is going to be the last surviving player for him, and eventually he will get taken down. 6 Sense have been taken down as well. Iconic have been taken down as well. Tanya, what is happening right now?
6 Sense got eliminated with the zone. I did see kill feed getting reputation that they took a very long route. Maybe we did not get to see the exact rotation, but all I got to see was the players were locked down by the play zone. Maybe the rotation did not pay off well. Now we are down to 9 teams and 24 players. This is not the situation that I was predicting. I felt that in the final circle we are going to see almost 40 players alive, but these players are rushy. They are going for the kills. They are finding the fights, and they are picking the fights as well. Indeed, all 4 players standing quite too strong at this point of time and already managed to reach the circle quite safely without taking any damage. Is behind Team Chaos. They are trying to knock down some kills, but if you look at the circle, Killer is giving very good knocks. Iconic on the board is knocked down in by this one. And kills are getting confirmed. This is the second kill. Killer is confirmed, and he's now going for the close when the player is into the prone position. But he spotted Jaunty on the course is knocked down. He's revived as well. And look at the circle, and it's brutal shift.
It is certainly a brutal shift, Tanya. This is exactly what Team Nemesis were hoping for. Their prayers were answered certainly by the Free Fire gods and the circle. The kind of hardship, this is very, very uncertain, especially on a platform like this. Team Ankush Free Fire, they find themselves 1 man down, or rather 2 men down. Kanish gets taken down as well. Nemesis, they have the advantage of the circle. They have a very good position to play with. I guess Ankush Free Fire might be obliterated in this particular fight. 1v4 situation, of course. He was destined to death. That was his fate. But eventually, Team Galaxy Races, they have 3 players still on their foot. Vasio is certainly going to be the man who is going to be a very big threat against his opposition. We always talk about how Comet the man, and certainly when the R is on, I guess he is going to be the man to look out for. Eventually, we will find Team Nemesis. They are being competed against by Team Galaxy Racers. This position is certainly going to be very highly staked after a lot of these players will be trying to look at Team Galaxy Racers. They are trying to rush out at the moment. Merix is still trying to find his revive at the moment. Nemesis Mohit will actually rush in. The Max 7 is going to strip him apart at the moment. Nemesis still going to go for the revive. Another kill confirmed for them, and I guess it will be confirmed. Only few players survive for Team Galaxy Racers. I believe it's Golden who is still holding on to his position. Now, what do they do from here itself? The blue walls will save him for a little while longer, but eventually Team Nemesis have the upper hand. Now we have other teams approaching as well. We have Team Elite in the mix who will eventually have more numbers in their bag. Team Nemesis will have to confirm few kills for themselves. A revive is actually coming in. Galaxy Races have been eliminated. It is going to be a duel between Team Nemesis and Team Elite. Jonte is still trying to take the shots against the MP40. He succeeds there. Team Elite get taken down. It is going to be Team Nemesis, a team that no one expected unexpected, getting the first booyah of the day. Bermuda, certainly the circle shift helped them, but boy oh boy, they did justice to that circle shift and eventually got the booyah for themselves. They took down two teams, Tanya Galaxy Racers as well as Team Elite, which certainly was not easy, especially when Team Galaxy Racers rushed in. I thought that there was so much difficulty for Team Nemesis, but eventually the Max 7 from Mohit, it was sweet.
It was indeed sweet, and you gave the exact word. Nemesis gave the justice to that brutal circle. They fought against Ankush Free Fire, they fought against Team Elite, they fought against Galaxy Racer, and they won that battle without losing players after that. So it was great to see picking up battles in every angle possible and winning each and every battle. Certainly when the circle started getting zero, I felt maybe Team Elite will be able to get one knock or maybe two, and they did not give any single chance, not even a single shots were connected against Team Nemesis. So Elite were totally vanished out of the circle or eliminated out of the server, and Nemesis, the team which we did not talk about, took away a grand booyah. Grand because they certainly had good amount of kills.
They absolutely had a lot of kills for themselves, but something which I really loved about them was the fact that they were not afraid to take fights, especially against teams like Galaxy Racers, against teams like Team Elite. Of course, Team Galaxy Racers, they tried to rush in, but the first form of resistance, Mohit, was certainly out there. He deployed the glue walls to perfection. He tried to prevent Team Galaxy Racers to get a clear line of sight, and they had to either take a long rotation or probably tank the damage from the blue zone. Eventually, that helped them. Team Galaxy Racers, they tried to venture out too much in the open, and eventually Team Nemesis, they pressed the kill switch exactly at that particular position. Team Elite, they were coming in, I guess they were battling the blue circle. Certainly they had their backs pinned against the wall, and Team Nemesis just used used that against their favor.
Yeah, it was on point. The presence of mind just worked. As soon as they realized that they have the advantage of circle, it was like kill switch button on, and they were able to pick kills on every different angle successfully. Won the booyah, first booyah for the grand finals, goes into the bag of Team Nemesis, which no one predicted at all. So now I must say, expect the unexpected. It is the grand event coming up. With the grand event, we have lots of surprises and lots more. Maybe we are going to see something even more, because everybody wants to gain that title. May it be underdog team, may it be already like we can say Total Gaming, the defending champions, and Team Elite, though they did manage to survive until position 2, but they only managed to pick 4 kills. So maybe their play is for the standing points, and if they get some kills on the course, they are going to go ahead. I felt a little bad for Ankush Free Fire. They held to the location where no one else would come up. Over here, captains did tank up some damage, and they lost Akash Deep on the course, one of the finest player. Total Gaming had a sad ending. They had no reason to move out of that double balcony compound. They come out, struggled a lot, suffered a lot indeed, and they were eliminated. But look at the rush coming from Team Chaos, how one by one they were able to knock one player down. And Ronnie Negi was also down on his knees, and Aladdin getting eliminated. I must say this rush coming from Team Chaos was a strong one, and 6 cents on the course of play zone got eliminated as well. Galaxy Racer, I must appreciate Vasio, 2 kills. He was able to get one by knocking one. It was a free kill. Then after that, he did go ahead with even more kills. He had a total of 4 kills. Team Elite's John T over here was trying to damage the glue walls, connect some shot. Unfortunately, none of them got connected, and you start getting a little panicky when the circle is zeroing and you have to battle 2 teams. So somewhere around it didn't work in their favor. But the game 1 of grand finals, it is into the hands of Nemesis and MVP as well as Mohit with total of 5 kills and 2 assists. Look at the damage. Damage is not doing the justice to the amount of kills that he has taken. So I must say his teammates have there was a tremendous team support also coming up.
Absolutely. And I guess the damage point doesn't really matter. I guess the fact that you have kills in your back, you have assists in your back, that itself is just so good. Mohit was the first form of defense for Team Nemesis, especially in the final circle, and he did his job. He executed his job to perfection. I said the fact that the prayers from Team Nemesis were actually answered by the Free Fire gods. That was in the form of the circle shift. We saw how they were actually trying to orbit across the blue circle, trying to get a vantage point on the final territory that was available. They got that high position for themselves. They did have to go against Team Galaxy Races head on, but of course, that was not really a big deal for them. Eventually, they walk away with a booyah in the first game and 22 total points. They have 10 kill points in their bag, which is certainly a very high number, especially in a platform like the Grand Finals. They have 12 placement points. So certainly Team Nemesis are on their way, but Team Elite, they're actually close by. They have 13 points. Certainly there is a buffer of 9 points in between, but I believe that with consistent performances coming in, they can easily close down the distance. Galaxy Races, they have 12 points as well, so they're closely falling behind. Ankush Free Fire, Team Chaos are also in the mix.
Absolutely, they are into the mix, but 10 kills made my day. Made my day in the sense I always like double-digit kill, and entering this double-digit number with 12 placement points, Team Nemesis has created a difference of 9 points, which is too much for the grand finals because the strategies are way different from our expectations. Salty, we did discuss that the games are going to be way more passive. For the final circle, we are going to get to see 40 players alive, and that is not the case of scenario. Everybody is picking up fight. Survivor 4am lost 2 players very early on. It was a land and fight situation, so nobody wants to go passive, everybody wants to go aggressive. But the next match is Purgatory. The play of passiveness was the source for Purgatory, but I don't think this is going to be any sort of situation any further. Do you have any particular prediction coming for Purgatory? Are we going to see once again 2 strong teams colliding into very early on fights?
I mean, it can happen, you know, drop locations are pretty volatile. You can't really predict that one team is going to drop there. I mean, definitely there is a gentleman's treaty between these teams and they have their distinct drop locations to work with. But that's not certain. That is something which is not a rule. It's not a rule that you have to drop in this particular location or in that particular location. You can drop in anywhere you want across the map itself. And that itself creates this sense of randomness. And definitely that randomness might actually cause a lot of early action. We got to see that captains as well as Survivor 4am. The result of randomness was that initial fight, right? And in Purgatory, you don't really have a lot of compounds to work with apart from those big cities that you get, especially in Brasilia or in Central. I guess Central is going to be one of the hotly contested regions, but apart from that, I guess a lot of teams will try and occupy the different islands that you have, the Western Island as well as the Southern Island. Teams trying to go towards Ski Lodge is also a possibility. We might see some early fights, but I'm not really expecting that in Purgatory, to be honest. Even though the fact that this map is completely random, it makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, you can't just plan out things in Purgatory. You have to play it out on your instincts, on your gut feeling, and that is what all these teams are going to do. The flight path is certainly on. The second game of the Grand Finals is live, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly, we have 2 teams dropping at Central. I predicted there is certainly going to be an early brawl. I guess it is going to be a reality. We have Team Chaos, who is already taking the shots. And who is it against? This is going to be Team Galaxy Races. You mentioned if 2 big teams are going to collide. It is certainly 2 very big teams that are actually colliding. Scary is in a position where he can obliterate the entire game. He will get obliterated as well. 2 kills confirmed already. Amal gets taken down. Only 1 player survives from Team Galaxy Races. This is so bad for this team. I never really imagined that this is going to happen. Team Chaos, they dropped in early and they completely wiped the floor with Team Galaxy Races, who are eliminated in the 12th position. This is devilish from Team Chaos, and I never really expect this, Tanya. I mean, oh my god.
This is what we are here for, to get the best of possible plays, land and fight. That is what I love the most, and I feel bad for Galaxy Racer. They were on position 3 and all they had to do was just maintain it, and this match has definitely broken the dreams that they had in their brains. So maybe next match we still have 4 more matches for Galaxy Racer, but particularly if we talk about Team Chaos, certainly they were on position 5, and maybe this sort of match is going to get them into top 3. All they got to do is maintain the consistency. If we talk about Moose House, the island which we usually don't talk, it is LPL Iconic once again, who have held high over there, don't want to engage in early fight, but Ankush Free Fire over here, they are losing Mafia, and yes, they have lost already, and it is sad to see. It is not a land and fight situation, but certainly it is Brasilia. This is what you were expecting. I was as well expecting, because you tend to get a lot of populated area into the Brasilia. Grenades are being thrown, unfortunately not able to connect any against Ankush Free Fire. It is D Sports. The team usually is performing very well. All they got to do is get triggered. Let's see, are they triggered enough after the first match or no? Because Ankush Free Fire, certainly after losing one player, I don't think they would want to continue here. And even if we look through the mini map, two players are already trying to take a fallback. Rahil, though, he doesn't have any space to move out of here, because if he attempts to do so with very low HP left, he might get spotted and might get eliminated in the course. So for now, the best part is hide as long as possible, and as well as I don't see any team support as well near to that. So it is all that he doesn't give any footworks, he doesn't give any footsteps, and Team D Sports just has a feeling that there's nobody here and move out of here. But it isn't going to be the situation. RNS knows exactly where Rahil is hiding, and they are trying to follow him. Let's see, are they able to confirm the kill, because Roshan is also trying to take a different form of flank where he is able to easily spot that out, but Rahil certainly is able to sneak out of here.
Team T Sports actually managed to snap the spine of Team Ankush Free Fire. They're completely broken apart. I guess Rahil is trying to save himself as much as possible. There is certainly communication between them, but I don't really think that the teams are actually playing in tandem to each other. Ankush Free Fire, they are a 2-1 split, and I'm not sure if they will be able to survive. D Sports, certainly they mumbled their way towards Team Ankush Free Fire. Reinforcements came in, and as soon as they knew that, all right, we have the right strength to go head to head against this team, they did so. But eventually Team Ankush Free Fire, Rahil is still trying to hold his ground. He has this tree to work as cover, but eventually this steep slope can certainly take him down. Eventually he has only 38 points of HP to work with. In the esports, they're not really interested in the kills as of now. Ankush Free Fire, they're still trying to hold their ground. They are holding those upper angles, and I guess they are not interested in taking those kills, because they know for a fact that they have lost one player already. Rahil is in a very vulnerable position. He can get taken down at any particular moment, so it's the best case scenario for them to just stay quiet and stay healthy. Elsewhere on the map, we have Team Total Gaming, and they're also looking pretty healthy and looking forward to this particular game, especially after the disappointing performance in the first one in Bermuda. I guess they can actually do well in Purgatory, but yeah, Tanya, go on.
Yeah, the spread out was quite too wide, even more than expected. Nobody is trying to share the grounds or try to conquer the grounds that those are already held high by some other team. Total Gaming in the previous round, the prediction went almost on point. They were holding a compound where nobody could shake. Ultimately, they had to lose because of the circle shift. They lost that compound.
Yeah.
With that losing compound, they lost the battle. So let's see what is their prediction for the circle this time going to be, because if we talk about LVL Iconic, they have the biggest compound there. So at this point of time, comparing Bermuda and Purgatory, Purgatory definitely has an early elimination of a team like Galaxy Racer, but certainly the pace is going to slow down. Ultimately, everybody has got enough amount of loot to work out for the future fight. Brasilia, if we talk about UAV is doing a lot of work. 3 teams have spotted each other's exact location, so it is enough information out of the house, and it is a get some extra baggage of loot which might end up getting into self-elimination. So I don't think there's any want that at all. So D Sports holding a compound quite too firmly. Ankush Free Fire, they are a little far away, but safe enough not to move out or take any aggressive action as of now. But captains are into quite too open, and they have a team who's just around the corner on bridge, which is Nemesis, who just took away a Booyah. So somewhere Nemesis does have a positive boost, positive in there. Because holding yourself on the bridge is certainly, I don't prefer. Let's see if the preference for them. Gaming has started picking up quite early on this time, and again, once again, it is going to be nice. Of these teams who are fighting.
Absolutely, we'll have to wait and watch if the tables turn in this one. But eventually, they look like a match made in heaven. Of course, Team Total Gaming, it's going to be Mafia Pala who is leading the torch at the moment. Fozzy Ajay closely following by it. Eventually, a lot of support fire is certain. But eventually, the danger zone, it is going to make things for both these two teams so much more difficult. I guess they will try and take a fallback right now. Save their numbers, because there's a mutual understanding between those two teams that you can't really fight when the danger zone is on. But eventually, it's going to be Team LVL Iconic. They're trying to fall back from this particular fight, eventually they will find themselves in front of another team. I guess a fight is actually going on. It is probably Team Elite. I'm not quite certain if that is Team Elite or not, but certain, I guess it's Team 6 Sense. Team 6 Sense and Team LVL Iconic are actually in the mix right now. We have Total Gaming coming in as well. This can be very, very bad. Team D Esports are also in the vicinity. Illuminati using a grenade, taking down one player from Team Ankur Free Fire. We have so many teams in our minimap at the moment. Anything can brew up. Prince still trying to use the hand cannon, trying to get a little opening for his team to actually go and work about. Team LVL Iconic, they have some sort of cover for themselves and they can actually play in tandem to each other. It'll be interesting to watch out what is the strategy for coming in from Team Total Gaming. Without an opening, it will be very hard for them to actually crack the match from Team LVL Iconic. Master Barak is taking down. He was the first person to go down, and eventually Team LVL Iconic can actually get clear switch. Eventually another team coming from behind. It's going to be Team Elite, and they are completely backstabbing Team Total Gaming. Only 2 players alive, and not really any. It's Team Total Gaming who will be completely wiped out. Team Elite came in from nowhere and took them down in some sheer fashion. That was destruction incarnate. Of course, there is no shortage of action because Team LVL Iconic, they are afraid of Team Elite right now. They have been completely obliterated. Pops out. Koish. He will struck from this particular point on. I guess it was because of going too aggressive at this point. I guess they will still try and use their glue walls for some sort of cover at the moment. I guess it's going to be issues up close and personal, using the double vectors to his advantage. Eventually, they fall back in. The fact that they have lost a player and they don't really want to lose more. Team LVL Iconic might actually use this opportunity to try and go in, and he gets one as well onto Bahari. The M60 is screaming bullets and he's getting killed left and right. Team LVL Iconic, they are going. They don't really want to stop at the moment. They are on 6 kills. Killer will get taken down as well. This is the real wrath of Team LVL Iconic and Team Elite. Goodbye, my friends. You are destroyed. This is so good to watch. Team Elite coming in from behind, taking Team Total Gaming down, but then Team LVL Iconic just utilizing that action to perfection, timing that to perfection, and taking down Team Elite. This is so good to watch, Tanya.
Absolutely, it was good to watch John T still surviving. All he got to do is save himself for the standing point. The destiny did not work the way we wanted it to see. I mean, I actually wanted to see Total Gaming versus Iconic. Team Elite pops in, eliminates Total Gaming, and then Team Iconic winning the battle against Team Elite. So somewhere, Total Gaming and Iconic won once again by Iconic. I would say the reason is the opponents against the Total Gaming are totally almost demolished. It is all down to John T now. All he got to do is save himself. And if you talk about 6 Sense previously, the longer rotation did not pay them much, but this time around they've already managed to take 3 kills. All 4 players intact. Nemesis as well. Once again into the Brasilia, one of the good compounds to hold on to if circle is in their favor. We saw how destructive this team turns into. They fought 3 teams and all in their favor without losing any player as well. Team Chaos eliminated Galaxy Racer quite too early on, are content, don't want to go ahead, saving themselves for the final circle, and it is Ronnie Negi getting a little anxious to spot if any enemy is available. They want to make sure to get some kill points alongside standing points, because winning 4 points is already too much at this point of time, because it is 10 minutes down to the match and 9 teams still surviving. And if your team is in the healthy state of all 4 players intact, it is very good indeed. So I would say Iconic is into a very good standing at this point of time. All they got to do is save themselves for the future fight. Last Breath got eliminated first into the previous round.
No.
This time around they have hold themselves, not picking any fight, keeping themselves safe. Team D Sports, after 1 kill, they also look quite too content, but it is team captains. Now finally we are going to get to see them in action against Last Breath.
Of course, the action is certainly going to be there, but how did they manage to move out of this position? They were not in the main island, I believe. They were rotating in. They used the waterways to their advantage, but now they are stuck in the riverbanks. They can actually find themselves taken down because team number 3 is certainly out there. They will be gatekeeping them, and breaking those shatter areas will be very, very difficult for them. as of Team Elite, only one player is surviving, and I guess it is going to be a very difficult job for him to even get inside the top 5. He will try and go for the placement points though. We have the UAV completely disclosing all the teams who are out there. We have Team Survivor 4 AM who are still trying to survive with all 4 players intact. They don't really have a lot of points to work with. They don't really have kills in this match, but even then they have the numbers to their advantage. We can see only few teams are actually pretty healthy. DE Sports 4 AM, LVL Iconic, Captain, Sixth Sense, as well as Last Breath. Total Team Chaos is still out there with 4 players intact, but apart from that, most of the teams are pretty much injured, and that is not a very good sign moving on to the final circle. At the moment, we still have 9 teams and 33 players left, and anything can happen, Tanya, from this particular point on. Their teams, they're still trying to scout out their locations initially. They're still trying to send in a player, but eventually the circle, it is going to play a merciless game, of course. I mean, we have seen deadly circles in the first game. We are seeing deadly circles in the second game as well. Probably this is the meta of the Free Fire gods. This is the meta that they really want to test the teams in the grand finals. Of course, Team Elite, they will get taken down. Once again, Team Nemesis find themselves on the right end of the circle. All the other teams will try and join them. Team LVL Iconic still trying to go for the rotation. Now, since most of the circle is quite empty, it won't really be a very big problem for the teams rotating early on. But the teams who delay the rotation, those are the teams who will face a lot of trouble.
They are going to face trouble now. This time around, I think the prediction coming from Nemesis is going on point. They are able to predict. Maybe they are using the own predictors
Oh,
here and
no.
there. But over here, I see Survivor 4M. This time they have managed to save all 4 players intact, and they are battling against Team Captains. The fight, this was supposed to be taken against Last Breath. This time again, it is not Last Breath, but it is going to be 4M. So let's see how our captain's going to do. Bablu is trying to use hand cannons possibly, but I don't think any shots were connected. Golden has taken the final ultimate weapon to pick up this fight. It is going to be grenade launcher. Let's see if one shot connects. He can easily take 2 players down. He switches the weapon and he's trying to get a knock, but unfortunately he did deal some damage. Unfortunately, the player could not get knocked down. Let's see. I actually want the M79 to come in action, but is he going to use? If you look at Akash, the step for now using the blue or the cover, doing as far as possible, but certainly going to get knocked down. Our player is knocked down, but he comes as a savior. Bablu got spotted, dealing a lot of damage over here. Is
No
Bablu
way.
going to chase out over here? And then comes ultimate grenade launcher.
Oh my.
Successfully knocks one player. Nivesh left with very low HP. Second attack was coming as the kill confirmation at this point in time. Captain has lost 2 players already, and now comes the entry of the third party, which is the last player. He's fighting united to pick up the fight against each other. Somewhere Survivor 4M are taking the with the right step, but our captain is once again. He is holding. He's able to drop one drop. Double kills, then comes Adam eliminating
my
Survivor
goodness.
4 AM. I must say third parties are always the winner. If we talk about the previous 3 teams or this team's third parties are getting a win-win with some free kills alongside.
There was a triple threat, Tanya. Eventually, Team Last Breath, they catch Team Survivor 4 AM off guard, and that was it. There was no way they could actually come back from that. And I was actually surprised that a team like Team Last Breath, they could take down Team Survivor 4 AM. Now, I'm not saying that they are bad. I'm just saying that Team Survivor 4 AM are not there playing that aggressive gameplay that they usually play. They are really getting on to giving on their nerves at the moment, I guess. They are giving into their nerves, not really playing the national game. That's something which is really hurting them. At the moment, we have to Nemesis. They know exactly what Instant Sense is. This is going to be a goal. He walks it. Corner will take the mind game. He is in a very precarious position. Mind gamer, which is P90, spraying and praying at the moment. Stoner confirming few kills for himself. At the moment, Mr. Gamer is the only ones who are still there. The P90 shreds and this distance. He will get a kill for himself, but will it be all? Yes, it certainly will be. I guess Stoner is going to confirm the entire team. Nemesis is still trying to hold his position. I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do. He eventually is taking a lot of damage from the blue circle. Not really trying to fight at the moment. For the rest of the team, though, that is going to be a very big question. I mean, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. The team LVL Iconic, they have the positioning inside the circle. They have Ronnie Nagy, the last player who is still surviving. I'm not quite sure if it's going to survive for long because Team LVL Iconic, this is going to be very bad. Ronnie Nagy, he is in a very different trailer. Now he has to fight against an entire army right in front of him. Team Chaos can actually take down this team as well and capture the entire territory for themselves. Team DE Sports, they are certainly out in the open, but going on to moving inside the zone, not a big deal. They have the blue work with, and eventually that can work in their favor. Only 3 teams survive, and 8 players are on their foot. Tanya, this is certainly a setup for a very extravagant finale. Scary takes on Blackshot from a long distance, confirms the kill for himself as well. Team Chaos is certainly on the way to get a booyah for themselves, and inside Scary already has 4 kills for himself. The sniper sings the songs of death, and there goes the devil incarnate. He is going to take more kills for himself. The zone shrinks as well. The glue walls, how long is it going to protect him? I'm not quite sure for long. It's going to be Ravi. He has the LMG to work with. Eventually, it is going to be very, very difficult against the entirety of Team Chaos. I guess it's going to Sonal Jr. He will fear up there. He just wants to work on the shotgun to work with. I guess the double barrel shotgun can actually straight at this position. He works into the time turn of long position and shreds them down to perfection. This is Team Chaos at their very best. Team DE Sports, they're still trying to walk in. The flash completely blinds Ravi. He has no sidelines whatsoever. At the moment, Kunal Jr., he's still trying to heal himself up, trying to take this fight at his best possible HP. Eventually, Pratham will try and provide a lot of backup by the sniper. Using closeness is certainly a very good option. Takes one player down. Eventually, it's going to be he takes down Pratham as well. Now it comes down to a 1v1. I guess it's going to be a 1v1. Roshan, what's happening? I absolutely have no idea. It's going to be Team DE Sports who get taken down. A Cristiano Ronaldo celebration comes in. Team Chaos with the booyah in the next one. This is such a good grand final, Tanya. I am excited about this one.
Yeah, you were out of breath several times. I did notice. And Team Chaos, how can we not appreciate? Initiated eliminating Galaxy Racers, ended eliminating these Sports. I must say, these boys were on fire. Beautiful kills taken and reached the grand booyah that I say double digit for sure. And looked quite too easy. It was certainly not. They had to battle 2 teams alongside. And LVL Iconic got eliminated. Then the course turned easier. All they had to do was eliminate 2 players down. So I must say it was a well strategized plan and executed smoothly coming from Team Chaos. And the team who could not perform in previous match gave the double of the fullest possible, or maybe even more than that, won a grand booyah. I literally want to see even the booyahs getting stronger and stronger coming from each and every different team. This time it is not about the emotions about which team that I root for, but it is all about the action that my eyes are craving. And this was one of those cases when I got the perfect feed to my eyes.
This is the truest caster statement possible. I feel like we are always sitting on the fence, not really venturing too much with our emotions. Yes, always some casters do have their opinions. Audience has that as well. But Tanya is like, you know what? I'm not going to predict too much. I'm just going to go for the action. And I guess that is a good way to go. I guess everyone expects good action from FIFA India Championship, and we are getting it served hot on a platter, ready to be feasted.
Yep, and it is a tasty feast indeed. It is a feast worth of 75 lakh worth of a prize pool. Apart from that, you're going to get a tag of FIFA India Championship 2021. So you're going to get name, fame, everything. Who wouldn't want to enjoy such sort of feast? Indeed, I am also enjoying my feast in their winnings. I have to say this by now. The event has run for 10 days long. Today it's the 11th day, and it is not entirely. My predictions were working by far, but certainly they have stopped working. I don't see any passive approach. 2 teams getting eliminated into the very first 2 to 3 minutes of the match. I mean, I'm stunned, and each and every team is totally pumped up. They've all pulled up their socks already. We don't have to say otherwise. It is my patent. I say, come on boys, pull up the socks, buckle your belts. This is the time. You have to go for the fight. It is just that I am not getting any breather. Each and every team, and every time we are getting to see 3 different teams fighting against each other. But this was somewhere I did feel sad about the Galaxy Racer. They got eliminated, and how Team Elite as a third party eliminated Total Gaming, and then certainly got eliminated by LVL Iconic, which is not much of expectations, but this is it. Expect the unexpected.
Absolutely. I guess, Tanya, your lucky charm was that nursery class water sipper. you are not really using it right now, and that is why your predictions are not matching. You use it even more, I guess your predictions will certainly match, but the fights were insane. I mean, I love the way teams were aggressive right from the start. This third party was certainly one of the very best, if not the very best. We got to see quite a number of third parties, to be honest. Now, there was an exchange of grenade launcher shots. Junotra had one with him. Well, he tried to use it, but eventually that was of no use. Team Lashpeth came in and spoiled the complete party, Tanya. What was your thoughts about it? I was going on trying to talk as much as about it as possible, but what was going on in your head about this fight?
I thought last breath might not enter. They would want to enter the circle first, but certainly they
Yeah.
wanted some kill points. And talk about Nemesis, how nicely they were able to hold near to the circle. But Sixth Sense comes and wakes them up out of the dream of holding this compound for quite too long because
Yeah.
the circle was closing in. Last man standing, if I'm not mistaken, it was Nemesis. Yes, it was Nemesis. He was eliminated by the circle itself. The sports picking up fight against LVL Iconic as well as Team Chaos. LVL got eliminated first, but I don't know why one player just held himself for quite too long with the sniper scope in. It was Roshan, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is Roshan. And then we see the immediate victory of Team Chaos with the Cristiano Ronaldo finisher, which was perfect one. We have the game 2 MVP over here, which is for sure Team Chaos's Kunal Jr. 5 kills, 1 assist, and 724 worth of a damage. I must say, Kunal Jr. worked very smoothly, very flawlessly, out of double-digit kill. If you are able to get almost 33% of the kills, you have done your work way better than other teammates. You have done your work on point. So let's hope how far are they going to go from here, because after every single match, my expectations are rising, not only from the teams but each and every player as well. Like in previous match, Nemesis got me high in the sense of that I'm going to get even more of action coming from them.
Yeah.
They could not. They were left a little low due to the circle shift or Sixth Sense rushing in quite too closely. But for Team Chaos, this situation worked from beginning. They eliminated Galaxy Racer until the end. They eliminated 2 different teams, LVL Iconic and D Sports. They were on point. They were on point.
Absolutely, with 13 kills. Look at those big daddy numbers. 12 placement points, 13 kill points, 25 total points to work with. Team Chaos certainly obliterated the competition. They destroyed it. They not only suppressed other teams, but they completely shattered their hopes as well. LVL Iconic, they had 14 points to work with, which is definitely a good number, to be honest, Anya. But I mean, as compared to the performance of Team Chaos, it looks bleak because one team has like 25 points. But of course, even a 14-point or a 13-point game is a very good performance. And I really appreciate the fact that Team D Sports actually made it inside the final circle. They really participated in a lot of fights. They got 4 kills for themselves as well. But it does not really matter. I felt that they really had the edge, especially in terms of the number in the final fight. But Pratham and Kunal Jr., boy oh boy, they clutched it out so smoothly. It was brilliant. They used the trailer to their advantage, and Kunal Jr. was certainly out there. And I guess they were certainly helped a bit by Team D Sports' last player, who was not really in action for the last couple of seconds, but it does not really matter. Team Chaos, they have all the points to work with. And definitely this game is going to shift so much in the points table, Tanya. I'm really excited about it because Galaxy Racers, they were taken down so early on. Total Gaming were taken down so early on. Galaxy Racer were third after the first game. I wonder where they are right now.
All 3 top teams are seen into the bottom 4 or 5, Nemesis, Elite as well as Galaxy Racers, and these are the current standings. We get to see a consistency coming from Team Chaos. 18 kills, look at the difference of margin, 7 points of difference even between position 1 and 2. But if you look at Nemesis, they could not, placement points are shared with Team Chaos, but they got a little weaker on the kill point section. Team D Sports raced their way up, a total of 20 points. Elite is stumbling down. LVL Iconic got an upshift. Captain Survivor 4M, Sixth Sense Galaxy Racer. Look at the positioning of Galaxy Racer from position 3 directly taking a shift into the bottom 5. Team Elite still holding it within top 5 at least, and the top 5 teams have taken a little bit of shift here and there, but certainly we cannot predict as of now. We are only down to 2 matches. First segment is certainly over, but we still have 2 more segments to go, 4 more matches to go, and out of which we are going to have 2 Kalaharis in total, which is definitely
Yeah.
leaderboard changes. So with this current standings, I don't have much to predict as of now. But Team Chaos certainly has solidified their position into a good double-digit figure and good margin of 7 points worth of a lead. All they got to do is get few kills and come at top 3, maybe top 4, maybe. They are going to manage to stay in top 3 with this pattern of work. But is it going to be easy? I don't think so. Each and every team is coming with different colors, which we have not seen by far. So maybe we are going to see more of a rainbow, maybe beyond that.
Absolutely, Rainbow, even beyond that. But I feel like Evil was actually right when he said that my guesses were actually basically I don't know what I mean Total Gaming, the defending champions at the bottom position. This is insane. Like, I didn't really expect. I expected consistent performances. I didn't really expect them to get Booyah initially, but of course, being in the bottom position, managing only 3 mega points out of 2 games played, that is certainly that definitely will hurt. And I'm not really sure what's going on, but for certain this team is going to come back in the next 4 games. But do they have enough metal in them to actually climb the ranks and go to number 1? I doubt about it. Eventually we will find that out. As for now, I guess we are going to go on a very short break. Till then, don't go anywhere, stay tuned, because I mean, we love the support that the audience is providing to us, but eventually everyone needs break. So yeah, me, Salty, and Tanya, we're gonna come very shortly. Stay tuned.
Yeah, you definitely are going to see us on the other
फैंस
side.
बट मेरे साथ जुड़ने वाले AB, Evil, Aura एंड तानिया. तो सबसे पहले मैं आपके पास आना चाहता हूँ, आप सभी के पास. कैसे हैं आप?
Well, I would like to start first because मैं बहुत ही बढ़िया हूँ and obviously यार एक continuous action हमें देखने को मिला and then finally it all comes down to the grand finals, the day that we have always been waiting for. ये पूरा एक बहुत ही बढ़िया रन रहा था for us, for the players as well, because obviously behind the scenes work वो लोग भी करते हैं and हम लोग भी करते हैं, and especially about that interview. आज हम लोग बहुत सारी चीजें बात करेंगे, एनालिसिस करेंगे कि क्या यहाँ पर गलतियां करी है टीम्स ने, कौन कौन सी टीम लगता है हमें एटलीस्ट अपर हैंड रखेंगी. बट कमिंग बैक टू यू, यू विल, हाउ आर यू?
मैं बहुत अच्छा हूँ और लाइक एवी भाई जैसा अभी मामा भाई ने बताया कि आज यहाँ पर सभी टीम्स तो 10 दिन से मतलब अगर हम बात करें ओवरऑल 10 तो दिन उन्होंने फाइट करी एक दूसरे के साथ और आज उनका फाइनल डे यहाँ पर सामने आ चुका है. डे डिसाइड करेगा कौन सी टीम आज यहाँ से चैंपियन बन के निकलेगी, कौन सी टीम आज यहाँ से 75 लाख अपने साथ लेकर जाने वाली है और साथ के साथ ढेर सारा रिस्पेक्ट, ढेर सारा फैन फॉलोइंग अपने साथ यहाँ पर लेकर जाने वाली है. तो देखने वाली बात रहेगी कौन सी टीम आज आती है. और स्पेशली आज यहाँ पर कुछ टीम्स जिनके बारे में हम लोग बात करेंगे ऑब्वियसली, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने देखा है लीग मैचेस में काफी अच्छा खेले, लेकिन प्लेइंग्स में हम लोगों ने देखा कि वो टीम लाइक जितनी एक्सपेक्टेशन थी उतना ज्यादा नहीं कर पाए. लेकिन आज क्या वो कर पाते हैं? गोल्डन टिकट भले ही पाई, लेकिन आज जो फाइनल्स है, फाइनल्स में कैसा करेंगे? तो और जी आप भी थोड़ा हमें बताइए कैसे हैं आप?
थैंक यू. मैं पहली बात तो बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़िया हूँ और बहुत ज़्यादा हंग्री हूँ क्योंकि आज का जो एक्शन है वो दमदार होने वाला है. एंड अभी से कहूँ तो हंगर बहुत ज़्यादा नजर आ रही है क्योंकि ग्रैंड फाइनल है, टीम्स बिल्कुल तैयार है और हमको भारत की बेस्ट 12 टीम्स मिल चुकी हैं, इंडिया की बेस्ट 12 टीम्स मिल चुकी हैं. तो यार ये चीज़ देखने के लिए तो हम लोग काफ़ी लंबे टाइम से मेहनत कर रहे थे. पिछले जो जितने भी लीग डेज गए हैं, जितने भी प्लेन्स गए हैं, आज के दिन के लिए थे वो. आज का दिन डिसाइड करेगा कौन बनेगा ग्रैंड चैंपियन. बहुत ज़्यादा मजा आने वाला है. बट मैं ज़्यादा टाइम ना ले करके ताने जी से पूछना चाहूंगा क्योंकि वो मुझे ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड नजर आ रही हैं. तो ताने जी, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगी?
I'm super excited. Yes, बहुत heavy filtration हुआ है. We have got so many teams. कम होते we ended with league stages. League stages से we got top 6 teams. Play-in से we got other 6 teams. So ultimately we are down to 12 teams. And I must say competition.
खबर देने के लिए उसके साथ इस टाइम पास कंफर्म कर दिया गया था, लेकिन
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Free Fire India Championship 2021 Spring. This is the grand finals. All that these teams have worked for so far, everything that they have stood for, everything that they have put on the line, all of that boils down to this. 2 games are done. 4 more are left to go. Floki, what do you think is going to happen?
You know, this has been a very surprising day for almost all of the casters involved so far. We all predicted that some of the tier 1 teams are going to be the ones who make it there, but in the first game on Bermuda, it is Nemesis who gets the booyah. In the second game, it's Team Chaos, who wakes up like a slumbering giant and starts to wreak havoc all over Brasilia. And I can't even wait to see what's going to happen on Kalahari, because Kalahari is the weirdest map of all. It's the most different one, Crips. You've said this time and time again. And over here is where David and Goliath clash. Now, will David prevail? That's the biggest question, because many of these teams like Six Sense and Total Gaming, the amount of experience that they've accumulated playing this map is definitely going to help them, beat out some of these lesser known teams, some of these underdogs. But here's the thing. When you've played so many matches and, everyone has seen you play on these maps, you tend to be figured out. And that seems to be what happened exactly in last game with Team Galaxy Racers. I think they dropped all the way inside, what was that area called again? Central.
Into Central City, yeah.
Central, yeah. And Team Chaos dropped in there as well, contested them, they ended up losing out. And as a result, I mean, Team Chaos, right off the bat, they just started off so strong. Fire Brigade was open, Lumber Mill was open, and even though those places were open, we didn't see the team try to go to those places. And when you don't take those options that are available to you, when you don't go for the safer route, when you decide to contest a team like Team Chaos, who are known for their early game fights, you get punished.
And you know what? The reason I predicted Galaxy Racer as the winners today is because I wanted to go for something risky. I wanted to go for an off-meta pick, pick up a team which doesn't have that high chances of winning. And then I realized, oh wait, I completely forgot the Team Chaos existed as well. Even they have a pretty good chance of winning. And between Galaxy Racer and Chaos, now that they actually duked it out against each other in Central, I'm like, well, I made a mistake. Yeah, that's what I realized. But maybe Kalahari could be a redeeming factor for Galaxy Racer. They are the kind of team who does well on maps where there's a lot of complicated urban areas involved. So if the circuit goes towards Refinery or Bayfront, maybe they have a good chance of winning. Even Six Sense might have a chance of redeeming themselves in Kalahari. They usually have a pretty strong set over here. In fact, even Team D are known for, doing well in Kalahari. But Team D, I'm not sure if they'll be able to step up in front of all these giants. Especially now when all these teams are revealing all their secret strategies that they have been saving up for the finals.
Absolutely. Now they're going to start showing their hand, and now they're going to be, they're going to be like, okay, we didn't really show our hand up until now. You don't know exactly what we were practicing. We're going to show it to you now in full force and full effect. And that is when these teams are going to be scrambling for their lives, especially the underdog teams. Now, the good thing about being an underdog is that you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So there isn't as much pressure on you to perform, which is why I feel like we saw these two teams actually win out the booyah early on. Right, if you're Total Gaming or if you're Six Sense, you start to feel the pressure mount a little bit. You start feeling like, okay, maybe we need to make a few risky plays, or maybe we need to do something different. You groove, you go out of your way to do things that you're not really comfortable with, and you end up paying the price. But many a times, these underdog teams who have never felt the pressure at all, they just come in, hands down, being like, you know what, guys, if we lose, we lose. what's the worst that could happen? Let's just go in there and have fun. Let's just go in there and do whatever the hell we want. That's exactly what these teams are doing right now. Even Last Breath, I mean, there's so many of these teams are surviving towards the end. Names that you would not expect to make it that far are making it that far. And I think that's what's going to happen on Kalahari as well.
Yeah, and you're right. To complement that, I just noticed that in the last two games, one of the few teams to get eliminated very early on were the teams that some of the other casters have picked up as their predictions, right? It's always a top dog that goes down first. I mean, that just proves your point right. It just proves that all the teams who have been playing and who are experienced, they have already been read like an open book and figured out already. So, yeah, they are at a much greater risk of getting eliminated early on. And all the underdog teams, like you rightly suggested, they have a chance of making it better. Well, let's see if the same trend continues in Kalahari, because, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to jump into the desert.
Well, let's see who the plane part takes us, Crips. It's going to start all the way near Shrines. It's going to make its way towards Mammoth, where the height here loot zone is. Stone Ridge should be accessible, so guessing that that's where Team 6 are going to go. That's where they're known to go. In the meantime, Survivors 4 AM, they are going to drop into Refinery like they always do. But this time around, they might end up being contested here, Crips. And we might see a very early fight between Level Iconic and Team Survivors 4 AM, both choosing to drop near Refinery. This could get very, very interesting. Having Refinery control early on is a very big thing. But I like what Golden's doing here. Immediately taking the jump pad and making a run for the hills. Instead, he's going to go towards the outskirts of Refinery and look to find some weaponry there. Just making sure he doesn't feed away any early kills. Good adjustment there by Team Survivors 4M. I do not want to see them going down like I saw Galaxy Racers go down when they contested Chaos back in Purgatory.
You know, this is such a big change, especially for the finals. All the time throughout the league stage, Team 4G Crust Esports used to drop into Refinery, but now that they're not here in the finals, it's open territory, it's free real estate, and all the teams really want to capitalize in on that. Well, unfortunately, this time Survivors 4AM could not land early on, so they were forced to relinquish that area, and safely they were allowed to exit, but yeah, this definitely will put a spanner in their works because they plan to drop together. Now Survivors 4 AM, they are split up a little. They can regroup, of course. It's still early days. You can't really count them out just because they were displaced by their drop location. But yeah, I mean, it definitely will hamper their playstyle. Although Santa Catarina is still uncontested, Total Gaming has almost always dropped over here and they never really faced any problems. So that's fine. Survivors 4AM, like I said, have regrouped, although they probably might want to retake control of Central Refinery later on. Shrines has Last Breath. Again, no competition over here, so they're pretty safe as well. Let's take a look at the map. I kind of want to see the map and see what all the other teams are. That will give us a good idea of what the layout looks like.
Most certainly, Chris, but I also feel that at the same time, us not seeing any early fights means that the third and fourth circles are going to be bloody as hell, because you can just imagine the number of teams that are going to survive towards the end, right? So, right now we don't see any fights breaking out. Usually you see teams contest each other near command post. Usually you see teams contest each other near the refinery, but this time around teams opting to go for the safer route is going to create so much more chaos later on in the game, and that's where things start getting really, really interesting, because it is typically the mid to late game where all these tier 1 teams, that is, or at least quote-unquote tier 1 teams, are supposed to shine. Your Six Senses, your Total Gamings, your Team Elites, etc., etc. That is when these guys really start nailing the coffins and being like, okay, this is the difference between us and you. We know how to play the mid game properly. Let's see if that happens this time. Command post also completely empty, kind of surprising. And over here, Team Nemesis, I believe this is towards the right side of Shrines. I think this is towards the northeastern part of the map, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, that's where the water is. So interesting drop location by them. But the first circle is going to be coming up soon, and we'll see exactly where it is that these teams need to go. Of course, the first circle, Crips, we've talked about it often. It doesn't really make that much of a difference.
Yeah, right. It does cover quite a lot of area, so won't really displace a lot of teams except for maybe like 1 or 2 teams who are on the very edges of the map. So other than that, it doesn't really force these teams to go out of their way and make a massive rotation or anything. But again, because the circle is very passive this time around and all these teams are not really fighting each other, I don't know what's going to happen in the mid to late game.
Yeah.
It's going to be chaotic, and Kalahari is already a pretty chaotic map. So if we have like one crazy circle shift, a lot of these teams will be thrown off their feet. And then getting back on your feet is going to be really hard. You're going to have to scramble for all of that.
Yeah.
Although I do see something happening, Floki. Survivors 4 AM were in Refinery, were being the keyword over here. Level Iconic were always here. But now we have a new contender approaching, and that's Team Last Breath. Now, they're in the valley downstairs. I don't think they've been spotted just yet, but footsteps might be audible, so Level Iconic are definitely going to check it out. And take a look at this. They're splitting up 2-2. Two of the players already going downstairs. Two players might just circle around from the other side of Refinery, and they probably will intercept Team Last Breath. But they are moving away as well. There's quite a lot of distance in between these two teams. There is a chance of a fight breaking out between those two, but maybe not just yet. They probably just want to gather information and let them go. Hopefully they'll be able to do something productive with that information later on.
Most certainly. I mean, you don't want to be the team that starts up a fight that cannot finish early on in the circuit, because you just end up attracting so much more attention, and even though you might finish the fight and nobody else will contest you, they will know that you're in that position, and it's going to be that much difficult for you to rotate when the circle shifts. So there's a lot of incentive to executing your fights very quickly and very cleanly, as we've often observed. But this is what often happens on Kalahari Crips. This time around, the western edge of the western edge of the map is not in the play zone. So all the teams that dropped in on the western end of the map are gonna have to start closing in towards the central area, towards Refinery and Command Post. And this is where things get interesting, because Team Chaos already have Command Post under control, and the areas that are accessible from the west side are gonna be Refinery and maybe towards the southern side a little bit of Mammoth. I didn't catch the circle entirely. I'm not quite sure if it's gonna close in there, but that's about the area that these teams are gonna get to go to. And this is where it gets very interesting, because Command Post, it's a very open area, so it can be hard to defend at times.
I don't know about what to defend or what not to defend, but I know one thing. Rotations can be really difficult. And take a look at this. Team Last Breath have already positioned themselves just a little outside of Command Post. That means Refinery is now completely up for the taking.
Wow.
Nobody over there. All these teams on the western side, they could have easily rotated in from that side, but no. Instead, they chose to rotate from the southern side of the circle, thinking it would be safe, and it turns out that is definitely not the case. Galaxy Racers and Team Captains, both of them run into each other while they're in the middle of rotations. Now, the good thing for them is they're both in the circle, so they don't really need to worry. But Galaxy Racer do pick off Nivesh from Team Captains. That one early kill might just make a massive difference in the late game, especially when the circle is going haywire in all different directions.
Yeah, Ganothra as well, standing on top of this little area, it's going to be very hard for him to get out of here, especially without his teammates covering him. I think his location has been marked. I'm not entirely sure if it has been marked, actually, because he hasn't fired a single bullet, at least from that place, as far as I could see. But at the same time, getting out of that high area can be a little bit tricky. Of course, he has a grappling hook, so it's not going to be about him getting onto the low ground without taking damage, but more so about getting shot at while he's doing so. Ankush Free Fire, in the meantime, they're going to close in from the southern part of the map and try to get in towards the middle area. Santa Katrina as well being occupied by Total Gaming. So far so good. Not a lot of early aggression. This is usually how you see Kalahari go. Unless, of course, the circle, it ends up covering a big area of the uninhabitable or uninhabitable zone, as we often like to say. And if that area ends up being a bit too much inside the circle, that's when we see teams start to fight for pieces of real estate, because they're going to be that much less. I mean, you don't see teams try to take these early fights for no rhyme and reason. Almost everyone who's reached the grand finals knows the value of patience. They know the value of just holding your ground if you're inside the circle, waiting for all the information to be presented to you, and then making a call. It's improper to try and make early game plays when you don't, especially after the first circle spawn. I mean, if the first circle spawn and you're in it, your time to make plays is gone. The time to make plays is usually when you drop right after that, and maybe when the third or fourth circle starts showing itself. Or if you need to, just get inside.
Yeah, that's more what I was gonna say. You usually make those plays when you're just desperately looking to move. Before that, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, take a look at this fight. Team D versus Team Nemesis. Both of them in the circle, both of them in Bayfront, and very far away from each other. The result? They can't finish each other off. If they want to finish each other, they want to have to close the distance. Roshan gets docked, easily gonna get revived. None of them is gonna die over here. But what it does is it attracts attention. So now people will know, okay, right, Bayfront has 2 teams, maybe even 3. So you're gonna steer clear of that area. So these teams will either want a third party or they will want to avoid it. There's no in between. But oh my goodness, Ankush Free Fire don't know what the word in between means. They're just gonna go for it. They're full sending it in. They have Scary cornered in the sniper tower, and they're just trying to blow him apart. Now, luckily, Scary isn't taking too much damage, and as soon as I say that, he loses half his health. Maybe the other half will be gone after this grenade, but he is losing out on time. That's what really matters. There's no chance of them reviving Scary now, so yeah, he's as good as dead. And his teammates are so far spread out across the different areas of Command Post that if any one of them leaves their post, it's going to be impossible to trade. That's what happens when you try to split up and control too much area. You end up losing trading potential. It's always a trade-off. You either want to, refrag your teammates as soon as they are down, or you want to control as much area as you can. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. Elsewhere on the map, Santa Catrina. This is a rematch, Floki. We have seen Team 6 Sense assault this very compound before against Total Gaming, and now they're going to do it again. This is what, the third or fourth time they're battling in the same place at the same time against the same team? Oh my goodness, this is a whole new thing.
Absolutely. This has just come full circle, but this time around Total Gaming are ready. They're the ones to get the first knock, and guess what? They're going to be the ones to find the first kill as well. He was protecting him for now, but I think he should be going down. No, he's actually going to to walk out despite the skin of their teeth, and at the same time, they need to be worried about the Fozzy has just downstairs with the Max 7 and the double vectors trying to make it work. Illuminati elsewhere, he's trying to go in and out, trying to find someone to kill, and now it's just a goddamn mess of blue walls. No one's really able to get out of here. Sona's going to be able to lead himself back up, double barrel shotgun in his hand. Elsewhere on the map, look who's joined the party, it's Galaxy Racers. They're in here to fight some revenge. Max 7 is going to go in, he's the Max 7. Fight the big touch 12 once, the one's going to get knocked down as well, and now he's going to be taken out. Yes, he is. And guess what? Even Fabendro has gone down. This is not the way 6 Sense planned their assault. Not really. They're probably thinking the stars that Galaxy Racers are going to save the day. And guess what? They can now go in and throw money. Galaxy Racers are going to be too busy feeling some of the losses. No, they can't. Total Gaming triple peeking one single guy. Down. Now Golden still standing strong, trying to fight them back, but to protect Total Gaming for now. 3 members standing, but now 3 members falling. But look at the flag coming in from Galaxy Racers. No, Total Gaming are not going to be able to defend that compound in Santa Catrina. Galaxy Racers, Crips, somehow they eliminate 2 teams and lose only 1 member for it.
I have no idea how Galaxy Racer pulled that off. I'm gonna be very honest. They were all huddled up beside one glue wall. A single nade could have taken them down, but that did not happen. And Galaxy Racer lived to fight another day, but they better heal up. They better heal up right here and now, because a 4th contender is about to join the party. There is a potential that they might just get 4th partied over here, but it might be a little too late. Elsewhere, on the edge of command post, Level Iconic and Captains are just staring down at each other. They do not want to initiate the fight, but the fight is inevitable. We have one team very close to the circle, and that means Team Chaos has a chance of getting into the circle before them. But they are forcing the issue. Captains, they are now fighting against Team Level Iconic, and Team Chaos is just sitting there peacefully eating their popcorn and watching these guys beat 7 shades of shit out of each other. This is going to be so chaotic. Oh no, Akash team, he walked into a trap. The moment he vaulted that window, he was dead as hell. Aladdin, now it's his time to get in the zone. He's taking too much damage, and Team Chaos, now is their time to shine. They realize that they have set up the perfect trap, and they're not going to let anyone in. But Level Iconic, they're going around the edges of command post. A very smart and a very safe rotation for them to get inside the circle. But the battle isn't over yet. Team Chaos definitely must have realized this. They might just have circled around them, but the tables have turned. It's now Level Iconic who has a chance to gatekeep Team Chaos. They will lose 1 player, but that's okay. It's still a 3 versus 3. They can still make this work. Ankush Free Fire have a very good chance of escaping this entire messy fight, but they're not moving just yet. Level Iconic is the one to move first, and they are greeted by Team Last Breath. And what does Team Chaos do? They hold their ground. If they can just stay alive for a little bit longer, they might just be rewarded. But I don't know if patience is the key virtue over here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is gonna end up working out for them, because at the same time they need to worry about being gatekept by Last Breath as well, who's already inside the circle. Ankush Free Fire, they're tailing on the right side of the fight that was happening there, but they're gonna be the ones who get to 3rd party, and they're gonna be the ones who get to decide when is it that they want to start pushing in. There he is, just sad. But look at the Galaxy Racers, they might have asked too much, and Golden is going to have a survive over here. Amaz is going to go down. Marix 29 and Vash is still bleeding, waiting desperately for help to come through, and Golden is going to stay alive with the help of the Inhaler. He's going to keep himself up and running, but he's going to lose his teammates as a result of it. A Last Breath in the meantime, they're just patiently waiting inside the circle. Kaushik is going to be knocked down here. Can he be revived by his teammates? Yes, he can. Help's gonna come through, but with so many teams starting to close in, Last Breath are gonna have to pick and choose their fights. In the meantime, Team Chaos breathing down the neck of Team Last Breath, and Team Last Breath, they can smell it. They can smell it in the air. They know something is up. They know that someone's closing on them. But at the same time, they also have to be worried about these other teams that are going to start coming inside the circle. And this is where an advantage turns into a disadvantage. Because if you can't make use of the vantage point you have, you are going to get swarmed by players. Look at this. Tech KK, he's going to be able to take out 2 members from Uncle Street Fire. In the meantime, Ashustar, he's going to just try to get some revenge fire towards Team Chaos for Uncle Street Fire. And Adam, he's going to be knocked down in turn, but he will be revived eventually. Last breath. Great patience. A great display of just restraint over here. Not choosing to engage full out. Just still waiting for their time. Waiting and hoping that these teams try to come forward. That is when they can put their high ground advantage to use. They know they don't have to close the distance just yet. The circle favors them. But look at this. Nemesis still trying to get in Crips. I'm not sure if Nemesis is actually going to be able to make it against Last Breath. But at the same time, Team Chaos, they could third party Team Last Breath.
They need to move now. If they don't move right now, then Team Chaos will take away all the advantage. And take a look at team number 9. Team Elite, they have been just sitting all peacefully up until now, but now they started to move already. And they might just have the highest chance of winning. There's nobody around them. That means Team Elite is extremely safe. On the other hand, Last Breath, that's what happens when you wait for too long. The zone is going to swallow them, and Last Breath are losing their members to the play zone. This is just so bad. It's down to the last 2 teams. Team Chaos manages to survive, and they're up against Team Elite right now. It's a 2 versus 3, but as soon as I say that, Pahadi turns it into a 2v2. That nade, though, it's going to eliminate Jonty. It's all down to Pahadi. He's very low on health, and Tech KK will put the final nail in the coffin. Team Chaos walk away with the win on Kalahari in the most unlikeliest of manners. Team Elite had the advantage. They had the first moving advantage. They had the zone to themselves. They had no other team around them. But Team Chaos, with sheer firepower, they obliterate them. They blow the opposition out of the water. And that expression of yours, Floki, it just says everything you need to know.
This is not the Team Chaos I'm used to seeing. This is not the Team Chaos who plays patiently, who thinks about the game and is like, you know what guys, we lost one member, let's actually just get back and let's chill a little bit in command post. This is not your regular old Team Chaos. I want my old Team Chaos back. The guys who go in guns blazing early on. But you know what, likewise, I actually think that this Team Chaos is much better than the ones that we've seen previously. The way they've been doing it consistently, getting 2 booyahs in a row, now it's going to be about cementing their lead. The pressure has been taken off of their shoulders now. Now they can try and chill and just wait and get those consistent second and third place finishes, or even 4th or 5th place finishes. That's going to keep them in the top 2 or top 3. I mean, these guys, they've got 2 booyahs in a row, Crips. This is unusual. I've never seen Team Chaos put up this level of a performance. I mean, I've never seen this before.
Yeah, me neither. But what are the chances of a hat trick?
Come on, now you're really starting to tease me. Now you're really starting to tease me because I love Team Chaos. I've always loved them from the very start. If they don't get a booyah in the third round, I'm going to be very disappointed, Crip. So I'm going to temper my expectations slightly. I'm going to go ahead and say Team Chaos, they will be in the top 4 or top 5 at least in the next map, but a hat trick is very unlikely. But if they pull it off, I mean, that'd be about
if they pull it off, then they have the championship. If they pull it off, they have the championship. Yeah, that's like 100% right now. They already have a pretty good lead. I think I don't know if my math is correct over here, but they definitely have like more than 7 points lead for sure, at least for now, after they got the booyah in the last game. And now, after the booyah in this game, they will definitely have more than a 15-point lead. And let's be honest, 15 points are like an impossible level of points to get, especially on just one day. So yeah, I think they have a very good chance of winning the entire tournament right now. They just need to be a little more consistent. But while we are talking about that, we cannot ignore the fact that Team Elite have also managed to place in the top 3 consistently time and time again. And Team Elite might just be the only team that can stop Team Chaos right now.
Yeah, it seems that all of these tier 1 teams, Sixth Sense, Total Gaming, Galaxy Racers, Survivors 4AM, everyone is getting a run for their money right now. It just seems that all the underdogs have woken up like Kumbkaran, and they're just starting to go berserk all over the battlefield, I'm not even sure. Kurukshetra was in Mahabharata, so maybe I got that part wrong, but wherever the hell the Battle of Ramayana happened, I mean, Team Chaos and Team Nemesis, they're kind of like Kumbkaran right now. The way they're able to stomp over all these other teams, it's ridiculous. I wasn't expecting them to pull out this level of a play, I mean, in the grand finals. You'd expect that they'd be more reserved, but no. It seems that they've lost all of their inhibitions, and now they're just flowing freely like water. They have nothing to be afraid of. They have no concerns in the world whatsoever. Galaxy Racers, I love this play that they made over here. Just reading that Team Sixth Sense always likes to push Total Gaming inside Santa Katrina, and they take advantage of this. They go and they take the fight, and they eliminate both of those teams. I mean, they didn't get Mr. JYT. So at the end of the day, it's not both teams being eliminated, but still that's 7 kill points going their way. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, and this has been happening right from the start of the league stage, right? Total Gaming versus Sixth Sense, same place, same time, every time. And the fact that Galaxy Racer managed to go all the way from their usual drop spot to that place just shows that they have done their homework. But what do you talk about? What do you say about this? This is Team Chaos on a whole new level. Tech KK takes matters into his own hands, and he doesn't care. He knows he has it in the bag. He's just gonna rush right in and secure that booyah. 5 kills for this man, all by himself. Usually teams struggle to put up 6-7 kills in an entire game, but this man picks up 5 all by himself. Now that is a ridiculous amount of kills and a ridiculous amount of damage.
I mean, in real life, Tech KK didn't have to trade his hair for all that firepower, but in game, certainly having that Saitama costume helped, because it seems that all the hair going away, it's certainly made him much stronger in game, much more potent. I mean, look at the damage he's done. 870. That's a lot of damage he's done, and the absolute fearlessness in this man is what really is always stood out to me about him. You know, he's the kind of guy who's gonna go in and be like, you know what, guys, I know I'm probably gonna get knocked down, but I will try to do as much damage as I can to at least 2 players, so you guys have an advantage of some sort. But this time around, he just confirms the kills. So kudos to him.
Actually, I disagree with that. I think that the reason he rushed in is because he knows he's going to win. And it's that sense of invincibility, right? When you know you have the advantage, you just want to push the envelope and you want to secure that W. You want to do that. And that's what Team Chaos did. They know they had the advantage and they did not, they did not get scared of pushing it. So, Team Chaos with 8 kills this time, pick up 20 points, and they are on the lead by 20 points. Oh my goodness. And surprisingly, it's not Team Elite that's contesting them, it's Team Nemesis.
Yeah,
it's
it's the guys who got the first booyah in the game that are contesting them, Chris. This is insane. Team Chaos, the fact that they were able to manage to find a 20-point lead is going to be such a big, it's going to be such a big advantage for them. All of these teams, Captains, Sixth Sense, Total Gaming, Survivors 4AM, Galaxy Racers, all of these teams are considered to be the top dogs, maybe outside of Team Elite. I mean, Team Elite are the only, I can say, like, one of the best teams, one of the teams that are widely considered to be at least one of the best who are in the top 3 right now. Everyone else, they're all reeling in last place right now. Thankfully, there's still another rotation of maps to go. There's still going to be Bermuda, Purgatory, and Kalahari coming up once again. But this is where things start getting interesting, because if they don't perform here, they're not going to have any more chances, Crips. This is it. If Team Sixth Sense, Total Gaming, if Bermuda doesn't work out for them, if Purgatory doesn't work out for them, it's going to be the fat lady singing.
And it's not going to sing for them.
Yeah. Most certainly.
What's even more surprising is that Total Gaming are sitting at just 3 points.
Yeah.
3. Not even double digits.
Wow.
3 points in 3 games. That's scary, dude.
It's a lot more than scary. There's a very specific playstyle laid out for these bottom tier teams right now, and it is to try and contest Team Chaos, try and contest Team Elite early on in the game so that you can make sure that they don't run away with the lead. If they don't do that right now, they could be in for a world of trouble, because it seems that Team Chaos has the momentum going, they have the ball rolling, and once the ball starts rolling, it can be very, very hard to stop the snowball. I mean, it's insane what a team can do if they have a comfortable advantage and a good cushion to sit on.
Yeah, and that cushion just keeps on getting softer and softer the more time passes by. Well, let's see if any of them can put a pin inside this inflated balloon and burst it open. We are jumping into the 4th game, ladies and gentlemen. We are live in Bermuda now. The plane goes from Mill all the way down to Remnam village, with Katli Sutwa being the high tier loot zone.
Okay, so this is interesting. I think this time around Team Elite, they choose to go towards Cape, so nothing out of the ordinary there. But Catullus being the high tier loot zone is gonna make things interesting. I think that teams that opt to or like try to drop in your Bhima Shakti strip might just consider Catullus instead, because it's the high tier loot zone. But at the same time, I think we might see a lot of teams dropping in there because it's so close to the plane path. And it's just going to mean good things for the likes of Total Gaming and Sixth Sense, who usually like to drop towards Mars. Like Fortunoff, they're probably not going to be contested, so they're going to be quite happy. But yeah, this 8-on-year peak in Bhima Shakti strip, I'm expecting to see a fair amount of action over here early on. Although the teams have only just dropped, I feel like soon enough we're going to start seeing some early firefights, which usually is not the case on Bermuda.
Last spread going for a really long rotation. They're gonna walk their way towards the zip lines and then zoom into Sentosa Island. Pretty safe. I have nothing against it. Although there is one thing that I will be excited about today. most of the teams who drop towards the northwestern part of the map, like Observatory, Graveyard, Shipyard, etc., when they usually do rotate, they rotate via Bhima Sakti strip because that's like the most default path, right? This time around, because Gatli Sutwa is the high tier loot zone, they might consider rotating via Gatli Sutwa and then going towards the dam or the river instead of, going the regular way of Bhima Sakti.
Yeah.
So this might just change things. Is there anyone inside? Yes, there is. Team captains. And surprisingly, they only sent one player in there. It's only Akashdeep over there. The rest of them drop inside Observatory. So they don't want to take any risks either. I'm assuming what might have happened over there is that captains drop into Observatory and then they send Akashdeep via the launchpad to go check out what's happening in Gatli Sutwa.
Yeah.
And now that he doesn't see anyone over there, he might just call his teammates to join the party, join the looting session, and then walk away with much better stuff.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to min-max, right? By only sending one player in the high tier loot zone, they're basically saying that, okay, look, we're not going to commit too many resources here. If one of a guy dies, that's fine. There's a risk that's worth it. But if he comes out alive with high tier loot zone, then that's even better. It's going to be 4x scopes to work with, there's going to be sniper rifles to work with, and who doesn't like to have sniper rifles on a map like Bermuda?
Yep. Min-max. Minimizing risk and maximizing effectiveness, or in this case, maximizing resources you have.
Yeah. A fairly simple concept that is applied very well by captains, but unfortunately, they need to apply it a little bit better because the position on the leaderboard wasn't exactly favoring them, so they need to start putting up performance over here. All of these teams, 6 Sense, Avayos 4 AM, Total Gaming, man. If these teams don't perform over here, this is going to be the end of the road for them. I don't see how they make a comeback, Crips, short of a massive throw by Team Chaos and Team Elite, which would really piss me off, but it's unlikely that it happens.
No, I mean, okay, fine. Maybe Survivors 4 AM, maybe 6 Sense can still mount a comeback. But what about Total Gaming? They were the team that had 35% of the fans voting for them. They are the fan favorite team right here, and they're sitting on 3 points. I'm not even talking 30. I'm not even talking 10. 3 points only in 3 whole games. That's like 1 point per match. It's almost like having participation prizes, and I don't know, man. A lot of people might be disappointed with this. You can come back from a 10-point deficit. You maybe even be able to come back from a 20-point deficit. But they are an entire 35 points behind. And yeah, that's a bit too much now.
Yeah, well, they better start praying to God because they're going to need a miracle to come back in this game. I mean, all of these teams, 6 Sense, Galaxy Racers, Total Gaming, these guys being on the bottom of the leaderboard, at least 30 points below Team Chaos, 35 points. That's a massive lead to cover up, and all the stars in the world are going to have to align for them.
Okay, maybe Galaxy Racers and 6 Sense are not that far behind, but Total Gaming certainly is. So, I mean, maybe 6 Sense can, play consistently, pick up kill points. Even if they don't come out on top, maybe they will be able to get into top 3, right? They have much bigger share of the prize. Total Gaming is dead last right now. Maybe they can change that. Maybe they will be able to pick up these kills on Ankush Free Field inside the UAV area. And they realize that Ankush Free Fire are also spreading up. They have a couple of their players down in the valley, couple of players up in the silo area. So 6 Sense are going to have to be really, really careful while picking up these fights. The only thing they know is going in their favor is the fact that Ankush Free Fire can't effectively trade frags. So they have one knock in the bag, but can they confirm it? They might just be able to make sure that the one knocked out guy gets, bleeded out or something like that by making sure that nobody else on Ankush Free Fire team can go towards him to res him. They can cut off the rotations, but yeah, I don't really see them fully sending in for this fight.
Yeah, most certainly. It doesn't make sense for them to full send in either.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a big lose-lose situation if they do so. Insane elsewhere being knocked down from Survivors for him and taken out by Nemesis Mind Game. I don't know what's up with Nemesis, man. Today, it just seems that we're seeing a completely different face of these teams. Nemesis, Last Breath, Team Chaos, all of these guys are just putting on a show today. And they're hungry, man. They're really, really hungry, and they want that top prize. They want to go to the World Series Finals. They want to be the team that makes it directly to the Grand Finals of the World Series. That's the reward for being first place. Second place, you get to go to the play-ins, but who the hell wants play-ins when you can get it? When you can get to the Grand Finals directly? That's an even bigger prize for them. It's $2 million.
Oh my god.
If you actually make it there, you have life-changing amounts of money.
Hold on. Let me do quick maths. Assuming $1 is $70, so 2 million multiplied by 70, that's like, dude, that's in crores. That's in crores.
Exactly. It's a 14 crore prize pool in total.
From 75 lakhs to 14 crores, that's a massive difference. That's like 2 zeros being jumped.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are all hungry for that spot, Chris. I mean, I can see it in Nemesis, I can see it in Team Chaos. All of these guys want to be there. They want to go there, and they want to be the guys who get that, you know, World Series final stage. But for now, they're going to have to get there with no these other teams over here. Total Gaming and Level Iconic are going to duke it out near Bhima Shakti Strip. This is the oversight over the nearby surrounding areas. This is an area that Level Iconic wanted to control. Now, Mafiawala has been knocked down. I think he's able to right back up because I see someone fighting on him, but Prince being knocked down. This is going to spell the end for Total Gaming. Fozzy Edge and Java Boy nowhere in position next to each other. There's no way they can get out of this one alive. Java Boy is going to be knocked down. Fozzy Edge trying his best over here. Aladdin closing in. Can he find the shot? When he connects one onto Fozzy Edge, it's going to force him to heal back up. And at the same time, Aladdin, now he's marking his position. There is no way Fozzy Edge makes it out of this one alive. Unless Level Iconic get a bit too eager. 6 cents though, Crips. They smell blood in the water, and it's Total Gaming's blood, so they're gonna be there. And guess what? Looks like Nemesis, they are... wait, no, it's not Nemesis. It's actually Team Level Iconic in the meantime, who are getting slaughtered here by Team 6 cents, who have the high ground. This is getting interesting, Crips.
Yeah, this is perfect for Fozzy Ajay. The captain of Total Gaming just needs to hold his ground because there are 2 teams coming in for his rescue. There's 6 cents already over here. Meanwhile, Nemesis was lurking around. They probably have exited already by now, but 6 cents definitely smell blood, so they're going to full send in. And from what 6 cents can see right now, they see that... oh no, they saw him. They saw him. They saw Java Boy, but hold on! Did he just get 2 knocks? This is a whole new shift! How on earth are Total Gaming fighting back? Finally, they get thirded out. But they managed to knock out 2 players of 6 cents. Level Iconic might just be able to hit back right now, but they're already too far behind.
Yeah,
oh my god, that was such a roller coaster.
Yeah, they already left that area and went towards the main area of Bhima Shakti Strip. That was almost brilliant by Fozzy Edge, getting those 2 quick knocks and then going forward for the third. If he got the team wipe there, I would have been... I don't think Team 6 cents would have been feeling too good going into the Game 5 and Game 6. I mean, this... yeah, they would not be very happy about getting wiped by Total Gaming. But at the same time, it seems that the middle area of the map, the near peak, has been somewhat silent so far. There's not a lot of teams that are contesting each other over there. But we might see a fight brew out over here, Crips. D Esports, they seem to be eyeing up Team Galaxy Racers right now. And Galaxy Racers are fairly split up over here. And guess what? If D Esports manage to find a knock, it's going to be hard for them to revive without putting themselves in danger.
I hope Team D doesn't extend. They have the high ground, but there's quite a lot of distance in between them and Galaxy Racers, especially with Galaxy Racers splitting up. I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe the long distance might actually go in the favor of Team D, but because Galaxy Racers are so far spread out, they will have more angles upon D. And that will kind of negate the whole high ground advantage that Team D have been building up. Although they don't need to fight right now. The circle's about to close in. The next circle will reveal whether this fight is even worth picking up or not. And 3, 2, 1. It totally is. It totally is worth picking up. They might not be able to completely gatekeep Galaxy Racer per se, but they can definitely cause some damage. They can stop Vasio from moving into the circle if they still are keen on keeping an eye on them. Yeah. If they're not, well, then they can just continue moving towards peak and plantation and whatnot, and then, you know, just carry on with their lives naturally. And that's what they're doing. They're doing it. They're kind of doing both the things. They have one of their players very far behind them, closer to peak, and that one player behind is going to be Ravi. So he's going to be the anti-backstab guy. Meanwhile, the other 3 players, they're going to still keep on, you know, chasing down Team Galaxy Racers. And if they time that attack right, if they're able to knock out a couple of Galaxy Racer players just in time, then Team Captains also might converge upon Galaxy Racers, and then they can just, you know, combine their powers to take down one of the top teams.
Yeah, no, the biggest problem for I'm sorry, I forgot the name. I think the biggest problem for Team Galaxy Racers is going to be trying to close in safely. There's no real way to do that right now. And even if they start getting gate kept, the team that's gatekeeping them are going to have to worry about getting 4th and 5th party because this is the 3rd circle, Crips. All of these teams are going to start closing in very, very quickly. So if they start taking a fight and they don't finish it off quickly, they are going to be backstabbed. So quickly. And this is exactly what's happening. I mean, look at this. D Roshan, he's trying to fight back over here, but Blackshot has been knocked out. Ezra, I also see Team Chaos somewhere in the vicinity. He's wandering in chat by Blackshot walling himself off completely, and now RNSS also going down. I think this is going to be Ravi, the only member standing, trying to fight back against Galaxy Racers, but Vasio is the only person who's been knocked down. He's going to be protected by Golden and be revived back up. There's no way in hell that Ravi is able to make it out of this one alive. He's trying to run back, but Galaxy Racers, they will finish him off. A quick, clean fight by Galaxy Racers doesn't attract the attention of everyone else, and now they can hold and stand their ground. Very, very important.
Yeah, that was the best part about them. They finished that fight really quickly. They knew that there is some team behind them. They don't know which one, but they don't need to know right now. They are just going to hold on to this entire slope area and just stay over here. That's fine by them. They can gatekeep all the other teams coming in from Plantation, although I don't think anyone will come from there right now because they just heard gunshots. And now that we know that the teams like to avoid battles, yeah, they're just going to go around this entire area. But this might just change things. Because Galaxy Race are present over there on the northern border, they might force teams to go in via Bhima Sakti or circle all the way around the dam area and then come in from Riverside or something. Let's see if any of these teams actually decide to come in via Riverside. It will be a long rotation, but I guess it will be worth it. Meanwhile, in Bhima Sakti, it's getting crowded over here. We already have 6 Sens present in that area, a couple of teams inside the valley itself, one team on the silo side. So yeah, Bhima Sakti is starting to see a massive influx of players, but I don't think all these players are going to be struggling to find real estate just yet. I mean, it's just the start of the third circle, right? We only have the second circle so far. The third circle will shrink in soon. So, yeah, there's plenty of compounds available. The next circle is what's really going to cause problems for them. And it might just appear anytime soon. The next circle has appeared indeed. And it shifts towards the northern area. Just a little outside of Bhima Sakti. So, the silo area is irrelevant. Katli Sutwa is irrelevant. Yeah, at this point, the teams inside Riverside and the dam area, they're going to be really, really happy. Their rotations are going to be so much more simpler.
Yeah, and this is where being in Bhima Sakti Strip is of such a huge advantage to all of these teams. I mean, the teams are going to be finding a very, very easy rotation inside the zone. It's the center of the circle, and on top of that, you don't really have to worry about being gatekept from Katulasthwa and elsewhere because those places do not have access towards Bhima Sakti Strip the same way Bhima Sakti Strip has access over Peak and multiple other areas of the map. Plantation and Riverside going to be very, very relevant, like you mentioned. I'm not too sure if all of these teams are going to be able to close in near the Plantation area. I mean, they're trying to. I see Team Captains and Team Survivors for them both trying to make their way up this hill towards Team Chaos, but I'm not sure how this one ends, Crips. It's going to be a bloody affair, and I think Team Chaos might just come out on top over here if they show a little bit of trigger discipline. Look at that. They can gatekeep the entirety of these two teams from the Plantation. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Captains, in the meantime, trying to backstab Team Chaos, trying to make sure that the forces are split, that the attention is divided between the two teams. That's exactly what's happening with Team Chaos. They still haven't got the single knock yet, and in fact, they're going to lose one of their own players. Kunal Jr. is going to be the one who gets knocked down. Can they revive him back up? That's the question. If they're able to, they should be able to. It seems that Team Captains and Team Survivors 4AM are starting to wrap around Team Chaos. Team Chaos, they might be in a world of trouble over here. Getting sandwiched between these two teams, having to fight a war on multiple fronts. It's not going to end well for them. But TechKK going in. He's actually able to found himself 2 quick kills on the side of Survivors 4AM. And it's just going to get even worse with them. There's only one member still standing strong. In the meantime, Team Chaos, everyone else is still alive. They're still healthy. Scary. He's going to be knocked out eventually. It should be able to get him back up on his feet. Now, they're trying to worry about Team Captains. The Team Captains firing back. Team Chaos losing members. Pratham is going to go down as well. Kunal Jr. and TechKK, the only members who are still standing strong. Scary should also be going down fairly soon. And TechKK is instead just choosing to heal out of here, not trying to give away any points more than necessary. But Kunal Jr. is still in there. Oh no, get out. Star, but I see what the hell is happening here. The kill people very, very quickly, but at the same time, Team Nemesis, they're still trying to take this fight up against Team Blast. It looks like they've paid a heavy price for it. They've lost Mr. Gamer and Mind Gamer, and Ankush Free Fire of all teams are alive and kicking.
Huh. Well, that's what happens when two monkeys start fighting each other. The cats take the advantage. But maybe I said that the other way around. Ankush Free Fire, though, have a realistic chance of winning over here, and they do not want to let go of the gas pedal. They want to finish off this team right here and now and minimize all the people that they will be facing later on in the circle. It's funny how at one point Team Chaos were the ones who were in perfect position to gatekeep the others, but no. Captains decided to ignore the fight and move into the circle first, and they were now in a great position to gatekeep Team Chaos instead. The tables have turned, and they have turned hard. Captains now on the high ground have reached the circle. Galaxy Racer is already in there, so they don't worry about anyone else just yet. But because Captains are picking up a fight against Team Ankush Free Fire right now, there's just one member of Team Chaos surviving who might be able to stay alive over here if he plays his cards right. So this is an advantage. Team Ankush Free Fire are a massive distraction and they are actually winning. They are actually managing to knock out quite a lot of players of Ankush Free Fire. Team captains have only lost one player so far, and it's just Mafia down now. It's just Mafia from Ankush Free Fire who's remaining, and he might be able to get into the circle, he might not be able to do that, but that doesn't really matter. All the other teams have his number, and they will eventually be finished off. But take a look at Nemesis. They are still outside the zone. They're still healing up. I don't know how many more medkits that guy has, but he's definitely going to run out soon enough. But the circle, the Floki circle, it moves straight in the center, and it doesn't really favor anyone. But Galaxy Racer, they want to take matters into their own hands. They want to try to get inside the circle as soon as possible. And Team Elite know that there is someone over there. They want to move in quickly to avoid Galaxy Racer from getting in. But because they are on the dam area, they're going to have to shoot directly down, and I don't really think that's possible.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very weird move for the side of Galaxy. For the side of Team Elite. They're going to have to worry about a team that's going to be coming from the high ground as well as a team that's going to be coming from the low ground. Thankfully, Six Sense only has 2 members alive and running, so they're not going to be too worried about a huge flank coming in from the... a huge firefight brewing out of the front. But at the same time, all of these little forces that, like, 1 member from Team Captains, 2 members from Team Six Sense, it's starting to whittle away at Team Elite's defenses, and now they need to start making moves, which is exactly what Johnny tries to do. But instead, he's going to end up getting knocked out over here. And if Team Elite cannot revive him, Galaxy Racers might just go up the hill and finish the job. Galaxy Racers, in the meantime, deploying their hood of glue walls, trying to keep themselves safe. But Vasio, oh no, he moved out a bit too early, and Ginodra knocks him down with a grenade launcher. Stoner, in the meantime, still standing strong in Galaxy Racers. They're getting knocked out by the play zone over here, Chris. This is not the way they were hoping things would end for them. Aman and Golden. Well, Aman and Vasu rather have knocked out. Maddox and Golden still standing strong, trying to take this fight, but Six Sense, they have the high ground, Chris. This is the comeback that they have been looking for. It's been so long since these guys managed to get themselves into the top 3, but now that they found themselves over here, it's going to be a game of patience. And look at the amount of grenades that they're just throwing down towards Galaxy Racers. They have absolutely nowhere to go. Well, it seems that Golden has boxed himself in, so he's going to have to dig himself out of this one alive, because zone's going to start closing in soon enough. But Six Sense losing Fab and Throw. This is not the way they managed. This is not the way they were planning for it to go. Healer's going to be able to find that knock. He'll deploy blue wall, move a little bit forward. 3 members still standing between the team and team, but they're still very, very unhealthy. They don't have enough HP to make this work. They have those waves that are coming out over here. No, he cannot. Golden finally turning the tides of battle for Galaxy Racers, and they will be able to find the Booyah Crypts. It took them 3 maps, but finally, Galaxy Racers have made a comeback.
And Golden, he strikes not just gold, he strikes diamonds over here. My goodness, that 1 versus 2 clutch with the double vectors, it was incredible. At one point, Team Elite had the man advantage, but because they were racing alongside the zone, they already lost most of their HP. And that made things even easier for Golden. All he had to do is just press the fire button and spray in the general direction, because a single bullet would have been able to finish off the wounded members of Team Elite. And this is perfect for Team Galaxy Racers. They have been looking for this Booyah since the start, and they have come into plenty of top positions, right? There's been several times where they were in top 3, top 5, but finally now they get the number 1 position, and maybe they are in a good position to contend the top spot. They definitely might have overtaken Team Elite right now, but do they have enough points to overtake Nemesis and Team Chaos? Well, we don't know that for sure. We'll find out soon enough though.
Absolutely, Chris. I think it's going to be a big if for all of these teams involved here. I don't think it's going to be so easy for them to just now dethrone Team Chaos and Team Nemesis, who are at the top, and certainly Team Chaos and Team Nemesis are not going to make it that easy either. But I have to say, the way these top tier teams have played, Galaxy Racers, Six Sense, despite having a big disadvantage, even captains for that matter, it was stellar. Galaxy Racers, they were in a bad position. They were trying to fight against I believe it was Ankush Free Fire who was standing over there. I could be wrong, I don't recall entirely. But Ankush Free Fire then overstepped their boundaries. They realize that they're getting harassed from multiple sides. They get a bit too eager. They go a bit too forward. And all of a sudden, as one person starts falling, the entire house of cards starts crumbling down. It's a very unfortunate sight to see. I mean, most teams in that situation, they would have been able to hold. Unfortunately, Ankush Free Fire, I'm not too sure what happened over there. Getting a bit too eager and going forward like that against captains as well as Team Six Sense without any cover. And they end up losing 1 player, and then Galaxy Racers just make their move.
Yeah, and the same story happened with Team Chaos as well. even they overstepped the boundaries, right? They were on the edge of the circle. They could have gate kept both team captains over there. And wait, who was captains fighting against? I believe it was I believe it was Galaxy Racers. They could have gate kept them both, but then Team Chaos, they went a little too far ahead, and then they started losing their players left, right, and center. And team captains capitalized on it. They were the ones who ended up, turning the tables and gatekeeping Team Chaos instead, whereas they should have been the ones who got gate kept. So yeah, overstepping the boundaries, overextending, and that's the best way to lose your advantage. And trust me, it's not a positive note.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, you feel like, you try to do something, so you feel a little bit, okay, like, guys, we lost because we overextended, but still, at the end of the day, if you have acquired a big lead, it's very important that they conserve it. Sixth Sense, man, this is where things got very, very rough for them almost, as they lost 2 players to Forzy Ajay. I feel like Team Soayos4M could have actually, Team Level Iconic, who were fighting them at that point, could have actually turned around, but they had already left the area. And this is, this is the area where DE Sports, they had too much power, There's a saying that if you're in the center and you have all of these teams that are starting to come to you, you're not going to be the guy with the advantage. You're going to be the guy with the disadvantage because you're going to have to fight a war on multiple fronts.
Yeah, every time this game gives you advantage, it also gives you a massive responsibility, and holding on to that advantage becomes really, really difficult. This is the battle that I was talking about. This is where it all started to go wrong for Team Chaos. I mean, they had a great position against Team Captains and Galaxy Racer, but take a look at that. Galaxy Racer disengaged immediately. Captains, even they are running into the zone. They left Team Chaos out to bleed in the blue. And yeah, that's the easiest way to lose your advantage. Even Team Ankush Free Fire, like you rightly mentioned, even they pushed the envelope a little too much, and they ended up going down to Team Captains. And yeah, that's what happens when you overextend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, at this point, it's pretty much all she wrote for all these teams. I mean, look at Stoner. He tries to, be the guy who is going to be able to survive towards the end, but he's just all by himself, just one team member. Not the best thing in the world for them. And yeah, Team Elite. Well, they tried. They were not able to get the Booyah. It was actually Galaxy Racers who managed to win it, so kudos to them. But yeah, at the same time, Ankush Free Fire Esports being eliminated that early on, I think they're going to be a little bit disappointed because, yeah, I mean, from that position, it is a little bit hard to try and, just fight this war on multiple fronts. You split your forces. At that point, it becomes about walling off one fight and taking the other, and it seems that they couldn't make that decision quick enough. Speed is also a very important component, of these games, which I don't think many of these teams try and think about, but they keep extending, and then the opportunity just goes away. It slips away from them.
Yeah, and you're right. Taking those decisions in such crucial moments can be a little difficult because you have so much information. There's so many people firing at you. You don't even know if they're from the same team or if there's 2 teams converging upon you. So yeah, deciding what to do in such crucial moments can be difficult, and that's what separates the boys from men. In this game, it's Galaxy Racer who put on the big shoes and they come out on top with 8 kills. But then Sixth Sense isn't too far behind. They also have 7 kills, which is decent enough, which means both these teams, they desperately needed these points, and both of them will be able to put up quite a lot of points on the leaderboard, hopefully cover the difference between them and Team Chaos. And it will be easier for them to do so in this particular game because Team Chaos had a pretty early exit. But take a look at this. Floki, Total Gaming once again out at 0 points. That means they stay at 3 points.
This is not the side I was hoping to see over here. Total Gaming being eliminated at 12th place. It's so uncharacteristic of them. It's very unbecoming of them as well because Total Gaming is a team that you've always seen perform very, very well. Even in the group stages, when Sixth Sense started to get a bit too eager and a bit too aggressive, they punished them very, very hard for trying to contest them at Santa Katrina and Kalahari like we saw today as well. But it just seems that they've sort of lost their edge, and they have 3 points total, Crips. This is this hurts my soul looking at this. This is disgusting. Well,
and now they have
Team Chaos have a big lead.
Yeah, and now they have 60 points to go in order to get anywhere close to the leaders.
This is nowhere in Total Gaming's ballpark, man. There is no way they're able to cover up these many points in 2 games unless they get 15 kills in each game. It's very unlikely that they're making it to the top here. Sixth Sense though, their strong and stable performance is getting them up here. You know, at this point, if you're Sixth Sense, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, it's going to be very hard to try and beat our Team Chaos. We can't really aim for that, because if we try to aim for that, we're going to have to take a lot of risky decisions. Instead, I think some of these players who are in the mid-region right now are just going to be looking to out Nemesis and Team Elite, who are in the second and third places respectively. And if you can start beating some of these teams, get that second and third place, hey, it's you know, it's a very reasonable target. It's something that you can achieve with relatively less risk than trying to dethrone Team Chaos. But Team Chaos, man, if they're just able to conserve their lead for 2 more games, they're going directly to the World Finals of you know, the Free Fire World Series. This is not what I was expecting. I've been following this team for a while now, and the fact that they're going to get such a big opportunity, it really warms my heart.
Yeah,
but we're
it's
going to have to wait
mind-blowing.
for that, Cribs.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
indeed mind-blowing. I mean, not even being in the top 3 of last Free Fire India Championship to going directly to World Series, yeah, that's a big jump. Meanwhile, the defending champion is nowhere close to being the champion. Well, tables are turning and things are topsy-turvy right now, but ladies and gentlemen, the battle is still on. We still have 2 more games remaining. So make sure that you stay tuned to this stream. We're going to go on a very short break, but we'll be back soon. We'll see you on the other side.
और बात करें इस साइड वाइट हाउस में कहीं ना कहीं इसके ऊपर काफी यहाँ पहुंचा जब वो हमारी वहाँ पे प्लेस था जहाँ पर पहुंचा था तो वेदर के बगल में पहुंचा था वहाँ पर दोबारा से मुलाकात हुई वाइट हाउस के साथ वो हुआ था कंफर्म कर दिया गया था लेकिन
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with the short break, and as we saw the last leaderboard, it is quite thrilling. So, and for Team Chaos, I had to say 2.0, but now I have to say 3.0, 4.4, whichever version it is coming for Team Chaos, it is outstandingly well. All they got to do is sustain the consistency, and they are almost the winners. We cannot pre-predict as of now, Crips, but certainly I'm liking the gameplay of Team Chaos. They have been the best by far, and I don't know from where did they get this sort of play, because I never saw them at the lead of 20 margin is already too much for the last 2 matches remaining. And Nemesis, Galaxy Racer, are they going to do that? Are they going to cross over that mark? Because certainly for round 1, Nemesis were the Booyah baggers with a good margin, a total of 11-12 kills somewhere, but it is only one team who has taken 2 Booyahs by far, Purgatory and Kalahari, and Galaxy Racer trying to do the best of comeback, and yeah, margin is quite too high, but still coverable. But as always, I have one question, Crips. Do you think Team Chaos will go for a hat-trick?
They might just be able to. Purgatory has always been their strongest map. And now that Purgatory is next, and now that they know that they're already in the lead, they will become even more aggressive because they realize, we have 20 points of buffer. If we lose this game, what can the next team possibly do? They can't catch up to us. Galaxy Racer might be able to catch up to them, but nobody else. I don't think Nemesis can do well in Purgatory. This is not one of their strongest maps. So Team Chaos, now that they have that invincible feeling, now that they're on their strongest map, they might just go above and beyond. And TechKK is on fire today. He's got 13 kills, and he's the only man to cross double digits in terms of frags. With 3000 damage, this guy, he's feeling on point. And the only person who might be able to stop him is Stoner, because he's got 4,600 damage. Wait, 4,600? That's like 1.2k per game. Holy shit, that's ridiculous.
Absolutely, that is indeed. I must say the damage dealt by Stoner is, I mean, the kills and damage are not matching up to the mark. So he has given a lot of help to his teammates for getting those kills, maybe. But somewhere TechKK is doing the best of possible things. We saw him using grenade launcher. We saw him using double vector. I mean, every weapon that he's picking up, he is trying to make sure to get the best of kills. 13 kills by far within 4 matches. I don't have any words. I am very happy with Team Chaos. The team from whom I did not expect so much. Yes, I did see them in top 5 somewhere, but holding the position 1 for quite too long and standing tall for, I mean, they're not even very close to the position 2 and 3. I'm afraid if Nemesis, Galaxy Racers, Elite are going to chase up into the final 2 matches, when I know that Purgatory is always the map where we always see a stamp of Booyah next to their name, and being Purgatory here, they are going to go uncontested if this is a hat-trick for them.
Okay, I just realized this. Galaxy Racers, Nemesis, they are the only ones who can stop Team Chaos, right? They are the ones closest to them. Here's the thing. In the previous game of Purgatory, Galaxy Racer hot dropped against Team Chaos in Central City. They died. If Galaxy Racer repeat the same mistake again, well, then they can kiss their chances of winning the championship right away. But if they hot drop Team Chaos and they kill them, then they will have a very good chance of equalizing the scores.
Yeah, this is on point, because usually that is where Team Chaos's land, and it was a good homework coming from Team Chaos. They have already spent lots of hours, and it is seen in today's match the way the landing is on point. That is how they are able to get best of rotation, not losing any players, and when they pick up fight, they lose players sometimes, but always ends up in their favor, which is good to see. Total Gaming has taken a landing in Crossroads where no other team is sharing the grounds. So for now, maybe they are going to get best of loots. But the question is, with these loots, are they going to get the kills? I feel sad for Team Total Gaming at this point of time. The winners, the title owners of the previous series of Free Fire India Championship, they are into the bottom, which is quite too unexpected and saddening as well. Not only us as the casters, for the viewers as well. They might be sad talking about Team Elite. Ankit Free Fire and Team Elite are picking up a fight. Pahari has already taken lots of damage over here. Chrono Shield is showing exact location where Pahari has taken a fallback, and if this battle goes against Team Elite is going to stumble down to such a location where they might not be able to recover.
Yikes, I'm kind of worried about Team D over here. Roshan knocked out. on one side of the river, his teammate on the other side. There's no way they can swim across, and yeah, I don't think Roshan is getting revived. Team D, they're gonna have to take this L. They're gonna have to lose their member and just carry on as if nothing happened. Yeah, RIP, mate. That's first blood. No, wait, that's not first blood. Somebody already got first blood. So yeah, this is the second player dying.
Yeah, this is the second player dying, and one player out of captains is already lost. So team captains need to save their players under every cost. Being the final segment of the day, you need to save the numbers. That is what is going to matter into the final circle. If we talk about highest resource zone, we see team captains and team Nemesis. If team captains win away this battle, Nemesis will have to struggle a lot in Kalahari. Realizing this matter of fact, they are just moving away, taking a back foot, and which is much more than necessary they have to do, because this is also one of the teams which can win the title. They are still in the race. Top 5 teams are still in the race. Yes, the difference is quite too high. 20 points is a big margin. And Team Chaos, talking about Team Chaos, they're already here on our screen near to the Fire Brigade. They have changed the drop.
Yeah,
location.
yeah.
Oh man, what a brain. Team Chaos, they are always moving one step ahead of what every other team is thinking. This is what is helping them to being able to almost close to winning the title away, just 2 matches away into their favor. On the other side of map, we are seeing Genotra just took 1 knock over here. It is against Team Nemesis. It is a strong fight. They did try to take a fall back, but the Nemesis doesn't want Captain to go away. One player is already down. That is Mr. Gamer. He's not going to be revived. He's going to die, bleed and die. If we talk about Nemesis, he's trying to give so much of damage. He has confirmed 1 kill. They have lost 1 player. The trade is quite too fair. But if Nemesis loses this battle, the trade is going to result in very bad affair for Nemesis, because this is one of the teams which is still trying hard, which is into top 5. And I'm afraid they are going to stumble down this time. Mind Gamer is also down. Reviving him is also next to impossible. Nemesis and Mohit are quite too far away, and we have the leader. Captains have taken 2 players already down, and surviving as a trio quite too strong as of now, and I don't think they are going to allow Nemesis. Talking about Nemesis, they were not going to allow anyway, and Nemesis is also eliminated. Mohit racing out of the fight, trying to save the standing points. Now I feel bad for Nemesis, but somewhere captains are finally showing some comeback. They are showing the best of potential. They have them in them, which is not, which they were not able to expose easily. But I think this may be the match tournament.
Yeah, even team captains are one of those teams that can catch up to the top 3. And the fact that they're able to win this battle against Team Nemesis just shows how well coordinated they are. They were on the low ground at one point, and then they sent one of their players up the hill. The other guys climbed up a very steep slope by jumping up again and again. And Team Nemesis had no idea that they were scaling the mountain like that. And all of a sudden, the 1 versus 3 turned into a 3 versus 3. Like, Ginotra was trapped over there. They could not kill Ginotra in time. And because Ginotra managed to just stay alive for long enough, his teammates came in and backed him up. That's exactly what he needed to do. He just needed to buy some time, and he did that. And as soon as the backup arrived, they had no fear whatsoever. They rushed right in. And even though they were on the low ground, team captains were like, doesn't really matter, we can still shoot you down. And now poor Mohit, he escaped into the train tunnels to keep the banner of his team still in the game. Nemesis is down to 1 last player.
Nemesis is down to 1 last player, and he needs to take all the responsibilities of standing points on his shoulder. But the way he has chased out of the circle is yet to be seen. But still, the way he ran, I think chasing back within the circle is going to be more than difficult. But if we talk about Akash, CP just doesn't want Nemesis last man standing to go away. Players trying to push him. Let's see other than the successful the existence of Nemesis, because this is the last chance for Nemesis to survive. Yes, they do have Kalahari here, but one map lost quite too early, going out of the race, because difference of score is way less to even manage to lose by 2 to 3 points, and it is all lot of positioning point, losing almost on position 12 is equal to 0 standing point with only 1 kill in their hands. Now we are going to see a battle. It is going to be 6 heads and 2 teams around them, one of which is definitely, it is Survivor 4M, this is also the team which is underperforming today for sure. And Ankush Free Fire, let's see, is Sixth Sense going to be a sandwich, or are they going to take battle on both the directions and win their route? Because if Sixth Sense manages to win this battle particularly, they might get a strong upshift, because the Survivor 4M into bottom 3, Ankush Free Fire trying to give the best possible but still not able to chase top 5. So this battle is going to definitely decide, and now it is Team Elite taking an entry, so now it is going to be 4-team affair.
Yeah, Team Elite just throwing them on top of the sandwich, just piling up on top of the other teams, as if it's like a sumo wrestling match. That's exactly what they're doing. They just threw themselves on the other teams, but they haven't really influenced them yet, okay? They haven't started firing, they haven't revealed their positions just yet. Nobody knows that Team Elite is joining the party. So, according to the teams over there, they're just trapped in a three-way sandwich. That's all they know. But they don't know the Team Elite is also over there. It's fine. It's not like they want to reveal their positions just yet, because the circle is a very awkward one. You see, it's on all 3 islands, and one of these islands is bound to be negated sometime or the other. So these teams just want to stay on the edge of the river and make sure that they have something or the other going in their favor in case they need to cross the water body. Well, for now, Total Gaming and Level Iconic on the edge of the bank, just lobbing grenades at each other. But Koish, he manages to knock out Prince. Now this might just create an opening. They're trying to finish off Koish, but while they're doing so, they completely forget that Java Boy can actually stop them. They block him off. Java Boy is irrelevant into this fight, and it's just down to Pogioza and Mafia Bala. They need to pick up this fight themselves, and they're actually managing to win. Aladdin is the last man standing, and he's gonna have to run. There's no way he can rest his team. He's gonna have to pull off a 1v4 clutch, and there's no way that's happening.
That Total Gaming finally scoring some, but LVL Iconic struggling. They were already struggling to maintain themselves in top 5, and now certainly getting eliminated on position 12, which we were expecting coming from other team. But just one rush, and finally we see Total Gaming into the action. The best of the loots that I was talking about, maybe now those loots are being used very wisely, because rushing in against LVL Iconic, the team which has managed to stay in top 5, which is already too much, and they eliminated that team. Maybe Total Gaming is not into the race of top 5, but certainly the loss LVL Iconic is going to suffer is way too high. The cost that they have paid after losing this battle, it is too much to afford.
Yeah, but guess what, Tanya? Total Gaming have finally crossed the 5-point barrier. They're up at 7 points now. Which is better. They're getting there. But what do they need to do? They need at least 30 points to make it into the top 6. They need 40 more points to make it into the top 3. I don't know if they can do it. 40 points in 2 games is like a tall task, but if they keep squad wiping after squad wiping just like this, then they might just be able to make it into the top 3. Imagine if they go from dead last to top 3. That will be the biggest comeback ever. And I don't care if they're the defending champions. If you're able to make such a massive comeback, then you have put yourself down in the history books. Although history often doesn't repeat itself contrary to whatever popular belief is. But the circle, it's still unclear. It's still in a position where none of these teams can figure out where the final circle is gonna go. So you see, all these teams, they're now gonna try and stay near the beach. They're gonna try and stay near the water bodies, hopefully next to a bridge or a zip line, so that they can traverse the water bodies if they need to. But the circle is still a fickle mistress. It hasn't revealed its true intentions.
Yeah, definitely. We still don't know which way the circle is going to go, but Mohit certainly is able to save himself. He's using the cover of the ridges. He knows every single point counts. So when other teams are battling, all you got to do is move in as sneakily as possible, save himself as long as possible. Total Gaming are on the edge of the circle against them. This no team as of right now who can pick up a fight, but it is for Survivor 4M who's trying to pick up fight against Team Elite. Let's see how, because I'm seeing a pattern in this match, Crips. I'm repeatedly seeing a pattern. Bottom teams are hindering the top 5 teams so badly that bottom teams are not going to get a good effect, but top 6 teams, top 5 teams are going to get a harsh stumble down. The shifts are going to be so cruel that they won't even able to be digesting it easily. I don't know what's going to happen, but bottom teams are being way more troublesome than maybe the zone will, maybe the circle will, because the D teams like Total Gaming with only 3 points have eliminated one of the teams, LVL Iconic, bottom 5. The team Nemesis, now they are left with only one player. So every team who is into bottom 3-4, that pattern is repeated, and the numbers are one team is totally eliminated. Mohit left with only one player. I don't know what our top 5 teams going to do after this sort of performance is coming from bottom teams.
Yep. It's almost like they're saying, hey, if we can't have a good time, then you're not gonna have a good time either. If we die, we're gonna take you down with us. That's basically what they're saying. It's almost like a kamikaze attack. And it's not a bad thing to do. I mean, who knows? Maybe in the process of that kamikaze attack, you will survive. You will blow up the other guy without harming yourself. That is a possibility. It's not completely out of the equation yet. But I still don't know where the circle is gonna go. I don't think anyone does. But here's the surprising thing. Team Elite, they're gonna hedge their bets inside Brasilia. They're not moving to the beach. They're not moving to the edges of the zone. They're just still gonna sit inside the main city of Brasilia, confident of the fact that the circle will shift there. Meanwhile, Team Chaos, they are still inside Central. They are back on their home turf. We saw what the last remaining player of Team Nemesis trying to swim back into the circle, but he's gonna have to swim a lot. So hopefully he brought his flippers and maybe even an oxygen tank. But the circle about to touch the boundaries anytime now, any moment now, and some of these screams will be crying. A request to the observers, can we please switch to the whole map view? I want to see which one of these teams gets absolutely zone screwed. Where's the circle? Where did it move? It's not on the central island. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's towards the western island. Oh, Jesus. This is disastrous. None of the teams in Brasilia are safe.
So the screams are coming high from every team who are holding Brasilia as the second home, which is not there. And look at Team Chaos. They went all the way from Fire Brigade to Central, and now they can hold on to Central for a little while longer without picking fights. This is what Team Chaos want currently. They don't want to lose player. They don't want to pick fights which might end up losing, if not even losing, which might end up eliminating 1 or 2 players. All they want to do is just survive until top 3. When we go into fight, we might go in. But if we talk about every other team, they might be screaming. And before the screams, it is Mafia Bala who is giving some screeching shots to the screeching car of Harsh. Harsh is spotted as of now. Let's see. These are the monster teams battling. The battle is going to end up because the point difference between these two teams is also almost more than 10 points. So if Total Gaming is able to eliminate this team, maybe they can come into second last position, even if they are able to. They are taking lots of damage.
Oh no!
And again knocked down, and the flashbang is also used. It is Golden with flashbang, and I feel the Golden has already seen, is able to see using the grenades, and now comes the right point where Mafia Bala rushes in, revives his teammate, the basic necessity, and Java Boy with the ultimate weapon in his hand. He has got M79. Let's see what work can he do with the grenade launcher, and now heading back to VSS, a basic weapon, and the first part attack is
Oh no, run! Run, Forrest, run! That's basically what they're saying. Java Boy, he accepts his death. He accepts his fate. All he's just gonna do is just sit there, try to make sure that at least he can get a couple of exit frags onto Team Elite. That's basically what he's trying to do. Six Sense have already infiltrated the hometown of Team Chaos. So that's one fight happening over there. Ankush Free Fire take the west. No. That's not West Mid. They take the eastern bridge and they get into the zone as well. So they are safe. Team Chaos gets eliminated at the hands of Team Six Sense. What on earth is happening? Six Sense, they managed to kill the leaders, the kings of Central City, and now they're up against Ankush Free Fire, and they might just win this battle too. A nice headshot by Stoner to open up the frag on Rahil, and this might just be their cue to full send it in. The circle shifts once again towards the Western Island, and Six Sense needs to get this battle done right here and now. Oh, the grenade! It's perfect! Illuminati is down. Mr. JYT, it's on him to revive him. And while they're trying to finish them off, Stoner is providing cover. They forgot about Stoner. They ignore him. Oh my god, that's what happens when you don't check your corners. He's able to get 2 free frags. Lovely stuff by Team Six Sense. They bait each other out and they keep themselves alive. They're up at 8 points already.
And a good play. Now they have a chance to come up into top 3 for sure. Team Chaos is out. LVLI is out. He's got damage. So now this is the time when Six Sense can show their true colors and come out as a rainbow. But now crossing the bridge is a struggle as well. Zone is closing in. Illuminati did come to save his teammate, but unfortunately Zone is in the lava now. Illuminati is rush. Last breath once again coming as they're not actually risky, or something, but still they've got a better chance compared to the Sixth Sense. JYP from the distance trying to do so much of damage, confirming so much of kills. Let's see who's going to move through the bridge because Galaxy Racers now finally coming to the action and doing the best of their team. Already 2 knocks already down, coming to third, Last Breath eliminated. This gives a chance to Sixth Sense. If they are not eliminated, they can take an easy entry. Galaxy Racers Golden was down. He's healed back up. Now the Team Elite is against Galaxy Racers. Galaxy Racers are doing the best possible damage in every single corner.
Oh,
but
no.
only one kill. I think the core Sixth Sense is already eliminated. There is spotted an air Team Elite Pahari and confirming the kill killer is already
No.
down. It is a total chaos.
Oh my God.
Aman down. What is going to happen? Golden revived. Aman still down, but will be healed up, will be revved up, and we are just down to 3 teams, 9 players, 1 minute to go.
Team Elite, they have the win in their back. They're already celebrating. You can see Iconic, he's just a happy man. He's just trying to put up as many glue walls as he can and stay alive because they know they're going to win. The only thing that can take down Team Elite right now is a bunch of M82Bs and maybe Woodpeckers to some extent because they just need to keep themselves alive. There's absolutely no way that Galaxy Racer and Team Blue can just go to the circle. Nah, they cannot do that. Vasi already got knocked out by the zone. You can look at the desperation on their faces. Galaxy Racers just trying to keep themselves alive. And I think they have accepted their fate. Merix is going to die out in the zone. At least they managed to get to the second place. So that is still great. But once again, this time, the circle, it screws over almost every team. And now even Team Elite is in the run. They were somewhere near the top 5, but they did not have enough points to breach into the top 3. But with this Booyah, things might change. And standings, they are definitely going to change.
Definitely, we are going to see certain very good standing shifts. Team Chaos is definitely going to stumble down by if I'm not mistaken, they were the first team who got eliminated. So certainly Team Chaos is losing some chance. No, they were not the first one. It was Sixth Sense rushing to that island, eliminating Team Chaos, winning the battle against Ankush Free Fire, and then while crossing the bridge, zone choked them, and on the other side it was Last Breath who were giving much of damage. And then comes the entry of Galaxy Racers who were able to stop Last Breath, but Sixth Sense somehow managed to take an entry within the circle. But I would say Team Elite, I was not even sure if they were alive, if they were there. And then when we were down to top 3 teams, I saw Team Elite, all 3 men standing tall. And it was Killer who was eliminated by one of the players from Galaxy Racers. And Zone somehow favored them, but they were standing tall with no players lost. That was also a sort of advantage.
Man, I kind of want to believe in something as much as Team Elite believed in that main island. The moment the circle shifted towards the western island, basically every team in Brasilia said, screw it, I'm out. I'm going to take the bridge. I'm going to take the zip line. Ankush Free Fire took the eastern bridge. Then we saw one team trying to swim across. Obviously, that did not work out. Team Chaos were happy. They were rejoicing. Okay, like, yay, we still have a little piece of land. And then Sixth Sense came and backstabbed them, which was fine. They defeated Ankush Free Fire as well. That was fine. But while I say that, while every team is rotating to either the southern or the western island, Team Elite did not move. They said that, okay, there's a tiny piece of beach remaining. There's like, what, 2 square meters of sand still in the zone, and we're gonna stay there. And guess what? The circle, it ended up favoring them in the end nonetheless. Like, they believed that the circle would move towards the main island no matter what happened. And they did not budge an inch. And, I mean, I guess it paid off. Their patience and their faith, it paid off. They got a booyah.
And it was a good booyah. I don't think they had double-digit kills, but zone protection on point and getting yourself a booyah in such a crucial situation when you know your competitors are already eliminated. They were very well aware. Team Chaos was eliminated. LBL Iconic was also eliminated. And at this point of struggling time, when they take away a booyah, this one is going to be a massive table turner. How Total Gaming just rushed into the LBL Iconics. The team into bottom 5 did give the best of fight, but unfortunately could not struggle. And it was only Prince who they were able to get a knocker, and it was Prince who did go for 3 kills at a shot. And if we talk about Sixth Sense, and I like the play from Stoner House, how high it to the small corner of the a glue wall, holding himself as if there's nobody there, and then he's able to take knock by knock. It was certainly not a free kill, it was just a sneaky kill. He hid very flawlessly where nobody was even expecting him to be, and eliminating total Ankush Free Fire. At this point of time, they did have 8 kills, which is a good number, and they also had some good standing points. So somewhere I think it is going to be 6 cents. They are going to have plus shifts. Team Elite over here, when I saw Iconic taken down, I thought hard times are on, but certainly not. And if you look at the MVP, Pahadi with 2 kills, look at the damage, man.
Wow.
Always Pahadi bags up so much of damage. The sniper skills that he uses, maybe the kills and damages never correlate, but somewhere the damages always amazes me, astonishes me.
Yeah, and this time he has this much damage in the bag because they were on one side of the river and all their opponents were on the other side. So yeah, he can dish out the damage, but confirming the kills can be difficult, especially when you can't, go up close and personal to finish them off. So yeah, the numbers kind of paint the picture about what exactly happened to Team Elite over here. Plenty of damage, not enough kills. But they're still on the top because of Booyah points. But take a look at this. 6 Cents have 10 kills in the bag, which puts them just 1 point behind Team Elite. So, yeah, both these teams are going to see a massive influx of points. Galaxy Racer, even though they finished in 2nd place, because they had only 2 kills, they are stumbling down on the 4th position, which is still fine. They can still hold on to the top 3 spot. But Total Gaming getting 10 kills in this game. Alright, pretty impressive. They go from 3 points to 13 points overall, but still nowhere near the top. I don't know, man. I feel so bad for Galaxy Racer. This is like the 3rd time in a row where they have the advantage of the zone, but the zone shifts away from them at the very last moment.
Absolutely, and Team Chaos are still immovable at this point of time, but the difference is quite too close. Team Elite has the chance to win this Booyah. Galaxy Racers are also way too close. 6 cents, yeah, maybe with 10 kills and a Booyah still stands a chance, but for Nemesis, it is a strong stumbling down. Look at the point difference, which is 10, and now it is almost 22, and I think with only 1 match remaining, it is not too easy to recover this sort of difference. But the competition between top 3 teams is going to be way more stronger comparatively, and it is Kalahari Crips. I always say Kalahari is the leaderboard changer. Let's see how this is going to change Team Chaos. I don't know, after such a strong lead, still standing tall on position 1, but the luxury to lose 1 game is all over. Now they cannot afford any further.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing. Galaxy Racer, 6 Cents, Team Elite, all of them are pretty strong in Kalahari. Team Chaos, their strongest map is not Kalahari, but they have already picked up a Booyah in the previous Kalahari game. So can they change history? Can they break the curse of Kalahari not being their map? Can they do that? That's going to be interesting to see. If they are able to do that, all is good and well. If they don't do that, well, then maybe Team Elite has a chance of overtaking them. How much do they need? They were at 57, right? So they need what? I don't know, correct my math over here, but they need like what, 7-8 points to overtake Team overtake Team Chaos. If that happens, well, then we might just have a nice champion being dethroned. But currently, Team Chaos, not with that big of a difference, but they're still on the top. All they need to do is just hold on and play really, really passively. According to my prediction, I think that Galaxy Racer, Team Elite, Team 6 Cents, they're all just going to full send it in now because placement points won't change much. I think the only thing that can actually really be a game changer right now is scale points, and every one of these teams will be extremely aggressive, except for Team Chaos. They're going to be super passive this time.
Previously, they did go for an attempt of being super passive, but then comes 6 Cents, breaks the routines of being passive. But if it was a rotation or if it was a backstab, I don't exactly recollect, but somewhere they could not manage to win that battle, and I really hope the best team wins and we get to see the best of games in this final match for the day, because this is the deciding match which we are going to see, and historically their name is going to get imprinted with this title. Survivor 4am, they are picking up the fight, and let's see how this fight is going to go ahead. And one of the player, it is going to be Team Chaos. Look at the scattered landing. I don't see this is not typical Team Chaos. I see something fishy over here. If this is the landing, if this is the drop they are deciding, I'm afraid they are going to walk away with all 4 players intact.
There's already a lot of changes happening. Too many to keep up with. First of all, Survivors 4 AM, they go into Bayfront. That's a massive shift. Like in the previous game, they tried to go towards Kalahari, but they were displaced by Level Iconic. This time, they just changed things up. They just straight up go to Bayfront. And because they drop into Bayfront now, Team Chaos is forced to split up. Interesting. The second last team on the leaderboard displacing the top team from their drop location. This could change things. But Team D doesn't care about any of them. Tanya, you've already pointed out that Team D are the spoiled sports of the lobby. They are the guys who usually go for those kamikaze attacks where they say, oh, if you're going to go down, if we're going to go down, we'll take you down with us. That's the kind of team they are. Team Elite, though, playing it very, very safe inside Council Hall. Let's see who else has a chance of winning. Galaxy Racer in the high tier loot zone in the maze. Okay, so they're gonna have plenty of advantage. Team 610 safe in command post. That's also pretty nice. Team Chaos uncontested in command post. Again, all these top teams per se, they're not gonna have a lot of trouble. So because they're isolated in their own particular bubbles. But what about the other teams who have a chance of making it in? How about someone like maybe Team Elite? They coming in from the northern side will definitely run into Team D and Survivors 4 AM as they try to cross into the zone. So I'm feeling a little skeptical about their rotation paths. Let's see if they decide to opt for a more safer approach or they go guns blazing. But for now, no real battle scene at the start of Kalahari. Every team being really, really careful. This is the last game, so they can't afford to make any mistakes. They can't afford to make any hasty decisions. But that's what happens, right? When you avoid the early game battles, the end games are even more chaotic. And Kalahari map is known for being chaotic, which is like, what, chaotic squared? That's just insane.
Yeah, that is indeed insane. But I like the map this time. Everybody is quite too far away and nobody's sharing the grounds. But for now, I do see Rahul as it is Rahil who has already spotted one of the player, but he's allowing that player to go away. Nobody wants to pick up fight. Nobody wants an early elimination. Each points is counted and each kill is going to give them much of benefit. But once again, I see Aladdin is spotted by Kaushik and a little bit of damage was there. Chrono Shield in both the ways, but it is only one player. Not a whole team is here. I don't know what for. He is scattered away from his teammates. But if he is spotted, I'm afraid he won't be spared alive. And certainly now through the mini-map, I'm able to spot other three players of LVL Iconic. Aladdin has a proper chance to race out of this fight. He can move away. He might be having a good loot as well because you're already down to 4 minutes to the match. So this is correct time if he wants to race out and not pick up fight. Team Chaos once again picks up 45 against Team Survivor. Pratham is eliminated and X-Mania is spotted. Scary did connect some of the shots coming from SKS over here, and I don't know what is Team Chaos up to. They take a landing at command post, losing one player, and third team is also taking an NP over here, and I don't know how Sixth Sense is going to keep an approach this time. Previously they were quite too wild against Team Chaos, and they know this is a competition and it is not an easy one. You have to give the best of possible. But once again, I did not precisely say it was the esports who were trying to be kamikaze. All bottom teams are giving their best to spoil the game of the top teams, and they are successfully able to do. If we talk about Survivor 4 AM, they are into bottom team, and still they are able to manage. They are managing the fight against Team Chaos, taking Pratham down. I mean, it's too much already. A big loss for Team Chaos.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Survivors 4 AM land in Bayfront?
Yeah, they did.
They went all the way from Bayfront to command post to do what? To pick up a fight against Team Chaos? That is the wildest rotation I have seen. But here's the worst part. Even Team 6 Sense is over here. So that's like a massive Mexican standoff happening inside of command post. And Team Chaos are splitting up. Even though they have lost a player, I do not know if this is going to work out in their favor. It could very well be a bad decision. But maybe we will have to wait a little bit to find out. The Battle of Command Post hasn't erupted yet. It's just being set up. It's like a house of cards being put into place carefully, and all it takes is one move for it to come tumbling down. Currently over here on our screen, we have Team Lost Red Bull up against Nemesis now. Even though Kaushik got knocked out, he's going to be raised back up on his feet. And that's the thing about these long-range battles. You can always just knock out people, but you can never really confirm kills unless you close the distance. So it turns into a war of attrition. Yeah, I'm not really sure if this is a good decision for them to do right now. Last Breath did not need to pick up this fight, neither does Team Nemesis. But here's the interesting one. Yeah, it's Survivors 4 AM. And they are knocking on the doors of Team Chaos. They've spotted out Technical KK. The Chrono Shield coming into the wall with his position, but he jumps down. And KK gets the kill onto Harsh. He needs to escape. He needs to get out of here right now. Kunal is in no position to back him up. And he needs backup. But it takes down X-Mania as well. Are you kidding me? Is he actually going to be able to pull it off? He confirms the kill onto X-Mania, just pulling off a 1 versus 2. And now Kunal is moving in to help him out. Tech KK, you are an absolute madman. There was no way he was supposed to survive this battle, but he's killed 2 people already. Insane. Cooking a grenade, knowing his exact position, is trying to make sure that he doesn't even have to see him for him to knock him out. But Tech KK, he is in God mode right now. He realizes he's in danger. He's gonna skedaddle out of here. And he's gonna join his team. And here's the best part. Kunal Jr. being on top of that tower and Scary being on top of the ATC. This is a bait. If they try to kill Tech KK right now, the other 2 players can set up such a great crossfire that anyone who dares to lay a finger on him will be smashed from all different directions. It's a 200 IQ move. Tech KK realizes that's an unnecessary risk. It is a good crossfire, but he's going to go for an even safer option. He regroups with his teammates after taking down 2 players of Survivors 4 AM. This is perfect. And here's the thing. Here's the result. Survivors 4 AM, they're going to have to concede this battle. They're going to have to accept defeat. One of their players already out of command post. Only Golden trapped in here.
Yep, and it is a half battle won already. 2 players of Survivor 4M are already down. The revenge of losing Pratham is already taken, and Red Zone is going to take a little bit. Maybe the fight are going to extend a little while. And now talking about it, it is not going to take any longer. Red Zone is gone, but I like the positioning of Sixth Sense. They are waiting for 2 teams to battle, and Sixth Sense want to later on rush in, maybe get some free kills, maybe do the best of third party possible. But it is Team Chaos who wouldn't want a bit of risk at this point of time. Galaxy Racers into the refinery. There are 3 teams sharing the ground. Last breath and LBL iconic. But I would say Galaxy Racers has got a best of position because they have managed to get they have managed to totally conquer the table tower, which is best. You get the perfect 360 view, and I like how Last Breath are just underneath that so that they are also not spotted. So at this point of time, there's nothing that is going to force them for picking up battles. And now it is what a shot! One shot,
Wow.
one knock coming from Akash. Mafia down on his knees, but once again, it is long range fight. Nothing is going to happen much. All that is going to happen is usage of all the medikits that you have already collected. So for now, the players are going to get revived very smoothly. Sixth Sense moving away from command post. They are saying they're saving the numbers, or maybe preparing a plan to backstab team captains who are battling against some other team. So look at Team Sixth Sense strategy. Wherever they are going, all they want is kills. Previously also, maybe the Booyah was bagged by Team Elite. Highest fraggers were certainly Sixth Sense. So basic of Sixth Sense, they go where they are able to get the kills and save the numbers if possible, and they are happy. If they lose one player, they are all set. They again go for the same strategy. They want maximum of kills, but at this point in time, iconic is out of the track, and Megi is down the top, down fire is creating without time. The best bottom teams are creating the maximum of chaos into the final round, and now it can pick some over here.
Oh no, but this might just go against them. Vasio doesn't really have the best position. He's on the lower ground, so he's gonna have to be really careful if he does want to participate in this battle. But that's what happens when fights go on for too long. It invites third parties, and this time Sixth Sense is here to pick up their quota of kills. Will they be able to get anything though? Although on the other side of the map, I did see Tech KK get knocked out by Survivors 4 AM, but that's a different story. Mr. Jai over here is lighting up the kill feed. He's already confirmed the kill, and they are going in for even more. Ankush Free Fire are gonna stay on top of the sub, so they are safe over there. But Galaxy Racers versus Sixth Sense? Alright then, sign me up, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a clash of the titans with a little chance of an underdog coming out on top. Even Team Captains is nearby, so hold on. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams battling it out on the sub. This is about to turn into a spicy Subway sandwich, and I do not want to be in the middle of the bread over here. You do not want to get sandwiched in this position.
Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't want to get sandwiched, but I think some teams are definitely going to get. They are the minced meat of the sub that
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah.
about. So let's see who is going to be the exact kebab of the minced meat, because I see now Nemesis is also entering the
God.
field. The sub is getting overly populated, even more than it can handle. But
Oh, no.
Team Chaos is eliminated. A big saddening news. Last match with only difference of 9 points or 7 points somewhere. I
Oh, God.
think Team Chaos are out of the race now. They are thoroughly out of the race now.
Oh,
They're down to 11 teams, 37 players down. They are playing. Ginotra is spotted, is taken down. Tyagi trying to be the best of difficulties for the Galaxy Racers. Galaxy Racers switched in the towers towards the sub.
Why
It
did-
was a basic necessity. No, it was a normal rotation that was intended to be taken, because look at the circle which is moving into the front direction. So this was the basic
Yeah.
necessity that they had to take, but certainly this location is not favoring them much. Look at Nemesis, 4 teams into the
Hold
sub,
on.
eliminated. And over here finally I see Vasio giving the best of his action, jump and shoot. MP40,
What?
master of MP40, he is able to knock one player down, and kills are not yet confirmed though.
Hold on though, Tanya. Vasio is the only one over here. It's Team Galaxy Racers who are playing Kamikaze now. They send Vasio out on a hunting mission. He's the only man inside the sub, whereas the rest of the team of Galaxy Racers is far away from the action. They saw that Team Chaos is eliminated. At this point, 2 teams are very happy. One of them is Team Elite, and one of them is Galaxy Racers. They know that Team Chaos is out of the race. If they just do barely enough to survive, then they might just be able to dethrone the champions and walk away with the trophy. And that's exactly why Galaxy Racer has disengaged from this fight. They're just leaving Vasio over here so he can pick up his share of free kills. But even if they lose Vasio, it's not a big deal, because 3 players will still be alive. Although Team Elite, they're gonna full send it in. Uncle's Free Fire are in a world of trouble right now, because they are assaulting from underneath the sub. The staircases have been blocked, but they will be released later on. Vasio, you can see exactly why he was over here. He wanted to protect his team, and now his position is perfect, because Galaxy Racer, they are sandwiching Team Nemesis from the bottom, whereas Vasio from above is providing Overwatch. They're just trying to gatekeep Team Galaxy Racer. And when I say gatekeep, they're just basically trying to lock them out of the container so that they can't enter and finish Nemesis off. But a single grenade will be able to finish the job over here. 6sense realizes that they have an advantage as well, and they're going to take the topmost position on the hill so that they can third party in on this one. But Galaxy Racer, they make quick work of Team Nemesis. They aced him out. Team Elite have their number though. And Team Elite, as soon as they start firing upon Galaxy Racers, Team 6sense might just attack them. So they need to be really careful over here. They need to take some measured fights. Meanwhile, Total Gaming, where did they come from? Total Gaming are assaulting 6sense now? Okay, then Galaxy Racer is going to be very happy about this. But they are eliminated right off the bat. Jesus Christ, that was a very quick kill.
That indeed was very quick. Players already, they are down. Maybe they might win the but battle is down. Captain is trying to really pick the battle, which is quite too far away from them. They successfully get the red numbers, knock the player down, confirming the kill. I'm seeing on the other side of the map, John T fell to death. Iconic fell to death. What is Team Elite up to? But if you look at the positioning coming from 6sense, all 4 players are intact, and they're waiting for Team Elite to jump down. And I'm afraid for Team Elite, because this is also one of the team which can win away the title quite too strongly. But I'm liking the play coming from captains. I even now it might be back to the play versus Team Elite. This is the match that I want to talk about. I want to see these battles quite too long. And if I'm going to lose the sub, then we are going to have a hard time. We are going to be out of the race, and one player was knocked down, and I'm not able to see any further. Maybe it is Team Elite's final play, and we are down to only 4 teams. It was the play zone who ended 6sense, one of the player. Now last breath, the team out of nowhere, they are into the center of the circle, and they can gain one of the mastermind Galaxy Racers, as well as blue zone struggling team 6sense is eliminated as well. Now you're down
Hold
to
on.
3 teams. An unexpected circle where last breath might take the last Buddha for the day.
How did Galaxy Racer survive that? They were in a mausoleum of death. They were sandwiched in between 6sense, Total Gaming, and Team Elite. But somehow Galaxy Racers escape. Team Six Sense and Elite both are out. And if Galaxy Racer play their cards well, they might just be able to win the Booyah. It is still a 2 versus 4. So there is a good chance that Last Breath can win this battle. But it doesn't matter. Galaxy Racer, if they secure second place, they will still be able to overtake everyone else. But will they be able to pull it off? It is a 2 versus 4. And Ashusta, he opens things up. He knocks out Vasio. It's all down to just one man now. And he's losing too much health to the grenades. Goshik is the one who puts that nail in the coffin. He eliminates the last player of Team Galaxy Racer, and it is, surprisingly, a very unexpected team to win the last game of the day. It is Team Last Breath. But, Tanya, that doesn't really answer our question, does it? That does not answer our question. Is Galaxy Racer in a position to overtake the champions? Is Team Elite gonna do it? It's still up for discussion.
There are three teams that I'm confused about. One of which is Galaxy Racer for sure. They were in position 2, 6 Sense. They took so many battles. They had good kills. Maybe got eliminated on position 3. Yes, they also have some good standing points. But Team Elite, they picked up fight against Ankush Free Fire. They managed to win that battle. So certainly they do have 3 to 4 kills. After that, I did not see any kill feed coming from them. 2 players fell to death, which was little more than saddening for me to see. And then talking about 6 Sense, they did try to give the best of surviving strategies possible, but unfortunately they choked to Blue Zone. But talking about Galaxy Racer, Vasio, the mind gamer, this particular game is going to be a strong table turner. Maybe they did not get the Booyah. It's fairly good play coming from Last Breath for the final match for the day, but commendable play was coming from Galaxy Racer this particular match. How Galaxy Racer's Vasio was left for a second, I felt he stranded away, but no, it was a sheer mind game coming from Vasio.
Yeah, and out of all the people in Galaxy Racer who were in danger, it's Vasio that survives. He was the one who was in the suicidal spot. He was the one who sent himself ahead to just disrupt the other team, and sometimes that's enough. Like, I know that Kalahari is one of those maps which you cannot really guarantee a victory on, but you can guarantee that somebody else has a bad time. You can disrupt the other teams, and that's exactly what Vasio did. And surprisingly, even though his position wasn't very relevant at the start because he was just, third partying to the other teams, later on, as Team Elite and Team Nemesis started fighting Galaxy Racer, he was in such a great position that he could provide Overwatch from above. And then because he was still on top over there, he was able to stay alive, he was able to guide his teammates back up on top, and then get them into the top 2 of the match. So Vasio, it was just a big brain game from him.
Absolutely, and I see them as a winner. Though I have not calculated, I don't even know how much amount of kills did Galaxy Racer had, because it was the sub was a total chaos scripts. We were like, one team is here, then comes third team, then came Elite also ultimately came to the sub. They landed quite too far away, but ultimately they landed to the exact hill where 6 Sense were already battling against other 2 teams. So for me, I don't know exactly how much of kills were taken, but this particular play, if at all Galaxy Racers doesn't win away the tournament, I will feel bad, because over here mind tricks were played, over here every possible kills were taken, and the rotation surviving through the 2 teams already fighting and moving out successfully. After this sort of a play, if team doesn't win the tournament, I am afraid who is going to win.
Yeah, right. It's such a breathtaking moment, pun intended, but we still don't know the answers. Like, the battle is too close to actually give out a proper answer, and because my math is already pretty weak, I'm going to refrain from making any comments. Have they done enough to overtake Team Chaos? I mean, the fact that Team Chaos got eliminated right at the start means that they're going to get absolutely 0 placement points. They might have picked up 2 or 3 kills at max, which should keep them just a little above the competition. But then 9 placement points in the bag of Team Galaxy Racers already, along with how many able kill points they've captured, would definitely be enough to propel them over the edge. But can they do it? Can they get the #1 spot? It's going to be amazing. I mean, I want to see a replay of all of this action. This is going to be amazing because it was such a massive battle. And the fact that, well, I still don't get one thing. Why did Team Elite try to enter the battle? They could have gone anywhere else. They could have played it safe, but they did not. They, in fact, decided to send it in. They decided to attack the sub. Yeah, sure, they got a bunch of kill points on the back of it, but was it enough? Not sure yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know why, what for. See, over here itself, Galaxy Racers did manage to pick up fight, win it out, 4 kills in their bag. Total Gaming did come as a trouble, but got into trouble against Team Six Sense. It was Stoner who nailed the final coffin nail. And if we talk about captains over here, they were strong enough. I like their positioning. I like the sniper shots coming from Akashdeep. They were able to get the best of fights. They had the best zone advantage as well, but they also stumbled down once the zone shift took place. And the Sixth Sense, they also didn't have any sort of extra advantage, but the advantage was that it was man-to-man advantage, not of the circle though. Last breath took away the last booyah. I don't know how much of growth are they going to get over here, but certainly Vasio getting knocked one, and Galaxy Racer were thoroughly eliminated. MVP for the game with 2 kills and damage. 1665 worth of a damage with mere 2 kills. They have been a damaging team. Kaushik for the final match, they gave the best possible, but they are quite too far away from the race, so I cannot say that they are the champions or somewhere. But last match for Kaushik was way too good, because the difference is quite too huge. 2 assists, 2 kills. Still, if we count 4 kills for him, 1600 worth of a damage is too much.
I know, right? That's like insane numbers. And he was the MVP not just for this game. Keep in mind that he was the MVP for the play-ins as well. He was the guy who managed to get last breath through the play-ins and into the grand finals. So this guy has done more than enough for his team. Getting them to the finals itself is a big deal, and now he manages to grab the MVP trophy with such a massive amount of damage that might just even put him on the top kill leaders. But for now, Galaxy Racer, even though they did not win the Booyah, they managed to bag 18 points in this game. They are still on top of the leaderboard. 9 placement points, 9 kill points. Now, my math might be weak, but I think this might just be enough to push them over the edge. They might just have overtaken Team Chaos now, although we can't really place those bets right away.
But I am quite sure Galaxy Racers has done enough to get the position 1, but it is only after we get to know the charts. But if I had to just guess with the random maths that I'm doing right now, I am very sure of Galaxy Racers have done enough. Even after being on position 2, they have crossed the marker of last breath with total of 18 points. The difference is way too low, only 1 point. But look, Six Sense could not manage to cross Galaxy Racers. Captains were left low. Team Elite are even beneath Six Sense. Survivor 4 got eliminated. So if all the maths are counted together, I'm very sure of Galaxy Racers has already done enough to get this title. So let's see, is it going to be the scene if or not? I'm having goosebumps. My pulse rate is quite too high, pretty more than excited. We are going to soon announce who are this title owners, but I think Galaxy Racers has done enough.
Oh, what a journey it has been. I mean, this match kept us on the edge of our seats. If I wasn't speaking already, I probably would be biting my nails and just sitting and I would be really, really nervous about who's gonna win. Because this was a really breathtaking game indeed. Pun intended again. Jesus. At this point, I'm just dumb. I'm just speechless, because imagine being in Team Chaos' shoes. You have done more than enough to maintain a lead across 5 games. You got 2 Booyahs. No, correction, you were the only team to get 2 Booyahs back-to-back in an FFIC Grand Finals. I don't think even last year any team managed to do so. Total Gaming did get 2 Booyahs last year, but it wasn't back-to-back. This is the only team who's ever done this. And you were on the verge of getting a hat-trick as well, right? Like, they were in the top 3 in that 3rd game. So they could have done that, but they were not able to pull it off. But having a 20-point lead at one point, then that lead being reduced to 8 points, and then some team overtaking you, that's going to really be heartbreaking.
Because they have been on the leaderboards from the very first leaderboard. No, not very first. First it was Nemesis, but from the second leaderboard, they have been quite too consistent with their Booyah, with their kills, with every possible way. But the last segment of the day did not end up in their favor. It was the bottom teams who definitely disrupted the exact momentum they had. They lost players early on. After that, all they had to do was go for the passive approach. Still, it did not end up in their favor. They were getting eliminated. They were not even able to reach the top 7 marker, where they are able to get at least 4 points, 3 points somewhere. So last segment definitely did not end up in the favor. Last segment, Galaxy Racers boosted up. I don't know with what sort of fuel it was in their engines running, and they did it with the mind game, with the kills, with the rotation, and with Vasio standing tall with 3 teams colliding against each other. That was commendable for me. If I had to choose one scene, it is going to be the final match, Kalahari, the sub, Vasio standing and watching the three teams battle it out and getting some fighting shots where he already proved his presence. So I don't know, but yes, we have to wait. We have to wait.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, we won't make you wait too long. We're gonna go on a very quick break, but we'll be back in just 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere because we are about to unveil the champions of Free Fire India Championship 2021 Spring. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back on the other side.
बट बात करें इस साइड वाइट हाउस में कहने को मिले इसके ऊपर काफी यहाँ पहुंचा जब वो हमारे यहाँ पे प्लेस था जहाँ पर पहुंचा था जो वेदर के बगल में पहुंचा था यहाँ पर दोबारा से मुलाकात हुई वाइट हाउस के साथ वो हुआ था बट बात करें इस साइड वाइट हाउस में कहने को मिले इसके ऊपर काफी यहाँ पहुंचा जब वो हमारे यहाँ पे प्लेस था जहाँ पर पहुंचा था जो वेदर के बगल में पहुंचा था यहाँ पर दोबारा से मुलाकात हुई वाइट हाउस के साथ वो हुआ था So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and yes, back with the results. Still, we are going to play the game of patience. We have been, you as well as us players, everybody has taken a lot of patience, and it has been 11 days of a journey. So, this 2 minutes of wait is worth the wait to declare the winner
owner of the title. And with certain guesses, I'm very sure of it is going to be Galaxy Racers. But the competition is still on. Even we don't have the exact results as of now. It was just me and Crips discussing that what is going to happen, what is not going to happen. Perfect play from Galaxy Racer, and it was worth the appreciation. Every bit of the play for the final match in Galaxy Racer deserves a round of applause.
I know, right? And it's almost like the stars aligned. Even Team Elite could have walked away with the Booyah if they decided to play it safe instead of going for the battle. But even though Last Breath managed to win the last Booyah of the day, it's okay. I think Galaxy Racers have done enough by coming into second place. Team Chaos, though, winning 2 back-to-back matches. The first ever team to pull that off in an FFIC Grand Final. Kudos to Team Chaos. They held the lead for the longest time. Imagine being on top with a 20-point margin. Now that is an achievement that nobody else has ever accomplished so far. But can they still be on the top? Can Team Chaos use that double Booyah as a redeeming factor to come out as champions? Or has Galaxy Racer done enough to overtake them? Or maybe it's going to be Team Elite. I mean, they were ahead of Galaxy Racer in the previous game, but this Kalahari match was definitely a table changer. So, yeah, it's going to be a very close battle. I don't know who's going to win, but whatever it is, it definitely has to be a very close battle. And even if Team Chaos win the game or not, TechKK can walk away happy because he definitely is the MVP of this tournament. 16 kills, 4,264 damage. This man was an absolute beast, especially in this last game of Kalahari itself. Like, he was surrounded by survivors 4 AM. He should have died right there. That was not a battle he was supposed to win, but he managed to get 2 kills, and that was amazing.
Yeah, indeed, that was amazing. Team Chaos were able to be on the leaderboards until round 5. If they could have managed to at least survive until top 6, maybe they still stood a chance. But if we talk about Team Chaos, it was a very great day for them, winning away 2 Booyahs back to back, holding the position 1 for more than I remember until the final match. They were still there. The last match was the table turn-up, and even if we talk about the MVP rank, it is going to be TechKK on number 1, followed by 6 and Stoner. Then comes Survivor 4AM's Golden, and then comes Galaxy Racers Madix and 6 cents. Look at the kills. 10 kills are being shared by position 2, 3 and 4, and then comes Jay Whitey, who has always been the highest striker for the team. Now he also has a competitor. It is none other than Stoner. But if we talk about the damage, look at the Stoner's damage. Even though 16 kills TechKK has, damage is way more higher compared to 10 kills coming from Stoner.
This is such a surprise. I mean, usually Mr. Jaya is the guy who carries Team 6 Sense. He was the MVP for the league stage of the tournament. But today, Stoner stepped up in a whole new manner, and he has 6,000 damage. Nobody else has been able to get those numbers. So, yeah, congratulations to them as well, and especially congratulations to TechKK. If he wins the title, well, then he's going to be an MVP and a very happy man. But even if he doesn't, it's going to be a second place finish for him. So, yeah, I'm still feeling very happy for TechKK. Not even being in the top 3 in last FFIC to now almost being the champion, that guy has improved so much, and I'm really happy for him. But ladies and gentlemen, the moment that you have all been waiting for is about to be here. Any moment now. In just a few seconds, we're going to be announcing the winner of Free Fire India Championship 2021 Spring. I cannot wait.
Even I cannot wait. My breath is racing. My pulse rate is racing. And I'm waiting. I'm actually waiting for the titles to show up on the screen. And here we are real soon. We have got the Free Fire champions. It is Galaxy Racers. Congratulations, Galaxy Racers, for walking away with the strong title of Free Fire India champion. And hashtag, this is where the champions are made. This is worth the title, and it is Crips who already pre-predicted that this team is going to win away the title. So congratulations, Crips, to you too, because you are the only one amongst us casters who are able to predict the champion.
I knew something was fishy. Like, we have Basi over here, the most experienced player in the country. Now, imagine the story that Galaxy Racer has throughout this tournament, right? They did not even make it to the grand finals directly. They went in through the play-ins, and even in the play-ins, it's not like they topped the play-ins. No, they were in the 3rd or 4th position. So Galaxy Racer has been struggling all throughout the league stage and throughout the play-ins as well. But then, going from that all the way to the champions of FFIC, I knew that something or the other was amiss, and Vasio definitely has been hiding some strategies that he unleashed in this final match. And now we got to see exactly what that is. They overtook Team Chaos by 2 points, just 2 measly points. My God, that's gotta be heartbreaking.
That is going to be heartbreaking, but even more heartbreaking for Team Elite. They stood a chance to win that booyah. They were all 4 players were standing tall. They picked one fight, won that battle against Ankush Free Fire. 4 kills were there, but then racing to the battle, it was an unnecessary race to land into the sub. But we don't know what sort of pressure that is. That is all taken. All the decisions are taken up by the team leaders, IGNs. So maybe this was best for them. But ultimately, today's best day is for Galaxy Racers for winning away the title, a proud title of 2021. I'm very happy for Galaxy Racers, and I'm equally happy for Team Chaos. With the difference was only 2 points by losing 2 battles. Look at the lead they had. Because they did not lose the title with a lot of margin which they created of 20 points and etc. It was only 2 points where they could not win the title.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, 2 points, it can make a lot of difference. And maybe if they didn't get eliminated at the very last position in the last game, they still could have held on to the title.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we're going to talk to the winners of the tournament, the winners of Free Fire India Championship 2021 Spring. Yep, for a few moments, our brothers and sisters.
Really rock border मुश्किल था, बहुत ज्यादा मुश्किल था, but we have पूरी की पूरी टीम बैठी हुई यहाँ पे. First, congratulations to all of you guys, because आप बन चुके हैं फ्री फायर इंडिया चैंपियंस, एंड जो खिताब है, जो ताज है, वो आपके सिर पे आने वाला. लेकिन सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज मैं यहाँ पे बात करना चाहूंगा, वासियो, आई वांट टू कम टू यू फर्स्ट. आपने और गोल्डन ने जो अचीव किया, बैक टू बैक चैंपियंस, इट्स नो.
थैंक यू सो मच. यही है कि थोड़ा स्टार्टिंग फेज खराब था, जैसे कि लीग स्टेज में हुआ था, आपने देखा है, प्लेन से होके आए. बट ये चीज था कि एक करना था, और रात को बैठते हैं तो ऐसे डिस्कस होता है, तो गोल्डन बोल रहा है नहीं भाई कुछ करना है. तो शायद आज और आखिरी मैच में गोल्डन भले मर गया हो, लेकिन जो गोल्डन ने बोला है वर्ल्ड सीरीज, इतना फूल, इतना जोश ला दिया मेरे और मेरी एक्स में कि हमने बस मारते रुके बंदे. कुछ देखा नहीं, ना आओ ना ताओ, मारना है बंदे, बस यही.
यार बासा, कांग्रेचुलेशंस टू एज वेल. यहाँ पे वर्ल्ड सीरीज तो नजरों में दिख रहा था, बिकॉज देखिए आपने जिस तरीके से क्वालिफाई किया ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में, यू गाइस केम थ्रू. जो प्लेन्स होते हैं उसके थ्रू आए थे, आपने डायरेक्टली क्वालिफाई नहीं किया था. You know, that goes on to say a lot of things about your character. So सिंगापुर जाने वाले कैसा लग रहा है? I think इनका we can't hear Basa, but उन्होंने म्यूट करके रखा था. Actually वो म्यूट करना अनम्यूट करना भूल, कोई बात नहीं बासा. But how are you feeling? कर दीजिए बासा. Yeah, you are audible now. तो कैसा महसूस करे यार, सिंगापुर जाना छोटी मोटी बात नहीं है.
बिल्कुल.
बॉटम से शुरू करा तो सीधा टॉप पे, तो अच्छा ही लगेगा. बाकी तो
वाला जी
मैं तो यार सच में सेलिब्रेशन होने देते हैं.
बोला था ना लास्ट टाइम भी पोल के टाइम कि हमने इक्का बजा के रखा है, इस बार भी बचा के रखा था.
I remember having conversation with Vasu. मैंने उनको पूछा था कि how are you feeling about your performance in FFIC. उन्होंने बताया था कि नहीं, हमने एक चीज बचा के रखी है for the grand finals. And मेरा सवाल मन में ये था कि right now आपके लिए सवाल है कि आपको जाना है प्लेन्स के थ्रू. Obviously being in the top six is not going to be that difficult. But आके execute करना अपने प्लान को is commendable. Vasu, Barca, the entire team बहुत ज्यादा अच्छे तरीके से खेले. I'm sure मैरिक्स बहुत ज्यादा खुश होंगे, पीछे बैठे बैठे हंस रहे हैं. And अमन भी.
ये जो हमारे बहुत अच्छे खेले तीनों प्लेयर, मुझे मजा आ गया. बारसा आज हमें मोटिवेट कर रहा था बार बार. बारसा आज ब्रेक पे था थोड़ा, उसका तब 26 पानी पूरी खा के बैठा था. 26 प्लेट
टीम का था भाई.
FFIC से पहले पानी पूरी खा के खेलेंगे, और इन चारों ने 26 प्लेट पानी पूरी खाई. बंदे मारेंगे अभी करके.
भाई तुम बता रहे हो
ये भी ठीक है.
और जी
हाँ जी,
do you have any questions for GXR?
मतलब क्या क्वेश्चन हो सकते हैं? मतलब वही पूछना चाहूंगा, जो लास्ट में मास्टर बचा के रखा था, जो डिस्कस कर रहे थे मामा जी के साथ, वो था क्या? मतलब पहले
गोल्डन को हमने पूरे FFIC में नहीं निकाला, फाइनल्स के लिए बचा के रखा था. और फाइनल्स में गोल्डन ने मचा दिया।
अरे हाँ, गोल्डन तो था ही नहीं, अभी याद आया मुझे, गोल्डन तो खेल ही रहा था बीच में।
वाइल्ड
ये
कार्ड।
हो, ये अच्छा है। तो यार बहुत अच्छा लगा देख कर, बट ये क्या हुआ था, मतलब शुरू के जो, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन रहेगा, शुरू के जो गेम्स थे उनको टाइम लगा आपको थोड़ा सा कीप अप करने में, थोड़ा सा पीछे चल लेता आप शुरू के 2-3 गेम्स के अंदर, बट जब कीप अप करा तो आपने बहुत अच्छा निकाला गेम। बट उस गेम्स के, उन गेम्स के अंदर क्या गलती हुई थी, जो गलतियों से हम लोग सीखते हैं?
फर्स्ट मैच में तो ऐसा था कि हम लेफ्ट साइड जाना था, बट थोड़ा कॉल्स में दिक्कत हुई और प्लेयर्स पहले ही निकल गए थे, तो उसमें। और सेकंड मैच में हम गन फाइट में ऐसा था कि गन फाइट ऐसा होता है कि जिसके पास गन मिली वो राजा है, तो हमें गन ही नहीं मिली, तो उसमें थोड़ा सीन हो गया। बट हम, पता है वो सबसे अच्छी बात, हम टूर्नामेंट कहाँ जीते, शायद से हम 12th में मरे, बट मेरी टीममेट खुश थे। हम भले 12th में मरे हैं बट खुश थे कि हम कमबैक करेंगे। वो जोश देख के मैंने सोच लिया कि ये FFIC हमारा है, तो वो चीज मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी। थैंक्स टू अमन एंड मैरियक्स, पूरा मोटिवेट करके रखा। मैं थोड़ा ऐसा पहले स्टार्टिंग में ऐसा हो, इन दोनों को देखा खुश हंसते चेहरे, मेरा भी सब खत्म, मेरा अभी कमबैक होगा।
And I think that is very important. जो आपको मूड होता है, एक टीम में एक इंटेंट होना चाहिए, एक मूड बने रहना चाहिए, and that is very important because अगर आपकी शुरुआत अच्छी नहीं हो रही है, you need to still have that confidence in yourself कि चलिए कोई बात नहीं,
बिल्कुल।
12th पोजीशन पे एलिमिनेट हो तो क्या हो गया, we know we have the skill and that is the most important thing। लेकिन यहाँ पे एक और चीज और अजी मैं पॉइंट आउट करना चाहूंगा, this is not going to be the first time जब वासु पीठ के पीछे तिरंगा लेके जाने वाले to represent India outside the LAN events, पहले जाके he has all the experience यहाँ पे, जो उनकी टीम में उनके साथ अनुभव शेयर करेंगे। वासु, how pumped are you for this?
I'm like, मेरे पास सच्ची में वर्ड्स नहीं है कि उसके लिए मैं कितने साल से प्रिपेयर कर रहा हूँ कि वर्ल्ड सीरीज जाना है, और फाइनली वापस इस बार टेबल चेंज करना है। पिछली बार से उल्टा टेबल करना है इस बार, और कुछ नहीं।
बिल्कुल यार, मामा जी एक चीज आपने नोटिस करी है, वासियो एक अकेले ऐसे प्लेयर है इंडिया से जिन्होंने सबसे ज्यादा बार इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करा होगा इंटरनेशनली।
मुझे लगता है
और अगेन करने जा रहे हैं।
बाहर जाने तो वासु को उठा लो, काम करो।
वासियो भाई बहुत सही यार ये।
No, but honestly, it's been a team effort for sure. You know, I do believe Aman and Mariix do deserve a lot of credit because जिस तरीके से उन्होंने खेला है, and you know they also bring in a lot more than just their game. उनका conduct जिस तरीके से रहा है, Mariix की बात करें, बहुत हंसी मजाक करते हैं, मैंने उनके साथ बात करी, honestly he is the best person for me to interview because content अपने आप देते हैं, मुझे सवाल नहीं पूछना पड़ता। And then obviously there's Aman as well, जो बहुत ज्यादा focused होते हैं, but he has that positive attitude और हार्ड वर्किंग एटीट्यूड है, तो पूरी की पूरी टीम को क्रेडिट देना चाहूंगा। यहाँ पे गोल्डन ऑब्वियसली देयर इज नथिंग मोर आई कैन से, उन्होंने अपने आप को प्रूव करके दिखाया इन बारसा बॉय। ऑब्वियसली ही इज द डार्क फोर्स इन द टीम। यार कुछ भी हो जाए, हम आगे खेलेंगे और हम जीत के जाएंगे। बट GXR, कांग्रेचुलेशंस वंस अगेन, थैंक यू सो मच, आप हमारे साथ जुड़े यहाँ पे आफ्टर द मैच, एंड आई होप यू गाइस हैव अ गुड वन इन द वर्ल्ड सीरीज एज वेल। अभी तो सेलिब्रेशन कर लीजिए, हैव अ गुड नाइट, एंड आई बिलीव कल सुबह 6 बजे सोने वाले, आज पूरी रात सेलिब्रेशन होने वाले। बस आई होप थोड़ी और पानी पूरी मिल जाए।
पानी पूरी
वैसे
बट वासियो हाँ, और जी
मैं कह रहा हूँ, वैसे तो पानी पूरी ओपी इन द चैट चल रहा है, बट लास्ट में एक चीज कहना, वैसे मैं चैट देख रहा हूँ, बट एक और चीज मैं कहना चाहूंगा लास्ट में, आपके फैंस के लिए या फिर सभी के लिए एक छोटी सी लाइन आप कहना चाहो, लास्ट में कुछ कहना चाहो, जो आप जीते हो, जितने फैंस ने आप पे बिलीव दिखाया उन सभी के लिए।
गोल्डन क्या तेरे फैंस के लिए जो तूने प्रिपेयर किया है, गोल्डन ने प्रिपेयर किया था एक चीज। गोल्डन बोल ना, माइक उसको दे ना, फैंस के लिए, फैंस के लिए अपने
दीजिए।
हेलो
बोले गोल्डन,
बोलो
क्या बोला था?
फैंस के लिए,
फैंस के लिए
अपने।
भाई मैं कांप रहा हूँ, कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा। नहीं बोला मुझसे पूछ
नहीं,
बाद में बोल।
अरे फैंस तो ऑलवेज हमें बहुत सपोर्ट दिया है, आपको भी पता है, हमेशा से दिया है। और आज ऐसा था कि टूर्नामेंट सेकंड मैच खराब गया, तब भी वो लोग बोले भाई कमबैक कैसे, पता है ना कमबैक किंग हो तुम लोग, ऐसे करके मैसेज देते तो अपने आप वो अंदर से आ जाता है, तो वो बहुत सही है। फैंस थैंक यू सो मच, आप हमेशा ऐसे ही प्यार दिखाते रहना और हम कभी निराश नहीं करेंगे आपको।
But GXR, thank you so much for joining with us. It's been incredible to have you guys on board, and I hope you guys practice even harder to go out there and perform at the World Series. So thank you so much for joining with us. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
और अजी,
What a heartwarming interview. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I can fit 26 Pani Puris inside me. Even though I'm a fat person, it's that sheer Panipuri energy, Panipuri OP in the chat. That's what kept them going. And of course, the positive attitude coming in from Marix and Aman. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what a champion is made of. Lots and lots of positive attitude, hasi mazak everywhere. And of course, whatever you eat, whatever you do during the day, that helps you keep going all throughout this difficult process of winning the championship. What an amazing performance that Team Galaxy Racer have put up.
Absolutely. And to the viewers, we have the redeem code. I'm very sure of you have been waiting, and you have been way too more than patient, because in chat I also already see gift code quickly, and here the code is. It is the final day and final token of love for FFIC 2021. So make sure you redeem it before midnight today. And yeah, few goals were met, and you deserved it because you joined with us, showed your support for the casters, for the players, for the best of teams possible, and especially to the esports Free Fire, the platform that Free Fire is giving through. And with that, I would also like to add up to thank you, Garena, for giving me this opportunity to cast such a grand event, Free Fire India Championship 2021 Spring.
Yes, it is indeed. It's been a big pleasure for all of us to cast this prestigious tournament. It is India's biggest Free Fire tournament so far. But ladies and gentlemen, there are bigger and better tournaments coming up. The World Series is around the corner. It's coming up next month. Galaxy Racer will be representing India, and I think the other top two teams, they're gonna be going to the play-ins as well. So yeah, 3 teams are gonna be representing India. Maybe not in the championship itself, but 2 teams in the play-ins, 1 team in the grand finals of World Series. Lots and lots of exciting things coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Garena, they always keep delivering. They always keep their fans happy with top-tier Free Fire action and high-octane esports. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess this is it. This is it from our side. It's time to bid farewell. It is a painful goodbye. I'm honestly gonna miss this because it's been such an amazing journey. Free Fire India Championship 2021 Spring has been an absolute roller coaster ride, and to be honest, the best ride of my life. So yeah, I am a little emotional to end this, but all good things must come to an end, only for other better things to start. Tanya, do you have any closing words?
Yeah, definitely. Even I'm going to miss this event. It has been one of the best events that I've casted, and it is indeed by far one of the best events from Free Fire. I'm going to miss the schedules. I'm going to miss everything. But yes, missing these things, it is for the past. We have so much more into the future for the whole of 2021 still pending. We have a lot more event to follow, one of which is real near. It is not even 1 month away. So yes, guys, as Crip said, every good thing must have an end. But certainly we'll start with a new and fresh beginning, with growing even better.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for watching FFIC 2021 Spring. Believe me, we will see you soon. For now, good night and stay safe.